Other people's 3-year-olds can't even control their bladders. But at 3, I could already lift a 40-kilogram rice box with one hand. While the neighbor's baby was sitting on the ground in diapers playing with mud, I was hiding in my room, frantically doing sit-ups. The moment my mother pushed the door open, I immediately collapsed and pretended to be asleep. I only heard her mutter to herself. I'm sure I just saw this child exercising on the bed. It wasn't until bath time that she was stunned to find a clear muscle definition on my abdomen. And this is a broken world. In order to fight against mutated beasts, humanity, that could become mechanically augmented people or gene-fused individuals. My father said with a tremor, the mutated beasts are getting closer. A 3-year-old baby had no choice but to secretly evolve into a Superman. Lin Zichen transmigrated into a 33-day-old baby. His mind was a chaotic mess, only knowing instinctively to suckle on his mother's milk. As I ate, a virtual panel appeared before my eyes. Name, Lin Zichen. Age, 33 days. Biological level, ordinary first tier. Biological attributes, none for now. I realized that not only had I transmigrated, but I had also obtained a golden finger. After a moment of thought, I fell asleep, exhausted. More than 2 months passed. My consciousness gradually cleared, and I began to study my system. I discovered it was an achievement system and triggered the first mission. Achievement: accumulate 10,000 leg kicks. Reward: obtain the biological attribute. Use it or lose it. Progress: 1024/10,000. Lin Zichen silently began his leg-kicking training. My mother, Zhang Wanxin, walked into the room. Seeing the situation, she smiled with relief. The baby is awake and isn't crying or making a fuss. So well-behaved. My father, Lin Yinsheng, also came in and said, full of expectation, this child is so lively and active. He'll definitely become a gene-fused individual or a mechanically augmented person in the future. Lin Zichen's heart stirred. He vaguely sensed that this world was not simple. A month later, I finally completed the leg-kicking achievement. Accumulate 10,000 leg kicks completed. Obtained biological attribute. Use it or lose it. Effect: continuously exercising a certain part of the body will cause that part to constantly grow stronger, but it cannot break the limits of a carbon-based life form. I immediately started kicking my legs. A system prompt appeared. Vitality +1. Leg muscle strength plus. Leg proficiency +1. I felt the strength in my legs increasing. I trained even harder. When I got tired, I switched to waving my arms and twisting my body, strengthening myself in multiple ways. A week later, I could already sit up on my own. This was something that normally only a 7-month-old infant could do, but I was only a little over 4 months old. For the next half month, I secretly practiced crawling, but I deliberately didn't show in front of my parents. I would wait until they were asleep to crawl on the floor and exercise. A month later, I learned to walk. And through the TV news, I learned about the state of the world. The earth had mutated, and mutated beasts ran rampant. To fight against the beasts, humanity developed 2 paths. The first path is mechanical augmentation, combining flesh with machinery. The second path is gene fusion, obtaining the abilities of mutated beasts. I was vigilant in my heart, only wishing to grow up safely and evolve quietly. When I was half a year old, I deliberately crawled in front of my parents. Zhang Wanxin said in surprise, "Chen Shun can crawl." Lin Yinsheng said excitedly, "At just over 6 months, he's truly a genius." At that moment, the doorbell rang. The new neighbors were visiting. It was a young couple with their baby girl, Shun Qinghan. The 2 families had a pleasant chat. They discovered that their 2 children were born only a day apart, which was quite a coincidence. Shun Qinghan had big, watery eyes. She smiled as soon as she saw Lin Zichen. Lin Zichen had little interest in her and crawled away on his own to exercise. At 7 months old, Lin Zichen had already mastered running, jumping, and simple language. But he still hid his strength to avoid attracting too much attention. Only once was I caught by my mother while secretly doing sit-ups. I quickly pretended to be asleep to get away with it. With continuous training, his body grew stronger by the day. During one bath, Zhang Wanxin was shocked to discover her child actually had an 8-pack. She called her husband over, and both of them found it hard to believe. During dinner, the family of 3 watched the news. Mutated beast attacks were frequent. A 2-year-old prodigy in Kyoto could lift a 20 kilograms dumbbell. Lin Yanqing lamented the superior resources of the great families. But Zhang Wanxin said confidently, "My son will definitely not lose to them in the future." Lin Zichen secretly praised his mother for her foresight. "On my second birthday, I tested my own strength and easily lifted 20 kilograms of miscellaneous items. I thought to myself, now I'm also at the level of a national prodigy." At this time, Shen Qinghan often came over to visit. She had grown into a little lowly with pigtails, who still loved to laugh and wet her pants. She still wore diapers under her skirt. She especially liked Lin Zichen and was very clingy with him. Lin Zichen had her sit on his back for weighted push-ups. He noticed she was still wearing diapers and remembered Su Ming complaining that Shen Qinghan often wet her pants and wouldn't learn. At 3 years old, Lin Zichen could already lift a 40 kilograms rice box with one hand. I noted that the Kyoto prodigy could only lift 30 kilograms at 4.5 and realized my growth curve was abnormal. I opened the panel. Name, Lin Zichen. Age, 3 years. Biological level, ordinary first tier. Biological attributes, use it or lose it. I was puzzled why my biological level was still first tier when I could lift 40 kilograms. Zhang Wanxin took him shopping. He observed the streets and saw occasional gene-fused individuals with beast ears and scales, or mechanically augmented people walking among the crowd. The two mothers complimented each other's outfits. Lin Zichen sized them up, finding them mature and beautiful. Then he looked at Shen Qinghan. She was already showing the makings of a beauty. I asked to buy books, but the ones I chose were Mutated Beast Encyclopedia and Introduction to Mechanical Augmentation. Although Zhang Wanxin felt the content was not suitable for his age, she still indulged me. While reading, a new achievement was triggered. Achievement: accumulate 100 million words read. Reward: biological attribute innate genius. Progress: 10086/100,000,000. I persisted in reading every day. 5 months later, the progress was still less than half. On the first day of kindergarten, Shen Qinghan was ostracized by her classmates for wearing diapers and cried her eyes out. At this moment, Lin Zichen broke through during his training. His biological level rose to ordinary second tier. He could now lift 80 kilograms with one hand, jump 1.2 meters high, and run 100 meters in under 11 seconds, reaching the level of an athlete from his previous life. Seeing Shen Qinghan being bullied, I immediately jumped onto a desk and roared at the whole class. "All of you, shut up. If you dare bully Hanin again, I'll make you wet the bed every night." The children were scared into tears. Half a year later, Lin Zichen completed the reading achievement. Accumulate 100 million words read was completed. Obtained biological attribute innate genius. Effect: photographic memory, peak human learning ability. He snuck into his parents' study at night to watch math tutorial videos. In half an hour, he mastered high school derivatives. He got all the questions right in the 3 years of college entrance exams, 5 years of mock test practice books. After graduating from 3 years of kindergarten, Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan were both 7 years old. In their photo together, Lin Zichen was handsome and Shen Qinghan was ethereal and beautiful. Both were the center of attention on campus. After discussing it, Su Ming and Zhang Wanxin decided to have the two of them attend Sunshine Elementary School together. When elementary school started, the two were still desk mates. Lin Zichen studied extracurricular books on his own during class. His grades were perfect, and he broke records in sports. Teachers had high hopes for him, and classmates revered him. Shen Qinghan also became smarter, consistently ranking second in exams. In the second grade, a girl with white hair named by Shui transferred into their class. She had an inhuman aura and was withdrawn and silent. Because her skin secreted a white, foul-smelling substance, she was ostracized by her classmates, who called her the gutter princess. One day, a boy named Guan Chun deliberately poured water on her head. She finally broke down and cried. Shen Qinghan remembered her own experiences and asked Lin Zichen for help. Lin Zichen made Guan Chun wipe the desk and had all the bullies apologize. Shen Qinghan announced, "Bai Shui is our friend." Bai Shui was extremely grateful. She gave each of them a beast tooth. The three of them made a pinky promise to be friends forever. Not long after, Bai Shui withdrew from school. Lin Zichen saw a mechanically augmented man pick her up and leave. He knew her identity was extraordinary, but didn't investigate further. At 8 years old, Lin Zichen massaged his parents' shoulders and necks. The TV reported that the 10-year-old Kyoto prodigy had fused with mutated beast genes and could lift a 500 kilograms boulder. Lin Yinsheng and his wife discussed how the great families sacrificed personal interests. Lin Zichen secretly thought to himself that he hadn't fused with any genes. And at 8 years old, he could already lift 300 kilograms. His potential was even greater. Then, the news reported on a mutated beast attacking a city abroad. An 8-eyed giant rat was eating people. The bloody scene was broadcast and censored. The anchor said a cult was causing trouble and requested international aid. Suddenly, there was a roar outside the window. Dozens of mechanically augmented people flew past. Lin Yinsheng said worriedly, "The officials have been mobilized. Has something happened?" Zhang Wanqin was also worried. Lin Zichen looked at the sky, praying in his heart for a peaceful life that would allow him to grow strong enough. Other 3-year-olds were still wetting their pants in kindergarten. But at 3, I had mastered high school math, physics, and chemistry, and could lift a 200-kilogram dumbbell with one hand, because I awakened a system that allows for infinite evolution from the age of 0. Just last night, after seeing the news about mutated beasts attacking humans, Lin Zichen decided he had to get stronger quickly. The next morning, Lin Zichen was still waiting to go to class with his childhood sweetheart, Shen Qinghan. Just as Shen Qinghan got close to Lin Zichen, but he suddenly noticed the beast tooth she wore on her chest was glowing. Lin Zichen wondered, could this really be a mutated beast tooth? This tooth was a gift from their classmate by Shui. She always had an inhuman aura about her. Could it be related to this tooth? However, the beast tooth only flickered for a while before stopping. He and Shen Qinghan didn't investigate it further. But last night's news and the strange phenomenon with the tooth gave Lin Zichen a feeling that something bad was about to happen. On the way to school, a charming and sexy-looking woman called out to them. The woman asked if they were biological siblings. Shen Qinghan replied with a smile, "We're just good friends who grew up together." The woman's lips curled up slightly. Such an enviable childhood friendship. Suddenly, the woman bent down, her gaze turning a little sinister. "Are you going to school by yourselves? Where are your mom and dad?" Lin Zichen abruptly grabbed Shen Qinghan's hand and started walking towards the school. Lin Zichen said to Shen Qinghan in a low voice, "This woman doesn't look like a good person. Let's hurry to school." Lin Zichen warned Shen Qinghan, "We're still young. It's best not to talk to strangers." After school, the bad things still happened. Just as Lin Zichen was leading Shen Qinghan through a secluded alley, the woman who had approached them in the morning appeared again, blocking our path. Lin Zichen shielded Shen Qinghan behind him. "It seems this woman has targeted us." The woman was still trying to get close, but the man behind her was getting impatient. "Why are you wasting time talking to 2 kids?" Suddenly, the man rushed over, intending to knock me and Shen Qinghan unconscious and take us away. He said with a wicked smile, "Such good-looking kids will definitely sell for a good price." Lin Zichen had been gathering his strength. He threw a punch that landed squarely on the chest of the lunging man. A dull thud. The man was sent flying more than 10 meters. The woman turned her head, unable to believe what had just happened. An elementary school student had actually sent an adult flying. Before the woman could react, Lin Zichen threw a punch and took a large step, appearing in front of her. His fist, the size of a sandbag, directly deformed the woman's face. Then, Lin Zichen looked around. He then picked up a brick. There was no one around. To eliminate future trouble, it was better to just finish off these human traffickers. If these 2 people exposed his abilities, his plan to lay low and get stronger would be ruined. At this moment, the ground began to shake. A giant claw suddenly appeared. It was the giant mutated rat from yesterday's news. The mutated rat opened its massive mouth and swallowed the female trafficker. Lin Zichen immediately turned and said to the terrified Shen Qinghan, "Run." Lin Zichen picked up Shen Qinghan, whose legs had gone weak, and ran towards the far end of the alley. "That's a giant mutated rat. Let's go." At the same time, in the sky, a woman in red mecha armor flew over their heads, rushing towards the giant rat. Lin Zichen glanced back. It's a mechanically augmented person. The female cyborg arrived in front of the giant rat, not outmatched in the slightest. She raised her arm and shouted, "Charging!" Anesthetic smoke screen. Then, several micro-missiles were launched from her arm. Booming explosions rang out. The giant mutated rat became disoriented. The next second, a red flash streaked across. A bloody gash appeared on the giant rat's neck. After returning home, Lin Zichen recalled what had just happened. That female cyborg's level probably isn't very high. After all, she didn't kill the giant rat in one blow, but first weakened it with anesthetic rounds before finishing the fight in close combat after a few minutes. Lin Zichen thought about his current abilities. It still wasn't enough to deal with a 5th-tier giant rat like that, so he immediately began weighted training. The system prompts also sounded in Lin Zichen's ears. Vitality +2, leg muscle strength +2, squat proficiency +1. Time flew by. Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan graduated from elementary school. A system prompt popped up. Achievement: dominate 9-year compulsory education. Obtained biological attribute: survival of the fittest. With a hint of excitement, Lin Zichen looked forward to the next goal, the title of middle school overlord. During the holidays, Lin Zichen trained even harder, persisting through 1,000 weighted push-ups in one go. By the end of the summer vacation, Lin Zichen's biological level had risen to ordinary 5th tier. He could lift a 700-kilogram dumbbell with one hand, jump 4 meters vertically, and his 100-meter dash time had broken 6.58 seconds. While watching TV at night, Lin Zichen found out that the Kyoto prodigy, after fusing with giant ant genes at the age of 14, could easily lift a 2,000-kilogram alloy with one hand. However, without the boost from his genetic abilities, the prodigy's true strength was only being able to lift 400 kilograms with one hand. Thinking about it, Lin Zichen realized he was still stronger than this prodigy. On the first day of middle school, because Lin Zichen had excelled in all aspects during elementary school, the principal and teachers of various subjects came out to welcome him personally. During gym class, Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan were playing badminton. Suddenly, the shuttlecock was snatched by an upperclassman. He turned to look at Lin Zichen. "Kid, this is the upperclassman's court." The upperclassman behind him chimed in, "The boy can leave. The little lowly can stay and play with us." Shun Qinghan still wanted to reason with these upperclassmen about being here first. Lin Zichen's face had already darkened. "You lot, stay away from this girl. Even if you're upperclassmen, you have to follow the rules." The upperclassman sneered. "What I say is the rule. I'm taking this court today, and no one can stop me." Lin Zichen took out a shuttlecock while saying, "You listen to me too. From now on, my rules are the rules." Then, Lin Zichen leaped high into the air and smashed the shuttlecock with all his might. The shuttlecock flew out like a bullet. With a whoosh, it directly pierced through the upperclassman's badminton racket. The upperclassman was so scared he wet his pants. Can a human hit a shuttlecock that fast? The upperclassmen watching from the side also had their pupils dilate. Is he a gene-fused individual? Impossible, he's too young. The 3 upperclassmen immediately bowed and apologized, then scurried back to their classroom. After this incident, no one in middle school ever bullied Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan again. As for middle school knowledge, Lin Zichen had already learned it all in elementary school. He usually read interesting extracurricular books during class. At night, after exercising, he would use the internet to learn various new skills with the help of his innate genius system. In middle school, to complete the middle school overlord title faster, he continued to rank first in every subject and won so many academic competition trophies that his hands went soft. But after one semester, he still hadn't completed the title. Instead, because he was so outstanding, he captured the hearts of a bunch of fangirls. Lin Zichen's mind wasn't on these fangirls. Instead, it was on the school sports meet. Lin Zichen chose the shot put, high jump, and sprint. Dominating these 3 events would mean that he had completely dominated the sports field. Lin Zichen deliberately held back in the competition, but still easily won first place in every event. At this moment, a surge of power suddenly erupted in Lin Zichen's mind. Kindergarten kid system record, elementary school top dog, middle school overlord titles successfully lit up. On the way home from school, Lin Zichen stroked his chin, pondering, "This survival of the fittest attribute allows my life to transcend all things. I can devour the life essence of other beings to evolve myself." So what exactly is life essence? Lin Zichen suddenly thought of the beast tooth Bai Shui had given them. So he set a hand in beside him. "Can I borrow the beast tooth Bai Shui gave you for a moment?" As soon as Lin Zichen took the beast tooth in his palm, a peculiar power spread from his palm throughout his entire body. At this time, the system gave a prompt. Congratulations on devouring a trace of the Abyss Giant Butterfly's life essence. Abyss Giant Butterfly Atlas Completion. 1. Upon completing the atlas, the host can evolve some of the giant butterfly's attributes and skills. Returning home at night, Lin Zichen tried to search for information about the giant butterfly online, but there was none. Lin Zichen started searching for the beast tooth that Bai Shui had given him. After finding it, Lin Zichen eagerly devoured it. System prompt. Giant Butterfly Atlas Completion. 2. Lin Zichen took a deep breath that it seems the beast tooth doesn't contain much life essence. To speed things up, I'll have to find the original creature. The next day after school, Lin Zichen started cycling with Shun Qinghan to and from school to train his body. Just then, a strong man called out to Lin Zichen. He introduced himself as being from the school's martial arts team and said he had noticed Lin Zichen's excellent performance at the sports meet. So I'm specially inviting you to join. I'll be waiting for you at the gym tomorrow, Lin Zichen. Before Lin Zichen could reply, the martial arts teacher waved goodbye, giving him no chance to refuse. Smack! Back home, Lin Zichen swatted a mosquito. He discovered that such small things couldn't trigger the survival of the fittest skill at all. It seemed only mutated beasts could trigger it. So he took Han-in on his bike to a nearby supermarket. Lin Zichen looked at the fully packaged beast meat and fell into deep thought. It seems I can't absorb it without touching it. A vendor's cry caught Lin Zichen's attention. It turned out to be freshly cut beast meat. Lin Zichen rushed over, his eyes shining, and arrived at the meat stall. The time to witness a miracle had come. Lin Zichen's hands were even trembling slightly. The moment he touched the beast meat, an extremely vigorous life essence surged through his entire body. Shun Qinghan, standing beside him, watched Lin Zichen's excited expression and stood there stunned. Has this kid never eaten meat before? Afterward, Lin Zichen went to look for some higher-grade beast meat. When he saw the prices, he could only pick the cheapest one, ghost shadow squid meat. Fortunately, he had his mother's support. She said they could buy it to make a big squid meat meal at home. And so, they spent $2,994 to buy 3 caddies of ghost shadow squid meat. On the way back, while riding his bicycle, Lin Zichen couldn't resist the urge to try absorbing the squid meat right away. The moment his finger touched it, the familiar, powerful energy once again coursed through Lin Zichen's entire body. System prompt. Congratulations, host, for devouring a trace of the ghost shadow squid's life essence. Ghost shadow squid Atlas Completion 0.1. The man looked at the charred corpse of the giant rat and had a bold idea. Just now, on the road, Lin Zichen had eagerly absorbed a bit of the ghost shadow squid meat, but it was only about one tail of meat. The atlas only opened by 0.1. If I calculate based on this, I need to devour 100 caddies to reach 100. At 998 per caddy, that's 100,000. Lin Zichen thought about the ghost shadow squid's abilities. It can disappear by melting into water. In that case, the money is definitely worth it. Earning money now became Lin Zichen's new problem. Suddenly, Lin Zichen thought of a problem. Would the beast meat spoil after its life essence was absorbed? He immediately looked at the meat in the bike basket. It didn't seem any different from when they had just bought it. So, Lin Zichen greedily continued to absorb it. At this moment, Shun Qinghan, who was behind him, suddenly shouted, "Watch out, there's someone ahead." Lin Zichen hurriedly stopped the bicycle, wondering why the bike lane was crowded with pedestrians. Shun Qinghan, behind him, pointed ahead. "Look, our language teacher has been kidnapped." They saw a burly man holding a sharp blade, holding their language teacher hostage. By this time, the police officers had surrounded the kidnapper, telling him to disarm and surrender. Seeing the kidnapper had a hostage, the police officers didn't dare to open fire rashly. They considered using sleeping gas to resolve the situation, but the captain immediately rejected the idea. The sleeping gas could very well enrage the kidnapper and lead to serious consequences. At the same time, Lin Zichen silently picked up a small stone from the ground. The next second, a sonic boom echoed in the police officer's ears. The stone, like a bullet, accurately hit the culprit's wrist. The captain saw his chance and immediately ordered his subordinates to move in and rescue the hostage. In a few moves, the kidnapper was successfully subdued. The language teacher was also safe and sound. Shun Qinghan was still asking with a look of surprise, how did you throw the stone so accurately? Lin Zichen turned and made a shushing gesture that, let's go, we'll talk at home. Suddenly, the captain behind them called out, excuse me, student, did you throw that stone? Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan, who hadn't gone far, were startled. Oh no, we've been found out. Lin Zichen immediately turned back and waved his hand that it wasn't me. Then he bolted towards home. The captain looked puzzled. Doesn't even want to leave his name after doing a good deed? Doesn't he want the reward money for his heroic act either? Lin Zichen, who hadn't run far, heard the words reward money and immediately couldn't move his feet. He ran back like a gust of wind. Lin Zichen scratched his head sheepishly and explained to the captain, I threw that stone just now. Is the reward money real? The captain grinned. First, come back with me to give a statement. Then I'll apply for the reward money for you. He thought the matter would end there, but something unexpected happened. Suddenly, the kidnapper's body began to deform and twist. With a tearing sound, he actually transformed into a giant mutated rat. It then pounced on a female police officer, knocking her to the ground. Seeing this, the captain immediately ordered his men to fire at the giant mutated rat, but the bullets only clanged against its body, causing no damage at all. Seeing this, Lin Zichen grabbed the language teacher and Shun Qinghan next to him and ran. Just then, a roaring sound streaked over Lin Zichen's head. A mechanically augmented person appeared again. This purple cyborg flew over and kicked the giant rat directly in the face. This kick sent the giant rat flying several meters. The female cyborg opened the charging weapon on her chest. Two purple beams of light shot out directly. With a boom, the giant rat's body began to deform within the beams. Lin Zichen stood stunned at this scene. This cyborg is really strong. Having successfully escaped danger, Lin Zichen and the others were still shaken. The next second, Lin Zichen's pupils suddenly dilated because he saw that his ghost shadow squid meat had already spoiled. Lin Zichen shook his head helplessly that it seems that meat whose essence has been absorbed will eventually spoil. It's just delayed. Lin Zichen threw the meat on the ground, blaming the spoilage on the giant mutated rat. The fight between that cyborg and the giant rat just now was too intense. It made this meat spoil. The three of them had planned to go home just like that, but the captain asked them to go back to the station first to give a statement. In the vehicle Lin Zichen was riding in, they were also transporting the body of the giant mutated rat, which had been blasted to bits. Lin Zichen looked at the charred corpse and suddenly had a bold idea. Can I still absorb the life essence from this giant rat's body? While no one was paying attention, Lin Zichen reached out his hand towards the charred body of the giant mutated rat. The moment he touched it, a peculiar power surged from his fingertips. The system's voice sounded in Lin Zichen's mind. Congratulations, host, for devouring the life essence of the giant mutated rat. Atlas completion 5. Afterward, they arrived at the office building. While Lin Zichen was giving his statement in the captain's office, his parents, having been notified, also rushed over. His mother hugged Lin Zichen worriedly. Lin Zichen comforted her, saying, I'm fine. Lin Zichen's mother was still fraught with worry. Chun, promise Mom that next time you encounter danger, you'll hide first. Mom wants you to grow up safely. As soon as she said this, Lin Zichen was moved. He supported his mother as they walked out the door and promised that he would definitely protect himself next time. On the way out, Lin Zichen overheard the police officers discussing the matter of the giant mutated rat. These followers of the rat god cult have already infiltrated high schools, luring students who can't obtain gene fusions through official channels. And we must capture the leader, the Rat King. Lin Zichen listened silently. Afterward, he used his phone to search for news about the rat god cult, but there was very little information on the subject. This rat god cult was located in Shanghai City, where Lin Zichen lived. Most of its members were failures from gene fusion experiments. Their recent activities had also become more and more frequent. Lin Zichen suddenly saw a piece of information that made his eyes light up. This Rat King, in order to evolve, has even sent out followers to collect a large amount of evolutionary resources. This surprised Lin Zichen. Could it be that this Rat King has already evolved to have intelligence? Suddenly, Lin Zichen saw a giant Jerry outside the car, fighting with a Tom. Lin Zichen let out a long sigh. After all, this was the South. Such a large Jerry was quite normal. Lin Zichen turned to look at Shun Qinghan beside him. She was looking down, silent, and her legs were trembling slightly. Lin Zichen understood that she had wet her pants again. Every time Shun Qinghan got nervous or encountered a sudden situation, she couldn't control her bladder. just like when she was little. Lin Zichen guessed that perhaps this condition was related to some unknown potential. After returning home, when Lin Zichen's mother learned that the expensive mutated beast meat had been lost, she was shocked and heartbroken. After all, the price was almost half a month's salary. Lin Zichen scratched his head sheepishly and explained to his mom that they had run into kidnappers and the situation was urgent, so he accidentally lost it. Seeing Lin Zichen's aggrieved expression, his mother didn't pursue the matter further. After all, what mattered was that he was safe. Lin Zichen let out a long sigh of relief. He had managed to muddle through. But just then, his father suddenly came over and said he wanted to go to the scene to see if it could still be found. Lin Zichen quickly stopped him. "Dad, it's too late. It was probably carried away by some small animal." The matter passed just like that. The next day on his way to school, Lin Zichen thought about how his current strength was still too weak. How could he earn some money to exchange for ghost shadow squid meat and complete the atlas sooner? Relying on prize money from academic competitions was too slow, and becoming an influencer doing live stream sales would attract too much attention. Suddenly, Lin Zichen had a flash of inspiration. This world was full of fused individuals and mechanically augmented people. Martial arts were valued more than literary pursuits, and the prize money from martial art competitions was quite substantial. So, Lin Zichen went to the gym and found the martial arts teacher who had invited him. The martial arts teacher was very surprised and also very happy to see Lin Zichen show up. Lin Zichen asked in a low voice, "Teacher, if I join the martial arts team, can I participate in competitions? And are there large cash prizes?" As soon as he finished speaking, the martial arts teacher became smug. "Of course. A single prize can be tens of thousands." Lin Zichen grabbed the teacher's hand with a serious expression. "That's great. From today on, I'm a member of the martial arts team." The teacher then announced for all the students to gather. Everyone welcomed the new student. The students were also very enthusiastic and introduced themselves to Lin Zichen. Lin Zichen had no martial arts foundation, so Teacher Guo personally demonstrated the basic martial arts moves. After the demonstration, Teacher Guo wiped the sweat from his forehead and said earnestly, "Although these are basic moves, a beginner would need at least a week to learn them." He told Lin Zichen, who was beside him, "You give it a try." Lin Zichen began to practice, looking the part. However, with the blessing of his innate genius system, he had already memorized the martial arts move the teacher had just demonstrated. Lin Zichen performed the basic martial arts moves with fluid ease. The system prompts also sounded: leg technique vitality +1, leg muscle strength +1, fils de technique proficiency +1, hand muscle strength +1. After this one set, Teacher Guo, who was watching from the side, was completely dumbfounded. Impossible, absolutely impossible. This isn't what a beginner should look like. How could he learn the moves I demonstrated after seeing them just once? Teacher Guo's eyes were filled with disbelief. Could this kid be a one-in-a-million martial arts prodigy? After returning home from school, Zichen's mother had already prepared dinner. "This is the ghost shadow squid meat that Mom specially bought for you." Lin Zichen began to wolf it down. Suddenly, the system let out a sound, devoured a trace of the ghost shadow squid's life essence. Ghost shadow squid atlas completion 3.01. Lin Zichen thought to himself, if he had known eating it could also lead to devouring, he wouldn't have bothered touching it last time. After dinner, a news report on TV featured a girl, only 14 years old, who had completed mechanical modification. She became the youngest cyborg in history. Moreover, she could easily lift 2,000 kilograms, run 100 meters in 3 seconds, and had a vertical jump of 8 meters. Lin Zichen watched the news, wondering who was stronger now, this mechanically modified girl from the capital or that gene-fused individual. Suddenly, the TV broadcast a breaking news story. A police captain was killed in his office by a giant rat. Lin Zichen felt a lingering fear. Could these giant rats be seeking revenge? No, he had to hurry and improve his own strength. After a period of nighttime training, Lin Zichen's 100-meter speed had reached 4.58 seconds. His vertical jump could reach 5.5 meters, and he could lift a 1,000 kilograms weight with one hand. He hadn't slacked off on the martial arts moves Teacher Guo taught him either, practicing them repeatedly every day in preparation for the martial art competition. This day was like any other. Early in the morning, Shun Qinghan accompanied Lin Zichen to the martial arts hall for training. On the way, they met a senior girl who struck up a conversation, bringing milk for Lin Zichen to drink. Lin Zichen politely declined, but unexpectedly brought trouble upon himself. The senior girl's simp saw this and decided to teach Lin Zichen a lesson for daring to refuse a gift from his goddess. The simp directly blocked Lin Zichen's path, that if you don't drink the milk the senior gave you, you're disrespecting me. He then openly challenged him, asking if he dared to spar. At this moment, a system prompt sounded. Defeat 1,000 different opponents in official competitions to obtain the biological attribute, natural selection. Lin Zichen was overjoyed. This fool actually triggered my 4th achievement task. So, Lin Zichen readily agreed. News of the duel quickly spread throughout the school. Onlookers soon gathered at the gymnasium, surrounding Lin Zichen and the simp senior. Lin Zichen's fangirls cheered him on, shouting, "Zichen will win." The simp glanced back at the girls behind him. "You all think I'm going to lose, don't you? Today, I'll prove it to you." An evil expression appeared on the simp's face. He decided to beat up this scrawny, underdeveloped junior today. Lin Zichen showed no fear of the simp, who was much stronger than him. Instead, he said somewhat lazily, "Let's make it quick. I still have to go eat." The simp's mouth twitched. "Then I'll grant your wish. You can eat my fists." With a command from the martial arts teacher, the match officially began. Suddenly, the simp started to show off. "Wait, I see this junior has just started learning martial arts. After all, as a senior, I've been practicing martial arts for 2.5 years. To be fair, I'll give you a 3-move handicap." As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Zichen shot forward like an arrow released from a bow, rushing in front of the simp. He threw a powerful punch. It was followed by a miserable scream. The simp senior was sent flying. He landed 5 meters away, foaming at the mouth. This scene completely stunned the coach. It was over in one punch. All the students present were shocked. It was too fast. They couldn't even see it clearly. Shin Xinghan raised her right hand and cheered for Lin Zichen. The senior girl beside them was even happier, dancing with joy. At this moment, Lin Zichen's system prompt appeared. "Congratulations on defeating your opponent and capturing the hearts of the opposite sex. Gained priority mating rights. Cumulative opponents eliminated 1/1000. 999 more to go to unlock the new skill, the natural selection attribute." So, Lin Zichen turned his head with a grin. "Every single one of you here. Senior brothers, would you like to spar with me?" As soon as he said this, the seniors present felt a surge of fear. Then they all turned their heads and started muttering to themselves, "I have to go home. I think I'm a little dizzy." Me too, me too." At this moment, the simp struggled to his feet. "Lin Zichen, I'm not convinced. You sneak attacked me just now. Do you dare to fight me again?" Seeing the disparity in strength, the coach beside them advised the simp to give up. The coach called for other students to spar with Lin Zichen. The senior had no choice but to brace himself and practice with Lin Zichen. The result was predictable. In less than 10 minutes, all the seniors present were beaten to the ground. However, these are just light spars. So, the system's cumulative elimination count remained unchanged. Suddenly, the coach forcefully patted Lin Zichen's shoulder that "You're really something, kid. You became the team's ace in just over a month." The coach said excitedly, "This year's district martial arts competition, as long as you participate, we can definitely take first place in the district." Lin Zichen's eyes lit up. Wouldn't participating in the competition allow him to defeat many opponents? This way, his task progress would increase rapidly. At this time, the simp pointed at Lin Zichen and said loudly, "Lin Zichen, my name is Zhang Kai. From now on, even if you use the bathroom on my head, I won't make a peep. You remember that." Everyone was speechless. What a forceful way to admit defeat. In the blink of an eye, a month passed and the martial arts tournament officially arrived. The coach looked at the competition roster, his face grim. His team had been placed in the group of death, in the same group as the strongest team, Shanghai No. 1 High. The students also began to get discouraged that I heard they beat up kindergartners and kicked down nursing homes. Every one of them is a ruthless person. Lin Zichen volunteered, "Coach, let me go first." The coach nodded and agreed. Lin Zichen stretched his arms, preparing to go on stage to fight. He didn't expect his opponent to be a 2-meter-tall giant. He had a wicked smile on his face that a little first-year junior dares to come on stage. "I am truly impressed." The giant looked at Lin Zichen mockingly. "Don't go crying to your mommy later." The referee's whistle blew, and the match began. The giant struck first, wanting to end the fight with one punch. Lin Zichen easily dodged with a quick sidestep, then struck the giant's chest with his palm. The next second, the giant was sent flying. The seemingly powerless palm sent him flying with a single touch. The referee was still in a daze. After a moment's reaction, he said, "Lin Zichen wins." The coach and seniors in the audience shouted, "All muscle, no flexibility at all. Lin Zichen is mighty." At this moment, the system's voice sounded in Lin Zichen's ear. Successfully defeated a competitor. Cumulative eliminations, 2/1000. The opposing coach chose a speed-type contestant to continue the match against Lin Zichen. As soon as the match began, the skinny, speed-type fighter moved with extreme quickness, aiming a roundhouse kick directly at Lin Zichen's face. Duck and palm strike. The move was simple and practical. Lin Zichen was still 0.1 seconds faster than him. As a result, the speed type was also sent flying. Due to his light weight, he was directly carried away on a stretcher and sent to the hospital. Refunds, refunds. What kind of match is this? There's no entertainment value. This is so fake. The audience began to shout. The opposing coach was completely depressed. How could this first-year junior have such strength? He looked at the team's ace beside him. Gao Fei, you're up next. Just focus on defense. Find his weakness. We can't lose again. Gao Fei walked onto the stage with a cold expression. Don't worry, coach, I can't lose. The match began, but Gao Fei didn't listen to the coach's words. He charged forward immediately, using his signature move. Meteor shattering fist. Lin Zichen still dodged it with ease. The coach below the stage shouted anxiously, Gao Fei, what the hell are you doing? I told you to defend. Why did you attack right from the start? Gao Fei, while throwing punches, said disdainfully, defense is a disgrace for a genius like me. Soon after, Gao Fei started to panic. Not a single one of his punches had hit his opponent. Lin Zichen said in a flat tone, your punches aren't bad. Do you have any other moves? Use them all. Hearing this, Gao Fei immediately became furious, his fists flying wildly. Lin Zichen landed a direct kick to the solar plexus, hitting Gao Fei in the chest. With just as much skill, you dare call yourself a genius? For the next 2 days of the competition, Lin Zichen didn't give his seniors a chance to go on stage. With his own strength, he defeated the other 2 schools in the knockout stage. Lin Zichen successfully won the championship of the Shanghai City 8-School League. At this time, the system showed a cumulative elimination of 16/1000 opponents. Still too slow. Defeating the remaining 984 would probably take years. However, he got the prize money, which made Lin Zichen very happy. Adding the prize money from the previous academic competition, Lin Zichen now had 30,000 yuan. Of course, he spent all this money on Ghost Shadow Squid meat. This brought Lin Zichen's Ghost Shadow Squid Atlas completion to 33. In his second year of junior high, Lin Zichen's biological level broke through to Tier 4. He could lift a 1,090 kilograms weight with one hand, run 100 meters in 4.49 seconds, and high jump 5.65 meters. Just like that, Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan successfully graduated from middle school. However, after the high school entrance exam results came out, Shun Qinghan couldn't get into the same high school as Lin Zichen. But under the threat of Lin Zichen's first-place score in the entire district, and after several hours of negotiation with the principal of Shanghai High School, Shun Qinghan was finally admitted as an exception. Before starting high school, Lin Zichen participated in the last junior high martial arts tournament. He won the final championship without any suspense. With the prize money, Lin Zichen once again bought Ghost Shadow Squid meat. Now only 20 was left to complete the Atlas. Because he didn't know what would happen when the Atlas was unlocked, Lin Zichen took the meat to the mountains to devour it. The next second, Lin Zichen began to devour it. System prompt: Ghost Shadow Squid Atlas completion 100. Successfully unlocked the Ghost Shadow Squid Atlas. Obtained biological attribute, water affinity. Water affinity attribute can greatly increase the host's affinity with water. Can move freely in water, coming and going without a trace. Lin Zichen suddenly felt this attribute was a bit useless, as it had no attack capabilities. Lin Zichen couldn't wait to try it out in a nearby river. Besides feeling no resistance while swimming, there were no other effects. Lin Zichen thought it was actually normal. After all, the ghost shadow squid was a low-level exotic beast, not even worth the value of gene fusion. Lin Zichen told himself that as long as he became stronger, he could hunt higher-level exotic beasts. There was still a week before high school started. Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan's families arranged to go to the beach to have fun. While Shun Qinghan was still standing blankly by the sea, saying how cold the water was, Lin Zichen had already dived into the sea and started improving his attributes. On the shore, Shun Qinghan saw how fast Lin Zichen was swimming and said anxiously, "Zichen, don't just swim by yourself. Hurry up and teach me." Lin Zichen realized that Shun Qinghan couldn't swim, so he returned to the shore and patiently taught Shun Qinghan how to swim. Shun Qinghan was also a smart girl. She learned how to swim in a short while, and on her first time swimming in the sea, she even learned how to dive. This made Lin Zichen a little curious. Shun Qinghan's swimming ability was so good, it was too unusual. Suddenly, Lin Zichen seemed to think of something. Could it be that Shun Qinghan's constant bedwetting was because she was naturally attuned to water? That would make sense. Perhaps Shun Qinghan had the special cultivation physique mentioned in novels. Next, Shun Qinghan's performance in the sea surprised Lin Zichen even more. She could easily hold her breath underwater for more than 10 minutes. Just then, a strange sound reached Shun Qinghan's ears. It came from the depths of the sea, so she quickly swam to the shore. Shun Qinghan said with some panic, "There is a constant sound in my ears in the water, which made me feel very scared." Lin Zichen asked what sound. Shun Qinghan stammered, unable to explain it clearly. It was a sound she couldn't understand, like a woman's voice. It disappeared when she surfaced. Back at the hotel, Lin Zichen searched for this strange sound online, but found no results. This matter kept Lin Zichen from sleeping well that night. So he started to exercise, raising his biological level to ordinary tier 5. This was a biological level that could contend with an adult mutated giant rat. Lin Zichen encouraged himself. With a little more training, he could tear giant rats apart with his bare hands. At the tier 5 level, after Lin Zichen's tests, his 100-meter time had reached 3.64 seconds. His vertical jump height reached 6.98 meters. He could lift a 1,600 kilograms beach buggy with one hand. Just like that, Lin Zichen began his high school life. Unexpectedly, even for the big cleanup after freshman registration, the system gave a prompt. He could obtain the biological attribute, gregarious animal. This reward made Lin Zichen somewhat expectant, wondering what effect it would have upon completion. After school started, Lin Zichen had nothing to do, so he went to the supermarket to see if there was any cheap and affordable beast meat to buy. Suddenly, a special offer on violent rock meat caught Lin Zichen's eye. Lin Zichen felt like he had found a treasure. He decided on this rock meat. The violent rock was a higher-grade exotic beast than the ghost shadow squid. The rock's vision was 30 times that of an ordinary human. Whether day or night, its hunting ability was also very strong. It could even easily capture exotic rabbits that ran so fast they became afterimages. Improving his vision would be a great help to his personal combat improvement. Moreover, the price of this violent rock meat was quite reasonable, only 1,988 yuan per gene. After returning home, Lin Zichen opened the package and absorbed it directly. System prompt: absorb violent rock meat. Atlas completion 1. Lin Zichen calculated that to complete the Rock's Atlas, he would need about 200,000 yuan. So, in high school, he would have to work harder at martial art competitions to earn prize money. The next day, during the break, a girl in the class suddenly asked Shun Qinghan, "What was your score on the high school entrance exam?" Shun Qinghan smiled awkwardly, not revealing that she got into this high school because of Lin Zichen's influence. She just made up a score of 709. Then, Shun Qinghan asked back, "Chu Xin, what did you score?" Chu Xin said with feigned admiration, "That's amazing. I only scored 698. Chu Xin continued to ask, "Then what was your score on the physical fitness test?" "I didn't do well and got 95. This question hit Shun Qinghan's sore spot. Out of a perfect score of 100, she only got 79. She couldn't bring herself to say this score. Chu Xin seemed to see Shun Qinghan's embarrassment and pressed further, 93 or 92. Shun Qinghan lowered her head gloomily, lower than that. Just as Chu Xin was still asking, Lin Zichen suddenly appeared in front of her. "Can I get your WeChat?" Beside them, Shun Qinghan looked at Lin Zichen with gratitude. He had successfully helped her out of the awkward situation. Afterwards, Lin Zichen also added his desk mate, a boy named Hiyu, on WeChat. Then he created a group chat for the four of them. Unexpectedly, this also completed a multiplayer cooperation task. As for why he added this classmate, Hiyu, it was because he was from a neighboring Nanwan city, the son of a martial arts family. Moreover, he had won 8th place in the Nanwan Youth Martial Arts competition, and this Li Chuxin's family owned a clothing store, so she could be considered a rich second-generation kid. As they got to know each other, the four of them formed a small group. He said to Lin Zichen and the others, "Guess who's the strongest in our class?" Li Chuxin said shyly, "Of course it's Zichen. He's the top scorer of our district's high school entrance exam." He was shocked to hear this. Truly a hidden master. Soon, Yu lowered his voice. "Did you know? There are 2 other ruthless people in our class. The principal paid to recruit them from Nanwan City. One is named Yu Shujia, the 3rd place scorer in the entrance exam, with a 100-meter time of 7.98 seconds. There's also that big guy sitting in the back, Lu Gang. That guy is naturally strong and can lift a 300-kilogram barbell with one hand." As soon as he said this, the 2 girls cast envious glances. But Lin Zichen sighed with relief. "After hearing all that, I'm relieved. The 2 of them together are barely at my elementary school level." Lin Zichen had already finished learning the 4 major subjects of high school and elementary school. In his spare time, Lin Zichen would find a quiet place to train. The current rat cult still existed. Lin Zichen wanted to raise his level as soon as possible so he could fight back if he encountered them again. In the wilderness survival course, the teacher asked the students present, "Does any student know how to make fire by drilling wood?" He chimed in, "Who learns this stuff? We never use it." The next second, he saw that Yu Shujia and Lu Gang had already started drilling wood to make fire. The teacher showed a look of gratification. "These 2 students are quite impressive. They even know how to do this." Yu Shujia and Lu Gang smiled slightly. "We learned it in an extracurricular class in junior high." After these 2 students from Nanwan City finished showing off, the other students began to practice. For Lin Zichen, it was as easy as taking something from his pocket. He even taught Shun Qinghan and the others around him. The subsequent martial arts cultivation class also became a stage for the 2 show-offs from Nanwan to display their skills. Just like that, a month passed. The mechanical modification teacher brought test papers to assess everyone's theoretical knowledge. Moreover, students who did well on the test would receive cash rewards. First place 888, second place 666, third place 333. Hearing about the money, Lin Zichen immediately perked up. 888 yuan could buy half a gene of violent rock meat. He had to get this. The 1-hour exam time passed quickly. The next class, the gene fusion teacher, Lu Duran, followed suit and also held a test with prize money. After the test, the other students were complaining that the questions were a bit difficult. The 2 show-offs from Nanwan, however, were still flattering each other. "We should be able to get at least 95 points on this test, right?" He watched the 2 of them humble brag, feeling annoyed. He really wanted to go over and give them both A. The max-level genius student just made a slight move, and it was already the limit for an ordinary genius student. In the afternoon after the test, the mechanical modification teacher announced the results. Gui Yanling, 52 points. Shun Qinghan, 61 points. Hearing this score, Shun Qinghan happily told Lin Zichen behind her, "Xiao Chun, I actually passed." "That's great." Lin Zichen smiled slightly. "It's all the result of your hard work. Keep it up." When the teacher read out Hiyu's score of 88, the whole class turned around at the same time and looked at Hiyu with admiration. The questions were so difficult this time, yet he could still score 88. Impressive. This made Hiyu feel immensely proud. It must be the good karma of his ancestors. He smugly told Lin Zichen and the others, "When I get the prize money, I'll treat you all to a meal." Next, the teacher continued to announce Lu Gang, 95 points. Yu Shujia, 95 points. These 2 students were just one final major question away from a perfect score. A bit of a pity. As soon as he finished speaking, the show-off duo was ecstatic. They said smugly, "The last question had too much calculation. Teacher, if you had given us a little more time, we definitely could have figured it out." He shot them an annoyed glance. "Damn it, these 2 guys managed to show off. Luckily, 3rd place is still mine." But the teacher's next words completely shattered Hiyu's little fantasy. Although this test was very difficult, there was one student who got a perfect score, and that is our classmate, Lin Zichen. As soon as he said this, The show-off duo was completely stunned. How is that possible? He got all the answers right on such a difficult test. It's too ridiculous, really. Lin Zichen's small group all cheered for him, thought he's so strong. Suddenly, Lin Zichen raised his hand and asked the teacher, that 888 yuan prize money, when will it be distributed? Lin Zichen thought to himself, I'm in a hurry to buy violent rock meat. The teacher was a bit speechless after hearing this. Is this kid obsessed with money? He then told Lin Zichen he would transfer the red envelope to him in a bit. In the next class, the gene fusion results were also announced. This test was even harder. The two from the show-off duo scored 81 and 83 respectively. After hearing their scores, they both looked dejected since they had failed to show off successfully. And Xin Han unexpectedly scored 78, placing her in the top 5 of the class. And Lin Zichen, once again, got a perfect score and took home the prize money. The show-off duo and Yu suffered another mental blow. So, Lu Gang and Yu Shujia raised their hands to object. Teacher, how could anyone get a perfect score on such a difficult paper? Did Lin Zichen know the answers beforehand? The teacher frowned. Impossible, absolutely impossible. The teacher waved the test paper in his hand that I designed all these questions myself. There are no answers online. Cheating is impossible. As soon as he said this, the psychological trauma for the show-off duo increased by 1. You saw them get embarrassed and couldn't help but snicker. They tried to catch a fox, but ended up covered in filth. In the blink of an eye, the next day's wilderness survival assessment also had rewards. The teacher explained to the students that the assessment consisted of 3 items: rock climbing plus tree climbing, swimming, and drilling wood for fire. Yu Shujia told Lu Gang beside him, we didn't beat that Lin Zichen in the theory tests. We have to get our revenge in the upcoming wilderness survival and martial arts cultivation. Lu Gang gritted his back teeth and said fiercely, that's a must. Just watch how I crush this Lin Zichen in a bit. Soon, the assessment began. Rock climbing and tree climbing were graded based on speed. Lin Zichen just put in a little effort and was already miles ahead, leaving the show-off duo behind. When it came to the fire-making part, the show-off duo nearly rubbed sparks out of their palms, but they still couldn't match Lin Zichen's speed in starting a fire. In the end, Lin Zichen took first place again with a time of 58 seconds. In the final swimming event, Lin Zichen was far in the lead. Xin Han's talent was on display as she followed closely behind. Meanwhile, the show-off duo felt like they were hallucinating. Are these two human or fish? How are they so fast? After the test, Lu Gang and Yu Shujia hid in a corner, looking completely dejected. The afternoon's martial arts assessment was a tournament-style competition, and the top 3 would also receive rewards. Hearing that there would be a tournament, the show-off duo's fighting spirit was rekindled. The teacher told the students present that before the competition, they had to do 3 warm-up tests. They were sprinting, weightlifting, and high jump. For Lin Zichen, all 3 were a piece of cake. Without much effort, he was just a little bit better than the show-off duo. He took first place in all 3 events again. The show-off duo went completely crazy in the high school entrance exam results. Lin Zichen was clearly the district's top scorer. How is he even better than us? We are city-level specialized champions. This is so unscientific. Is his body just starting to develop? The more setbacks the show-off duo faced, the more courageous they became. They began to fantasize that they could definitely defeat Lin Zichen in the upcoming martial arts competition. Next, the martial arts sparring began. In order to complete the natural selection task, Lin Zichen was the first to step onto the stage. Due to the results of the physical tests just now, the show-off duo didn't dare to go up directly, but stayed below the stage to observe Lin Zichen first. The teacher ordered a student to go up and spar with Lin Zichen. To not waste time, Lin Zichen took them out one by one with a single punch. The show-off duo watching from below began to tremble. I asked this for real? Is Lin Zichen's martial arts this strong too? How are we going to get our revenge? At the same time, Yu got on another stage. He was from a martial arts family and wanted to put on a good show today. He wanted to regain some face. Lu Gang jumped onto Yu's stage. He thought to himself, I'm not confident I can beat Lin Zichen, but can I beat you, Yu? Yu dashed towards Lu Gang. He unleashed a flurry of martial arts combos on Lu Gang, but they couldn't break through Lu Gang's defense at all. The next second, Lu Gang grabbed Yu's foot. He performed an aerial pinwheel and then threw Hiyu off the stage. Hiyu, thrown from the stage, angrily threw up his lunch. At this moment, Liu Gang, having defeated Hiyu, was truly smug. Your martial arts foundation is not bad, kid. It's just that you ran into me. At this moment, Liu Gang successfully showed off. Just then, Lin Zichen jumped onto this stage. He said to Liu Gang, "I'll spar with you." Liu Gang's confidence had just returned. Seeing Lin Zichen actively challenge him, his mouth twitched that who's afraid of you? Bring it on. After speaking, Liu Gang used all his strength and charged towards Lin Zichen. Lin Zichen kom ni åt Liu Gang charge over. Just as Liu Gang was about to touch Lin Zichen's body, Lin Zichen dodged. Liu Gang missed. Before his body could stabilize, he felt as if he had been hit by a car from behind. He was sent flying by a single punch from Lin Zichen. Seeing this, the students below started to jeer at Yushujia. The brother got wrecked by Lin Zichen. Hurry up and reclaim the honor of your Nanwan city. It was just bad luck. Yushujia braced himself and jumped onto the stage. He thought to himself, I can definitely find Lin Zichen's weakness. Aren't all girls this fierce when they fight? Look at this vicious leg split. I watched this move for a full 2.5 minutes. Just now, the high school student's fist slammed towards the max-level teenager with all his might. Why didn't the max-level teenager, Lin Zichen, even try to dodge? It turned out Lin Zichen was waiting for the last moment. He raised his hand and grabbed Yushujia's hand, then raised his own fist. With a powerful swing, he heavily smashed it into Yushujia's chest. Afterwards, Yushujia foamed at the mouth and passed out. This strongest genius of the first year was thus easily taken care of by Lin Zichen. In the following martial arts sparring, the remaining boys in the class were even more vulnerable. Lin Zichen took care of them all with a single wave of his hand. According to the system's rules, defeating the same opponent multiple times only counts once. Lin Zichen rubbed his chin. Then, he could only fight the girls next. And at this time, the girls in the class seemed to be even more expectant and excited than Lin Zichen. A girl with long purple hair volunteered to spar with Lin Zichen. As soon as she got on the stage, she rushed towards Lin Zichen. To be fair, this is a tournament, not a matchmaking event. Although Lin Zichen was gentle with the fairer sex, for the sake of the system upgrade, he still defeated this female classmate in one move. The female classmate lay on the stage, her face full of unwillingness, thinking she was just a hair's breadth away from taking advantage of Lin Zichen. The following girls also threw themselves at him, but Lin Zichen waved them away, defeating each of them. After the competition, Teacher Han said to the students who performed exceptionally well today can challenge the regular classes of the second year next month. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Zichen was ecstatic. I was just worrying about not having anyone to fight to quickly complete the natural selection task. And now this great opportunity has come, hasn't it? After class, Liu Gang found Lin Zichen and said shamelessly, I thought there were no opponents for me at Shanghai High School. I didn't expect that I had underestimated it. Lin Zichen, you will be my fated rival for the next 3 years of high school. However, Lin Zichen couldn't be bothered to pay him any attention. He was still thinking that if he followed the competition mechanism Teacher Han mentioned, he could complete the natural selection task in his first year of high school. At this time, Yushujia also walked over, equally full of confidence, saying he would avenge his defeat before graduation. In my opinion, you have no hope in this lifetime. Lin Zichen's total income from today's tests had already reached over 3,000. With this money, he could go buy more violent rock meat. Lin Zichen had a happy look on his face. Meanwhile, the show-off duo behind him looked at Lin Zichen's arrogant appearance, gritting their teeth. But there was nothing they could do because they simply couldn't beat him. To earn money to buy violent rock meat, Lin Zichen also persisted in writing novels at night. Unexpectedly, when he woke up the next day, his novel had actually been offered contract. Just then, a news alert that popped up on his phone caught Lin Zichen's attention. An hour ago, a mutated giant rat attacked an exotic beast cold storage facility in the suburbs. This mutated giant rat was a full 5 meters tall, while fighting a semi-cyborg. It bit the cyborg in half with one bite. In the end, the cyborg activated its self-destruct sequence, perishing together with the mutated giant rat. This news gave Lin Zichen a sense of crisis. How many of these mutated giant rats were there? Why were they all so well hidden? However, Nothing else happened in the following month. In the blink of an eye, it was the day of the competition against the sophomore regular class. Teacher Han was explaining the tactical rules and arrangements before the match. They would still use the wheel battle competition format. Lin Zichen was the first to step onto the stage. To complete the natural selection task sooner, the earlier he went up, the better. But the sophomore side sent up a female student first. She had also looked up Lin Zichen's record and said to the teacher below the stage with some surprise, "If we send out our strongest fighter at the beginning, how are we supposed to fight?" The sophomore teacher looked at Teacher Han with a stern face. According to the agreement from the previous class competition, we're supposed to send the weakest first, right? Teacher Han smiled awkwardly, then ordered Lin Zichen to come down and let the weakest student in the class go up first. Lin Zichen pouted and unwillingly walked off the stage. It seemed his plan was ruined. Teacher Han pointed to Yun Tong in the class. "You go up first." Yun Tong waved her hands in a panic. "Teacher, I'm not ready yet." At this moment, Shun Qinghan walked over and told Teacher Han that she felt she was the weakest and should go first. Afterwards, Shun Qinghan stepped onto the stage. She felt very nervous. At this time, the classmates cheered her on, which instead made Shun Qinghan even more flustered. Just then, the sophomore-senior girl had already thrown a punch and rushed over. Shun Qinghan could only block with all her might. She knew she couldn't win, but she could grit her teeth and hold on to wear down her opponent's stamina. This way, she could create an opportunity for the classmates after her. 2.5 minutes later, the sophomore-senior girl was a little out of breath. This first-year girl was tougher than she looked. The next second, she used all her strength to knock Shun Qinghan off the ring, ending the match. With a thud, Shun Qinghan fell heavily to the ground. Suddenly, she felt like she couldn't hold her pee. She dashed to the restroom. After she came back, Teacher Han praised Shun Qinghan for fighting well. Although she didn't defeat her opponent, she did wear down her stamina. Lin Zichen patted Shun Qinghan's head. In a fight against someone a year older, she managed to last for 2.5 minutes. That's quite an improvement. Next, Yun Tong entered the ring. She wanted to take advantage of her opponent's unrestored stamina to win the match. But unexpectedly, her attacks were still easily dodged. After a few fruitless attacks, the sophomore-senior girl ended the fight with a single punch. Finally, she sat on Yun Tong like Mount Tai crushing down. Attacking right away, "Are you looking down on us from the sophomore regular class?" The sophomore-senior girl had a mocking expression. "Go home and practice more." At this moment, Li Chuxin from Lin Zichen's group of 4 entered the ring. She had a serious look on her face. "Qinghan, watch how I'll take care of this senior." A seemingly frail first-year freshman, facing off against a 300-gene big fatty. She actually sent the fatty flying with one punch. Just now, as soon as Li Chuxin entered the ring, she knocked down the sophomore-senior girl, who was already exhausted. Below the stage, Shun Qinghan shouted, "A beautiful move." Lin Zichen, beside her, patted her head. "It's all because you wore down the senior's stamina earlier, allowing Li Chuxin to win so easily." After 2.5 hours of martial arts clashes, the sophomore martial arts teacher looked at the freshman teacher. "Your class only has 4 people left. It looks like you're bound to lose our bet." Teacher Gui spread his hands. "Don't get happy too soon. The ones remaining are the elites of our class." Teacher Gui looked at He beside him. "It's your turn to go up." He leaped onto the ring with a confident expression. He said confidently, "Sophomore senior, are you ready to face my fist the size of sandbags?" The sophomore senior opposite him showed a disdainful expression. "Don't be so arrogant, first-year brat." The next second, He directly kicked the senior right in the face. Just like that, the senior was kicked viciously off the ring. Young people these days have no martial ethics. "You said fists. Why did you kick me as soon as you came up?" He pointed and yelled, "All's fair in war. Don't you get it? With this skill level, you're just a piece of trash." At this moment, another sophomore senior entered the ring. Looking at Hiyu's arrogant appearance, he showed a strange expression. "Don't be too arrogant, brat." Then, the senior threw a punch and attacked Hiyu. Hiyu dodged the attack by ducking. Then, with a high kick, he sent this senior flying. Seeing this, Shun Qinghan and Li Chuxin shouted, "Hiyu is amazing. Go, Hiyu!" Hiyu also pressed his advantage, continuing his attack. But his stamina had also reached its limit. In the end, he was defeated by the 6th senior to enter the ring. At this point, the freshman class only had 3 people left, while the sophomore class still had 13. Teacher Gui's eyes narrowed. "Wang Shujie, you go up first." The next moment, Wang Shujie leaped onto the ring. He threw a punch, blasting towards the sophomore senior. relying on his own strength. Wang Shujie consecutively took down 10 sophomore seniors. In the end, he was also defeated by an opponent due to stamina exhaustion. Next up was Liu Gang. He also quickly took down 2 of the sophomore's top fighters. At this time, Teacher Guo was smug. Your sophomore class only has 1 person left. Do you want to admit defeat in advance? The sophomore teacher smiled slightly. It's not over till it's over. Then, he called for Wang Jinhe to enter the ring. A big fatty weighing 300 jin stood before Liu Gang. Although Liu Gang felt intimidated, he still prepared to go head-to-head and give it a try. He threw a powerful punch at the fatty. However, his punch was like hitting a large balloon. The big fatty didn't react at all. Then, Liu Gang threw a dozen more punches. Liu Gang was panting heavily. He thought, this guy is so tough-skinned, I can't hurt him at all. The big fatty had a sinister look. Are you done hitting, little friend? Now it's my turn. The big fatty grabbed Liu Gang with one hand. With a smack, he threw Liu Gang off the ring. Teacher Guo watched this in disbelief. He asked the sophomore teacher, since when did your class have such a strong student? The sophomore teacher pursed his lips. Sorry, a student who just transferred yesterday. It seems your freshman class is doomed to lose. Teacher Guo turned his head, unwilling to accept it. I didn't expect him to have such a trump card. Even if our class's Lin Zichen is skilled, he probably can't beat this monster. Teacher Guo walked to Lin Zichen's side and comforted him. Don't worry too much about winning or losing. Just treat it as gaining valuable experience. But Lin Zichen said with a grin, don't worry, teacher, I will definitely win. The big fatty saw Lin Zichen, the last one to enter. Such a skinny guy is the final boss. Junior, don't blame me for bullying the weak. Below the stage, Lin Zichen's fangirls started shouting. Zichen, teach this big fatty a good lesson. The fatty on the stage said disdainfully, Junior, to give your fangirls below some face, how about I stand still and let you have 10 moves? Lest you and those cute junior girls are unconvinced and say behind my back that I bully the weak and don't understand social graces. Lin Zichen pretended to scratch his head awkwardly, thinking, there's such a good deal? The big fatty patted his belly forcefully. Use all your strength and hit me here. With just a boom, Lin Zichen threw a punch. Then the big fatty was seen spinning 2.5 times in the air before falling heavily below the ring. Even the crowd below hadn't reacted yet. The match was already over. The big fatty got up, clutching his head. What just happened? Did I get hit by a car? This is too incredible. A 14-year-old high school girl. Why can't she hold her pee whenever she gets nervous? Is she a loser or a genius? After the martial arts competition ended, the sophomore teacher patted Teacher Guo, praising, your class's Lin Zichen is quite strong. He defeated our class's 300 gene-seated contestant with one punch. His strength is almost on par with Wu Tiansheng's when he was a freshman. Teacher Guo smiled slightly. You're too kind. That Wu Tiansheng was an extremely talented student. At this time, Lin Zichen overheard the teacher's conversation, walked over, and asked, Teacher, who is this Wu Tiansheng you're talking about? Teacher Guo explained, Wu Tiansheng is a senior who graduated before. When he was a freshman, he defeated the entire advanced class of the senior year. Teacher Guo's expression became serious. This Wu Tiansheng's 100-meter dash is 6.12 seconds. His standing high jump is 3.96 meters. What's even more terrifying is that he can lift a 650 gene dumbbell with one hand. He asked Zichen, are you scared by these numbers? After hearing this, Lin Zichen scratched his head. I'm indeed a little scared. But he thought to himself, this is just my level in the 6th grade of elementary school. The sophomore teacher honored the bet and treated Lin Zichen's entire class to a meal. During the dinner, Lin Zichen became the center of attention in the class. Classmates came over to compliment him, except for the show-off duo. Shun Qinghan, beside him, was still meticulously picking up food for Lin Zichen. Suddenly, Shun Qinghan's expression froze. Then she quickly excused herself and ran to the restroom. Lin Zichen knew she still couldn't hold her pee. Just after Shun Qinghan finished in the restroom, 2 girls from the class were gossiping about her, calling her Lin Zichen's simp. Shun Qinghan suddenly said in a gloomy voice, I'm not some simp. We are childhood sweethearts who grew up together. After the party ended, on the way, Lin Zichen noticed Shun Qinghan was in low spirits and asked what happened. Shun Qinghan lowered her head heavily. When I was little, my mom told me that when I grew up, I wouldn't wet my pants anymore. But I still can't hold my pee now. I even have to wear diapers to sleep at night. At this point, tears were welling up in Shun Qinghan's eyes. She asked if she was a cripple who couldn't hold her pee. Lin Zichen looked at Shun Qinghan with a serious face. You're not. Not being able to hold your pee is just your superpower. It hasn't been fully developed yet. What superpower? Shen Qinghan quickly asked. Lin Zichen's gaze became even more determined. It's your water affinity talent. That's one manifestation of your superpower. Shen Qinghan nodded as if she half understood. Then Zichen, you've been so amazing since you were little. Do you have superpowers too? Lin Zichen hummed in agreement. We both have superpowers. After hearing what Zichen said, Shen Qinghan was filled with confidence, looking forward to what kind of superpower she might have. Just then, a clamor sounded in Lin Zichen's ears. It turned out a supermarket employee was stopping exterminators from acting. This supermarket employee was waving a broom, protecting the rats at his feet, and shouting loudly, "These are all my brothers. You can't hurt them." He even rushed towards the exterminators like a madman. Lin Zichen quickly shielded Shen Qinghan behind him. Then he took her hand. Let's just hurry home. After returning home, Lin Zichen was watching TV with his family. The news reported that a female teacher had recently gone missing under mysterious circumstances. Zichen's mother said worriedly, "This seems to be the fourth female teacher to go missing this month." Zichen's father frowned. "No, it's the fifth one." Zichen's mother told Lin Zichen, "It's not safe at night now. You have to take good care of Han-In, understand?" Lin Zichen readily agreed, saying he would definitely take good care of her. Meanwhile, that supermarket employee was taken to the security office. A psychiatrist examined him, but there were still no results because the supermarket employee hadn't said a word since he came in. The officer was a bit curious after hearing this. He was talking nonstop at the supermarket. Suddenly, the supermarket employee's body began to bulge grotesquely, making the sound of cracking bones. The next second, this person turned into a giant mutant rat. The officer immediately called for backup. The mutant giant rat was on a rampage in the security bureau. The officer could only use firepower to suppress it while waiting for the cyborg to arrive. At this time, a female team member hurried over and told the captain that the cyborgs were all on missions. The fastest one would take at least 10 minutes to arrive. The captain ordered all team members to fight while retreating. Lure the mutant giant rat to the suburbs and wait for backup to arrive. The officer drove the car and fled in front. The mutant giant rat chased wildly from behind, but this mutant giant rat was too powerful. Before they got far, it caught up with the car. With a loud bang, the officer's car was directly overturned by the mutant giant rat. The female team member, covered in injuries, had a look of despair. Hasn't the cyborg arrived yet? The mutant giant rat let out a roar and was about to stomp the people in the car into a pulp. The next second, a powerful explosion sounded next to the mutant giant rat. It turned out the cyborg had just arrived. She fired a charged cannonball at the giant rat. The mutant giant rat was blasted into a sorry state, but the next second, it disappeared from everyone's sight. It turned out the giant rat had dug a hole on the spot and escaped. The cyborg looked at the bloodstains around the hole. Looks like it's seriously injured and can't have run far. I must find and eliminate it. 3 o'clock in the morning. Lin Zichen was not yet asleep. He had been persistently writing novels at night for royalties. In half a month, his income had already exceeded 10,000. To seek inspiration for his novel, Lin Zichen couldn't sleep. So he went out to find a secluded alley to test his recent training results. Currently, his 100-meter dash had reached 3.43 seconds. His standing high jump could actually reach 7.22 meters. Lin Zichen pondered. If he kept improving like this, it was only a matter of time before his physical body achieved sainthood. Suddenly, a crunching sound caught Lin Zichen's attention. Lin Zichen looked into the depths of the alley. A humanoid shadow seemed to be squatting there, eating something. It turned out to be a rat man, gnawing on its own kind. Lin Zichen frowned. Could this be the escaped mutant giant rat from the news? It has now transformed into a rat man. Lin Zichen quickly turned and ran towards home. However, the rat man spotted Lin Zichen. It muttered to itself, "I don't have to eat my own kind anymore. I can go eat humans." The rat man was extremely fast. It bounced off the walls and caught up to Lin Zichen. Seeing that he couldn't escape, Lin Zichen could only brace himself for a fight. Lin Zichen threw a whip kick directly at the rat man. The force of this kick was immense, sending the rat man flying several dozen meters. The rat man clutched its aching chest, looking at Lin Zichen in disbelief. This is clearly just a kid. How can he have so much strength? At this moment, Lin Zichen casually picked up a rock from the ground. In an instant, with a bang, it smashed directly onto the ratman's head. Lin Zichen didn't give the ratman another chance to strike, continuously picking up rocks to attack. The rocks, empowered by Lin Zichen's speed and strength, were like cannonballs, smashing the ratman to a pulp. Lin Zichen touched the ratman that had been beaten to a pulp and began to absorb its origin. A system prompt sounded. You have devoured 2 of the giant mutant rat's origin. The current progress of the Mutant Rat Atlas is 7 complete. After finishing the devouring, Lin Zichen hurried home to avoid attracting more trouble. Just after Lin Zichen left, the cyborg arrived. She had followed the tracks here, only to find the corpse of the mutant giant rat on the ground. She wondered who could have killed this ratman. Meanwhile, in an abandoned warehouse in the suburbs, a believer of the rat god cult brought a kidnapped woman to the altar. The believer placed the woman on the altar. Then he knelt and kowtowed sincerely. Lord Rat God, please enjoy. The rat god's crimson eyes held a hint of killing intent. One woman isn't even enough to fill the gaps between my teeth. Are you trying to starve me? The believer quickly kowtowed and explained, recently, young women outside have been quite vigilant. They basically don't go out at night, and during the day, they travel in groups. It's not easy to make a move. As soon as he finished speaking, the rat god stood up angrily. In that case, go capture young men next time. Then, the rat god threw a piece of meat in front of the believer. The believer immediately began to devour it. The rat god used its tongue to hook the kidnapped woman. Then it opened its bloody maw and swallowed her whole. After eating, the rat god instructed the believer, next time, don't bring these commoners. Their lives are too hard, and they don't taste good. Capture some of those high and mighty, pampered people. Their meat must be very tender and delicious. To help Xin Han improve her martial arts skills as quickly as possible, Lin Zichen went to her house to start private training. Every movement, every move, even the adjustment of her breathing, Lin Zichen guided her perfectly. In a short while, Xin Han was panting from exhaustion. However, she still asked Lin Zichen to train her like this every day. Lin Zichen spread his hands. There's no need. 3 times a week is already enough. Your body can't handle daily training. Just then, Lin Zichen's phone rang. It was a special news report. The Jishin Group announced that it would provide free treatment for a talented young girl who became disabled due to undergoing mechanical modification too early. Lin Zichen watched the news about the introduction of this talented girl. This girl had successfully fused with the genes of a 1,000 silk spider exotic beast and broke the record for the youngest person in the capital to undergo a second gene fusion. Normally, people can only undergo gene fusion after the age of 18, otherwise their bodies can't withstand the exotic beast genes and may mutate. But this talented girl completed 2 gene fusions before she was 18. It seems her body is exceptionally gifted. Does this mean gene fusion is the optimal choice? A high school student was used as a sacrifice by a cult just because of his outstanding looks. At this time, under the blessing of the system's 9 heavens human wisdom root ability, Lin Zichen's speed of writing novels for royalties was constantly increasing. Zichen's father walked over, looked at his son, and said comfortingly, the quality of this book is quite good. Later, when you have more words, 100,000 a month should be no problem. Lin Zichen's heart trembled slightly. Is writing books so profitable? Then I won't have to worry about funds in the future and can unlock the exotic beast atlas at will. A month later, in martial arts class, teacher Han organized another martial arts sparring session in the class. Lin Zichen's movement was still sharp. He subdued 1 classmate with each move. Not only did he receive an 888 yuan cash reward from the teacher, but he also increased his natural selection experience points by several dozen. On Xin Han's side, she was still last in the class. But compared to last time, when she was knocked down by the second-to-last student with 1 kick as soon as she got on stage. This time, in the match against the second-to-last student, she went head-to-head and lasted for 3 minutes. Teacher Han also praised Xin Han after the match. Xin Han still has a lot of room for improvement. Keep working hard. Then, Teacher Han announced something. Next month, they would challenge the strongest advanced class of the sophomore year. In the blink of an eye, Lin Zichen's novel had been on the shelves for a month, and he had 80,000 yuan in royalties on hand. Lin Zichen went to the supermarket to buy violent rock meat. The clerk enthusiastically introduced, "There's a promotion now. If you buy 100 Gene, you can get 5 discount." Lin Zichen rubbed his chin. He was still a bit short of buying 100 Gene at once, but that would be next month's business. He decided to wait until he had saved enough to buy it and save some money. The next day at school, Shun Qinghan accompanied Lin Zichen to the school cafeteria for a meal. They heard that a new stir-fry window had opened today, so they decided to go try it together. Arriving at the cafeteria, Shun Qinghan looked at the delicious food being cooked and said excitedly, "It smells so good, it's making me hungry." Just as Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan sat down to eat, they saw a long line forming at the stir-fry window. Shun Qinghan exclaimed, "Luckily we came early, otherwise we would have had a line up." Suddenly, they saw someone arguing in the line. It turned out to be he arguing with a student about cutting in line. Seeing this, Shun Qinghan asked Zichen if they should go over and see what was happening. Before Lin Zichen and the others could get up, Yu, with his imposing manner, dealt with the student who cut in line. However, this student had an unconvinced look on his face. He quickly walked over to his classmates and whispered something. This made Yu feel a little uneasy. A moment later, several students cut directly in front of Yu. Yu asked them what they meant and if they were looking for trouble. The line cutters looked disdainful. "No reason, we just like cutting in line." At these words, Yu flew into a rage. He reached out to pull the line cutters behind him. The moment Yu exerted his strength, he was shocked because Yu used all his strength but couldn't even budge the 2 people in front of him. At this time, Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan also stood up. Lin Zichen quickly came up behind one of the line-cutting students and said in a gloomy tone, "Excuse me, please go to the back of the line." Another line cutter pointed at Lin Zichen and yelled, "I'm not going to line up. What can you do about it?" Unexpectedly, Lin Zichen immediately took out his phone. "I've recorded everything. I'll report you." Seeing this, the line cutters could only give in, not wanting to cause more trouble for themselves. Playing the reporting card is so shameless. Yu immediately came over. "I think cutting in line is the more shameless act." The few line-cutting students turned and left in a huff. Inside a rich man's villa in Shanghai City, the believers of the rat god cult were gathering. After learning the news that Sha Chong, the one who caused trouble at the supermarket entrance, had lost his life, they were not sad but rather gloated. They only blamed Sha Chong for liking to cause trouble everywhere. It was only a matter of time before he got killed. Then, the cult leader announced that this newcomer beside him would replace Sha Chong. Next, the cult leader conveyed Lord Rat God's message. Commoners don't taste good as sacrifices. From now on, they were to find rich people as sacrifices. As soon as he finished speaking, the believers below started discussing. Cult leader, capturing rich people is too risky. The cult leader's gaze darkened. Can't you use your brains? Try to pick some rich young masters who are wealthy but have no power. Wouldn't that reduce the risk? The cult leader told the newcomer beside him, "You don't have to capture rich people first. You can start by capturing ordinary young people to practice. Then offer them as sacrifices to the Son of God." The newcomer's lips curled. "Rest assured, cult leader, I will capture the most handsome young man in the entire city as a sacrifice. I want to fight 10 is no longer enough for this talented high school student." He clamored to challenge the students of an entire school. After investigating, he discovered that the few people who cut in line and caused trouble a few days ago were actually students from the strongest sophomore advanced class. Lin Zichen said casually while looking at the news on his phone, "Good grades don't mean good character." Suddenly, a piece of news on his phone made Lin Zichen's heart jolt. It turned out that more rich second-generation kids had gone missing. 5 rich kids had disappeared in 3 days. More importantly, it wasn't an ordinary kidnapping for ransom. Lin Zichen guessed in his heart, could it be related to the rat god cult again? A week later, Lin Zichen's freshman class faced a challenge match against the strongest sophomore class. Those students who had cut in line were also among them. They looked at Yu provocatively. Soon after, the sparring began. First to enter the ring was still the weakest student in the class. Just as Shun Qinghan stood firm, the sophomore senior girl opposite her threw a kick. Shun Qinghan managed to block the kick. However, the kick was a bit too much for Shun Qinghan to handle. The senior from the advanced class was simply too strong. If she used her previous turtle-style tactic to wear down her opponent's stamina, she probably wouldn't be able to hold on. Indeed, just as Shin Ching-han had expected, the weakest senior from the strongest sophomore class beat several girls from the freshman class, leaving them with no way to fight back, until a slightly more robust, short-haired girl from Shun Ching-han's class entered the ring and knocked this senior off the ring. However, the red-haired senior from the sophomore class who came up next quickly took control of the ring. In less than 10 minutes, she alone took down 9 people from the freshman class. Just like that, only Lin Zichen and his 3 friends were left in the freshman class. As for the sophomore class, a total of 5 people had been knocked down, and there were still 36 who hadn't entered the ring. The 5 who were knocked down were all girls. Teacher Han was gritting his teeth at this point. The gap in strength is just too big. It's a complete one-sided slaughter. Teacher Han looked at Hiyu behind him. It's your turn. The other side still has 6 girls left. Defeat all of them. At least win back some face. Hearing this, Hiyu excitedly leaped onto the ring. Thinking of the graceful senior girls, he was willing to fight not just 6, but even 60 of them. He did not disappoint. He exhausted his strength to defeat all 6 remaining girls from the sophomore class. A boy from the sophomore class began to enter the ring. He yelled provocatively, "Kid, prepare to die." He smiled disdainfully. A classless guy who likes to cut in line. He has no self-awareness at all. He thought that the first boy to enter the ring should be the weakest in the sophomore class. A perfect chance to get revenge for the line-cutting incident a few days ago. The next second, he was dumbfounded. The opponent's punching speed was too fast. In the blink of an eye, a fist had already slammed into Hiyu's stomach. Hiyu clutched his stomach in pain. So fast, so painful. The sophomore senior stepped over Hiyu's body. "Rookie, give up." Hiyu got up and threw a punch, but the senior easily dodged it. Then, the senior kicked Hiyu directly off the ring. Hiyu clutched his stomach in pain. This is not the bottom-ranked boy from the strongest sophomore class. He must have come out deliberately to get revenge on me. I was too careless. The sophomore boy looked at Lin Zichen. "Don't you like to meddle in other people's business, kid? Today's your chance. If you have the guts, come up and fight." Lin Zichen leaped onto the ring without hesitation. He thought, "I was just looking for a chance to get on stage early." The boys in Lin Zichen's class shouted, "Teach this line cutter a lesson. Give him a taste of humiliation." The next moment, the sophomore senior took the initiative and rushed towards Lin Zichen. Just as a sidekick was about to hit Lin Zichen's face, Lin Zichen just casually raised a hand and directly blocked the kick. Then, Lin Zichen grabbed the sophomore senior's head and slammed it hard onto the ring. The sophomore senior's eyes rolled back, and he passed out on the spot. Lin Zichen copied him, stepping over his body. Then, with his hands in his pockets, he kicked him off the ring. The boys in the sophomore class were stunned. Chiyu is ranked in the top 5 in our class. He was taken out in a second by this freshman. It's unbelievable. Teacher Han rubbed his chin. This kid, Lin Zichen, must be hiding a lot of his strength. Otherwise, he couldn't have done what he did today. The show-off duo stared dumbfounded. Is this damn guy really a freshman? Lin Zichen looked at the remaining sophomore seniors and asked in a faint tone, "Who's next? Or should you all come at once?" At these words, the sophomore seniors were scared out of their wits. Half an hour later, Lin Zichen had taken care of the remaining 29 members of the strongest sophomore class. Afterward, Lin Zichen checked the progress of his natural selection. It was currently at 119, still a long way from the 1,000 eliminations. Lin Zichen pondered that his current ability had far surpassed the high school level. There was no need to abide by the rules of this high school competition. A bold idea rose in Lin Zichen's mind. The following Monday, a surprise scream suddenly came from the principal's office. It turned out the principal had learned that Lin Zichen wanted to challenge the entire school. The freshman Lin Zichen's simple sentence made the principal's legs go weak. To prove that he had the strength to challenge the entire school, Lin Zichen told the principal with a serious face, "Come with me to the gym now. I'll show you my true strength." After arriving at the gym, the principal asked faintly, "School is already over. Why did you bring me to the gym? How do you plan to demonstrate?" Lin Zichen said while taking off his clothes, "Of course, to show my true strength." At these words, the principal's mind started to wander. "Zichen, you don't have to take off your clothes to demonstrate." "Wait, don't." The next second, Lin Zichen actually lifted a 700-kilogram barbell with one hand. Seeing this, the principal was completely stunned. Even his speech trembled. 700 kilograms with one hand. This strength is even greater than that of the strongest student in the school's history, Wu Tiansheng, when he was a freshman. The principal gave a big thumbs up. "Zichen, the principal grants your request. I will arrange a match for you to challenge the entire entire school. Lin Zichen scratched his head in embarrassment. Principal, there's one more thing. We need to set up some rewards for the competition. Otherwise, I'm afraid people won't be motivated. Lin Zichen continued, there will be prize money just for participating. Secondly, there's a cumulative challenge reward. Anyone who can beat me can take the prize pool money. If no one can successfully challenge me, the prize money is mine. The principal nodded in agreement. Don't worry about this matter. Leave it all to me. Lin Zichen finally reminded the principal, don't publicize my strength today. Otherwise, everyone might lose the confidence to challenge me. A few days later, the principal brought the competition plan to Lin Zichen. The teacher beside him rubbed his eyes in disbelief. What's wrong with the principal today? It's completely out of character. Usually, she's like a female devil. Why is she acting coquettishly with Lin Zichen today? At 2:30 that afternoon, the principal announced the competition notice to the entire school in the gymnasium. She also informed everyone of Lin Zichen's personal information, his track record, and the prize money. As expected, every student present was fired up, all wanting to challenge Lin Zichen. At this time, Lin Zichen looked at the eager students on the stage and said faintly, starting tomorrow, during the lunch break, I will be defending the ring in the gymnasium. Everyone is welcome to come and challenge me. This way, Lin Zichen's natural selection could be completed quickly. In the evening, the newcomer from the rat god cult stood on the street looking for prey. At this moment, two gaudily dressed women walked over and tried to strike up a conversation. The rat god cult's newcomer, Huang Mao, glanced at them disdainfully. I'm not interested in them. Get lost. Seeing that Huang Mao was unappreciative, the two women turned and left angrily. Huang Mao sighed. Has Shanghai City become this lame? Huang Mao looked at the surrounding crowd. Is it really this hard to find a handsome guy for the cult leader? The people on this street are all so plain. Huang Mao scratched his head in frustration. If I can't find one, how am I going to explain it to the cult leader? Huang Mao had originally thought of finding a male celebrity, but they were always surrounded by bodyguards. As a newcomer to the rat god cult, it was too difficult to make a move. Just as Huang Mao was walking down the street with a gloomy face, Lin Zichen, who was out for a night run, brushed past him. Huang Mao's eyes lit up. Isn't this the handsome guy I've been looking for? Speak of the devil. Huang Mao looked at the prey before him, and a smile gradually formed on his face. He watched Lin Zichen run into a secluded alley, unable to suppress the evil thoughts in his heart any longer. He immediately followed him. The next second, he transformed, wanting to capture Lin Zichen. A brick slammed into his face. Truly, a high-level hunter often appears disguised as prey. The boy just gently waved a brick, and the 3-meter-tall mutant giant rat was smashed to its death. The brick was deeply embedded in the ratman's head. He couldn't believe a teenager could possess such strength. At this moment, Lin Zichen was also a bit surprised to think he could pick up a ratman while out for a workout. It seemed his mutant rat atlas could make some more progress. The rat man wailed in agony. How could he be so unlucky today? Just as Lin Zichen was about to finish him off with the brick in his hand, the rat man collapsed to the ground, dead. This scene surprised Lin Zichen. I took him out with just one brick. He's too weak. Then, Lin Zichen bent down to absorb the ratman's origin. The system prompted that it was only one of a giant mutant rat's origin. Lin Zichen raised an eyebrow. No wonder he was so weak. Then, Lin Zichen thought to himself, these mutant giant rats are extremely vengeful. I was lucky to encounter a weak one this time. It might not be the same next time. I should probably stay home for a while and not go out for night runs. Back home, just as Lin Zichen came out after a shower, he was captivated by a news report on TV. Just moments ago, the Public Security Department, in collaboration with an instructor from Shanghai University's Evolution Academy, had annihilated the Rat God cult in one fell swoop. The one who defeated the Rat King was Shanghai University's evolution instructor, Wu Tiansheng. He is a gene fusionist with a high-level biological rank. Wu Tiansheng transformed into a falcon with black wings. He was seen flapping his wings forcefully, and his feathers turned into countless sharp throwing knives that shot directly at the Rat King. In less than half a minute, Wu Tiansheng achieved an overwhelming victory over the Rat King. Lin Zichen stared intently at the TV screen. Is this the power of a high-level being? That Wu Tiansheng, the strongest in the school's history, is truly amazing. Meanwhile, in a hotel room somewhere, a man with short blue hair asked Wu Tiansheng, "Still no contact with the teacher?" Wu Tiansheng blew on the hot coffee in his hand. The teacher is still missing. The group of experts who went to suppress the riot at Origin Site 36 are still completely out of contact. The blue-haired man then asked, "What's the current situation at Origin Site 36? Wu Tiansheng said faintly, "It's relatively stable for now. Otherwise, I wouldn't have time to deal with small fry like the Rat King." The blue-haired man lowered his head. The Rat King is considered small fry? That guy once had the entire public security headquarters at a loss. Then, the blue-haired man looked at Wu Tiansheng. "I in front of a genius high-level being like you. These mutant giant rats are indeed small fry." The blue-haired man moved closer to Wu Tiansheng. "Since you're back at your high school alma mater, why not give a lecture?" Wu Tiansheng curled his lip. "That I'm not some idle person. I still have real work to do." In a cave on the outskirts of the city, the rat god knelt on the ground like a child who had done something wrong, recounting his deeds of the past few days. Before the rat god was a giant green monster. Its voice was deep. "You big rat, I spent a great deal of effort to create you. The task I gave you was to expand your race and dig tunnels. But instead, you went around catching and eating people and almost got yourself killed." The green monster bared its fangs. "Are you trying to get yourself killed?" At these words, the rat god trembled all over, looking at the green monster with pleading eyes. "My lord, please give me one more chance." The green monster grinned wickedly. "Of course, I could give you a chance." However, before it could finish, a giant hand reached for the rat god's head, followed by a blood-curdling scream. The teenager, with just a slight effort, defeated all the students in the school. The green monster forcibly gouged out the rat god's eyeball. The eyes of a sewer rat smell awful, but they taste really good. Crunchy, beef flavor. The green monster grabbed the rat god. "That you're a clever one, letting your younger brother be the scapegoat. You were lucky to escape this time. You won't be so lucky next time." As it spoke, the green monster gouged out another of the rat god's eyeballs. "This will teach you a lesson. Now get back to digging tunnels for me." Meanwhile, Lin Zichen was walking on campus, having become the center of everyone's discussion. This first-year freshman is going to challenge the entire school. He really doesn't know his own limits. "Let's go watch the show at noon." Lin Zichen paid them no mind, continuing to scroll through his phone. 9 fugitive members of the rat god cult. There's an astronomical reward for them. Lin Zichen thought, "These are walking 500,000s. If I catch one, I could buy all the beast meat I need in one go." But then Lin Zichen reconsidered. "I should lay low and develop first. I'll think about the bounty after ensuring my own safety." Soon, noon arrived. The school gymnasium was packed with people. Lin Zichen was overjoyed seeing all these people. "With so many people, I can complete the mission today." At that moment, Shen Xinghan spoke through a megaphone. "Anyone who challenges can enter the lucky draw. The prizes are generous. First come, first served." As soon as she said this, the students below began to cheer, all eager to try. They heard the prizes included high-end game consoles and fruit phones. A male student raised his hand high. "I'll go first." A girl stepped on his face and rushed up. Following her, several other girls broke through the encirclement of male students and charged forward. In an instant, 9 girls surrounded Lin Zichen in the middle of the ring. A girl with a high ponytail held on to Lin Zichen's arm, looking at him with an infatuated expression. What strong arms. Lin Zichen watched as the girls swarmed towards him. He felt this competition was starting to get a little strange. Lin Zichen closed his eyes to calm himself. Although he didn't like hitting girls, he would have to make an exception to complete the mission quickly. The next second, he sent a girl off the ring with a single palm strike. He turned and struck again, and another girl was sent flying. In the following few seconds, Lin Zichen used a series of palm strikes to knock the remaining girls off the ring. At this time, the system prompted, "Natural selection progress 309. The girls who were knocked off the ring raised their hands high. "That I didn't get to touch Zichen just now. I want to challenge again." Lin Zichen's eyes flickered. "Sorry, those who have failed the challenge cannot re-enter the ring." Hearing this, the girls below looked unwilling and we want to get close to him. Just then, a burly man walked over, clenching his fist. You're Lin Zichen. I can't stand how arrogant you are. Let me teach you a lesson." With a single punch, the moment he stepped onto the ring, he was taken down by Lin Zichen. Many more male students bravely charged forward, but they were all easily defeated by Lin Zichen. In the blink of an eye, half an hour had passed. The contestants defeated by Lin Zichen were almost piled into a mountain. Lin Zichen waved to the crowd. "Anyone else?" Who hasn't come up to try? The next second, a short-haired man stood out. There's still me. His tone carried a hint of dominance. With a big leap, he jumped onto the ring. Some students in the audience recognized him. That's Yin Shaoxian, the top dog of the second-year advanced class. I heard Yin Shaoxian also took on an entire class by himself back in the day. In the end, he was defeated by Chun Wuxing, a senior from the year above him. Yin Shaoxian dusted off his clothes. Junior, don't be too arrogant. I was like this back then and I got crushed. You need to understand that there's always someone better out there. Lin Zichen remained calm, silently listening to Yin Shaoxuan's lecture. But Yin Shaoxian seemed to be a chatterbox. He had been lecturing about grand principles ever since he got on stage, talking for a full 2.5 minutes. Lin Zichen couldn't listen anymore. He asked the referee, "Can we start fighting now?" After getting the approval, he kicked Yin Shaoxian directly in the face. With a loud bang, Yin Shaoxian was sent flying a great distance. Lin Zichen scratched his ear impatiently. Finally, some peace and quiet. This left the audience below stunned. The powerful Yin Shaoxian was defeated in an instant. Lin Zichen is too strong. Suddenly, a round of applause was heard. Well fought, Junior. It turned out to be the school's #1 fighter, Chun Wuxing. The onlookers began to whisper among themselves. Now, there's a real show to watch. Lin Zichen remained impassive, beat the junior, and now the senior shows up. Chun Wuxing leaped onto the ring. That I didn't expect you to take down Yin Shaoxian in an instant. Do you know what I was like back in my day? Lin Zichen impatiently asked the referee again, "Can we start fighting now?" Seeing this, Chun Wuxing stomped his foot in anger. I haven't finished talking yet. However, in the next second, Chun Wuxing dashed towards Lin Zichen. Looks like I'll have to knock you down before you'll listen to me. Lin Zichen didn't dodge, but met Chun Wuxing's punch head on. In that instant, Chun Wuxing was sent flying. Chun Wuxing couldn't believe it. How could this be? This left the onlookers completely dumbfounded. At this point, Lin Zichen looked at the dazed crowd. "Don't just stand there. Those who haven't come up, hurry up and fight me." A dazed student pointed at himself. Me? Lin Zichen nodded eagerly. "Anyone who hasn't fought, hurry up and fight me." The dazed student, with the attitude of "since I'm already here," walked onto the ring. "Don't be too rough on me later." Lin Zichen said with a smile, "No problem." Then he knocked him down with one punch. The students below who hadn't gone up saw that Lin Zichen's attacks weren't too heavy and their fighting spirit was rekindled. Since we're here, and we can enter the draw just by getting on stage. For the fruit phone and game console, let's give it a try. Just like that, Lin Zichen took down one kid after another. Soon, the system prompted that he had cumulatively eliminated 1,000 different opponents. Acquired new biological attribute, natural selection. When the boy took the girl swimming, he suddenly discovered that water could pass through the girl's body without any obstruction. Just now, Lin Zichen had successfully obtained the biological attribute of natural selection. This skill could increase the damage dealt to other creatures. Lin Zichen stroked his chin. This skill is very practical, simple, and direct. But the system didn't specify how much damage it increases. I must test its effect when I get the chance. Then, Lin Zichen jumped off the ring and announced, "Today's challenge is over." Everyone could disperse. However, the girls at the scene were still not satisfied, wanting to see more of Lin Zichen's agile skills. Lin Zichen paid them no mind and left the gymnasium holding Shun Qinghan's hand. A short while later, hearty laughter came from the principal's office. It was the principal who let out a gratified laugh after learning that Lin Zichen had successfully challenged the entire school. The principal looked at Lin Zichen with a serious expression. "You can even take down Chun Wuxing in one hit. Zichen, just how much of your strength are you hiding?" Lin Zichen took a sip of water, just a little bit. The principal continued, "Not long ago, Chun Wuxing took the special recruitment exam for Kyoto University. He can lift a 690 kilograms barbell with one hand." Then, the principal raised an eyebrow. "Zichen, based on your data, you should be able to lift 800 kilograms, right?" Lin Zichen didn't reveal his true strength, but played along. "Principal, you're as perceptive as a god. I can lift a 795 kilograms barbell." The principal nodded in satisfaction. "That I knew you were extraordinary." Lin Zichen suddenly raised his hand and said, "Principal, the prize money for the ring competition, 8,810 yuan. When will you transfer it to me?" The principal smiled slightly. that I'll transfer it to you now. You're quite the little money grabber. Then, the principal said meaningfully, Zichen, since you've successfully challenged the entire school, from now on, you will represent the school. Lin Zichen suddenly interrupted. Principal, there's something I need to trouble you with. Lin Zichen pointed to Shun Qinghan beside him. Qinghan and I both like to swim. Can the school's swimming pool be opened exclusively for us? Lin Zichen looked at the principal with a serious expression, and it can't be open to others when we're using it. The principal's eyes flickered out. Of course, you can use it. Lin Zichen then made another request, and when we're using it, the cameras need to be covered. He expressed that he didn't like being watched when wearing a swimsuit. At these words, the principal let out a meaningful "oh." He thought to himself, a young man and woman, alone together, and they want the pool cameras covered. Young people these days are quite wild. The principal took the swimming pool key from a drawer. Zichen, since you want it, I'll grant your request. The principal handed the key to Lin Zichen. From now on, the school's swimming pool is your exclusive pool. Suddenly, the principal leaned in and whispered in Lin Zichen's ear, but this is a school. You two better not create a life. This sentence left the inexperienced Lin Zichen a bit confused. How could swimming cause a life? Then, Lin Zichen led Shun Qinghan out of the principal's office. Lin Zichen looked at the swimming pool key. In the coming days, I can properly explore what Qinghan's ability really is. Shun Qinghan suddenly turned around. Zichen, there's something I want to ask you. Shun Qinghan looked at Lin Zichen with expectant eyes. She had signed up for a singing competition and wanted Lin Zichen to help her practice the duet part. Also, are you free tonight? Could you come to my house to practice with me? Lin Zichen agreed with a smile. Hearing this, Shun Qinghan danced with joy. Lin Zichen watched her back, that I hope you can regain your confidence through singing. That evening, Lin Zichen went to Shun Qinghan's house, and the two practiced their duet together. Meanwhile, in the living room, Shun Qinghan's father was a bit restless. He asked his wife, the kids are grown up now. Isn't it inappropriate for a young man and woman to be alone in a room together? Shun Qinghan's mother scolded him. What are you, an old fool, no? They're childhood sweethearts. Are you going to object? Shun Qinghan's mother put her hands on her hips assertively. Stay out of the young people's business. Shun Qinghan's father's submissive voice reached Lin Zichen's ears. So, to avoid embarrassment, he told Shun Qinghan they had already practiced for half an hour. Let's stop here for today. Lin Zichen walked towards the door and told Shun Qinghan to go to the school pool tomorrow to practice swimming. Remember to bring your swimsuit. After Lin Zichen left, Shun Qinghan thought of the pool, and her face immediately turned red. She went to her wardrobe and started picking out a swimsuit. Shun Qinghan took out a bikini and a one-piece swimsuit, wondering which one would be better to wear. Shun Qinghan picked up the black bikini. Isn't this one too revealing? She couldn't help but imagine herself playing with Lin Zichen in the pool, and her heart began to race. In the end, she packed the bikini into her school bag. Anyway, it'll just be me and Xiao Chun at the pool. In the blink of an eye, the next day arrived. Lin Zichen arrived at the school pool early. He looked around. He saw that the cameras had indeed been covered. Just then, Shun Qinghan's voice came from behind him. Shun Qinghan looked stunning in a black bikini. She greeted Lin Zichen with a shy expression. This sight also made Lin Zichen's heart race. He thought, she's so cute. Lin Zichen turned his head and gestured, let's go. Let's get in the water and train. Then, the two of them dived into the pool. They swam freely in the water, holding hands. Suddenly, Shun Qinghan seemed to have discovered something. She then patted Lin Zichen's arm. She pointed upwards, signaling for him to go up. Lin Zichen immediately held Shun Qinghan and swam towards the surface. As soon as they surfaced, Lin Zichen asked worriedly, Qinghan, what's wrong? Shun Qinghan looked at her body in surprise. Xiao Chun, it's the water. It seems like water can pass through my body. Then, Shun Qinghan scooped up some pool water to show Lin Zichen. Sure enough, the water didn't stay in Shun Qinghan's palm, but passed right through it. The girl wets her pants whenever she gets nervous. Is it the rise of an ability, or is she just naturally useless? Just now, Shun Qinghan looked at her hands in confusion. How strange. Why are my hands leaking water? Lin Zichen guessed in his heart. Could this be Qinghan's superpower? So, Lin Zichen lifted Shun Qinghan's hand to observe it carefully. But besides the water passing through, he didn't find anything else unusual. Then, Lin Zichen led Shun Qinghan to the edge of the pool. He wanted to check her body to see if other parts could also be penetrated by water. As soon as he said this, Shun Qinghan's face instantly turned red. However, she still agreed to Lin Zichen's request. Shun Qinghan lay flat on a chair, and Lin Zichen sprinkled water on her. After trying 3 times all over her body, Lin Zichen stroked his chin and muttered, "There are no signs of water leakage in other parts of her body." Lin Zichen helped Shun Qinghan up and told her that for now, he had only found that her palms could leak water. Afterwards, the two sat by the pool and chatted. Shun Qinghan said with some embarrassment, "I've had trouble holding my peace since I was little. Could it be that some part of my body is being penetrated by water?" Lin Zichen wasn't sure either, and just agreed, "It's possible." Lin Zichen turned to look at Shun Qinghan. "Next time you can't hold it, remember to let me know." Then, Lin Zichen turned his head away in embarrassment. When that happens, try to feel carefully if certain parts of your body feel the same as your leaking hands. This topic instantly plunged the two into an awkward silence. However, Shun Qinghan was still a little excited, looking at her hands. She thought to herself that she wasn't some useless girl. Perhaps she was a water-type superhuman. She looked forward to the future, hoping that one day her ability would be fully unlocked. Shun Qinghan looked at Lin Zichen warmly. When that time comes and she has superpowers, she can fight alongside Xiao Chun. After school, Lin Zichen went to the supermarket again. He slammed his bank card down in front of the clerk. He said in a faint tone, "Give me 100 pounds of Stormwing eagle meat." Then he gave her the delivery address. The clerk watched Lin Zichen turn and leave, marveling, "Which young master is this, spending so lavishly?" Not long after, the clerk delivered the goods to the designated location. Lin Zichen held a box of Stormwing eagle meat, thinking my manuscript fee just arrived this morning. With what I had before, it's exactly 210,000, enough to buy 100 pounds of Stormwing eagle meat. Lin Zichen eagerly placed his hand on the eagle meat, wanting to see what effect completing the atlas would have. Soon, the system prompt sounded, "Stormwing eagle atlas 100 complete. Acquired biological attribute, Eye of the Sky. The Eye of the Sky can greatly enhance your vision and dynamic motion capture ability." A golden light flickered in Lin Zichen's eyes. Standing on high ground, he could see scenes from 5 kilometers away. Lin Zichen focused his mind, concentrating on a pedestrian on the road who was looking at their phone. Soon, the screen of the pedestrian's phone came into his view. After the test, Lin Zichen returned home. His parents were watching the news. The news was reporting on a 3-time gene fusionist who mutated in a public place, causing hundreds of casualties. At this moment, a martial arts professor on TV was filled with righteous indignation. The path of gene fusion is a mistake. What we have now are humanoid monsters. We should find ways to develop human potential, not this kind of gene fusion. But a gene fusion professor in the audience pointed at his nose and shouted, "Your idea is pure fantasy. If we don't rely on gene fusion now, are we supposed to rely on you martial artists who can't even block a bullet to deal with the mutant beasts?" Lin Zichen's father offered his opinion. Gene fusion is indeed uncontrollable at present. A bad mutation could be a major disaster. But Zichen's mother said with a smile, "The probability of a bad mutation is very small, don't worry." Lin Zichen's mother waved her hand. "Instead of worrying about bad mutations, you should worry about how gene fusionists will carry on their family lines. After all, they lose their reproductive ability after mutating." Zichen's father nodded in agreement. Suddenly, Zichen's mother heard a sound. She saw Zichen standing behind her. She greeted him awkwardly, thinking it was inappropriate to discuss such adult matters in front of her son. So, to ease the awkwardness, Zichen's parents called for Lin Zichen to hurry up and eat. During dinner, Lin Zichen told his parents that the school was holding a campus singer competition tomorrow, and Shun Qinghan had signed up. Hearing this news, Lin Zichen's parents were also very happy. After all, they were friends who grew up together. They would go to the event to cheer for Henin. In the blink of an eye, it was the day of the campus singer competition. Zichen's parents held up signs to cheer for Henin. At this time, Lin Zichen was in a classroom, applying makeup for Shun Qinghan. Just as the two were flirting, their classmate Li Chuxin walked out. "Are you two still showing off your love?" Shun Qinghan quickly explained. "Xiao Chun is good at makeup, so I asked him to help." But Li Chuxin had a mischievous smile that I get it. "You're practically an old married couple, still playing at innocent love." Then, Li Chuxin waved goodbye. Just to let you know, there are 2 more contestants before it's Qinghan's turn. Lin Zichen packed up the makeup bag, saying he would walk Shen Qinghan to the stage to prepare. But at this moment, Shen Qinghan began to tremble all over. Her face flushed and her body trembling. She stood up and grabbed Lin Zichen's sleeve. Shen Qinghan stammered, "Shout, Chun I." Suddenly, Shen Qinghan started crying that I couldn't hold it in again and wet my pants. The boy was just punished by having to clean the classroom, but he gained an unexpected attribute boost. Just now, Shen Qinghan started crying because she couldn't hold her pee. Her singing competition was about to start. Now her pants were wet and she didn't know what to do. If she couldn't go on stage because of this, Li Chuxin, who was singing the duet with her, would surely resent and mock her for the rest of her life. Lin Zichen wiped Shen Qinghan's tears while comforting her. "Don't cry, or your makeup will be ruined." Just then, Lin Zichen turned to look at the curtains beside him. An idea immediately came to his mind. Then, Lin Zichen took a pair of scissors from a desk and pulled down the curtains. He spread the curtain flat on a desk and began to cut it. Watching Lin Zichen's skilled cutting movements, Shen Qinghan seemed to see a glimmer of hope. In a short while, Lin Zichen had made the curtain into a white dress. Lin Zichen walked up to Shen Qinghan with a white dress. "Take this to the restroom and change into it." Shen Qinghan took the dress, her heart filled with gratitude. She said shyly, "There's no time. I'll just change here. Just tell Lin Zichen to turn his head." At these words, Lin Zichen also became shy. He then turned his head to let Shen Qinghan change. The sound of her changing clothes reached Lin Zichen's ears, making the heart of the budding romantic flutter. In a short while, Shen Qinghan finished changing and told Lin Zichen it was okay. Wearing the white dress, Shen Qinghan looked even more elegant and graceful. Shen Qinghan murmured, "Because I just cried after wetting my pants. I'm not nervous at all now." Lin Zichen patted Shen Qinghan's head. "The competition is about to start. I hope it goes well for you." In the following singing competition, Shen Qinghan and Li Chuxin performed excellently. They ultimately won the championship of the campus singer competition. Seeing this, Lin Zichen also applauded and cheered for her. However, the missing curtain in Lin Zichen's classroom was still discovered by the Dean of Discipline. Lin Zichen willingly accepted the punishment and cleaned the classroom with Shen Qinghan. As Lin Zichen was staring blankly at the tattered curtain, a system prompt suddenly appeared before his eyes. "Congratulations on completing 1,000 tasks in multi-person cooperation. Acquired biological attribute, social animal. This attribute, during combat, increases your combat power based on the number of allies of the same race within a certain range." A happy smile spread across Lin Zichen's face. This is truly a blessing in disguise, an unexpected gain. Since Shen Qinghan won the singing competition, the surrounding classmates also became more enthusiastic towards her. They all asked her for tips on how to sing well. Because of this, Shen Qinghan regained her confidence. As Shen Qinghan regained her confidence, her martial arts skills also continuously improved. Meanwhile, Lin Zichen continued to be on a roll, winning all sorts of martial arts competitions effortlessly. He even made it onto the school's honor roll, becoming the student with the most awards since the school's founding. Because of this, he was even signed by his classmate. He used family's martial arts gym as a spokesperson. With the endorsement fee plus his novel manuscript fees, he had saved up $900,000. It was almost enough to unlock a new mutant beast atlas. Not long after, the supermarket clerk delivered a package to Lin Zichen. This time, Lin Zichen had chosen the meat of a breath-hiding dragon. It was a type of lizard skilled in concealment. Lin Zichen eagerly placed his hand on the beast meat. Soon, the system prompted, successfully unlocked the breath-hiding dragon atlas. Acquired biological attribute, natural camouflage. The characteristic of natural camouflage is that it allows you to hide your biological rank by reducing your body's life force, and it can also lower your presence. Lin Zichen was ecstatic. "Doesn't this mean I can pretend to be weak to prey on the strong?" One day, Lin Zichen went out to buy a cake. Suddenly, a commotion was heard not far away. It was several mechanically modified humans escorting a female prisoner past here. One of the mechanically modified humans looked familiar to Lin Zichen. It turned out to be Zhang Kai, a senior from his middle school days. Lin Zichen saw that Zhang Kai's legs had been replaced with mechanical ones and curiously asked why. Zhang Kai laughed heartily. "Back then, I didn't get into high school, so I became a street racer. I didn't expect to break my legs." Luckily, I participated in the modification experiment of the machine god group. And just like that, I transformed into a mechanically modified human. Lin Zichen pointed to the female prisoner. Who is this? Zhang Kai replied in a faint tone. This woman is a wanted remnant of the rat god cult, and also the only female fugitive. At that moment, Zhang Kai's colleague called for him to return to the team. So Zhang Kai waved goodbye to Lin Zichen that let's catch up next time we're free. Lin Zichen watched Zhang Kai and his team walk away, thinking this machine god group is no simple matter. A rat god cult fugitive that the entire public security department couldn't catch was captured so easily by them. Lin Zichen's gaze darkened. This machine god group must not be underestimated. Suddenly, Lin Zichen's phone rang. It was Lin Zichen's mother, urging him to buy the cake. It turned out today was Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan's birthday. Although their birthdays were one day apart, they always celebrated together. Amidst their parents' blessings, Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan blew out their 18th birthday candles together. Afterwards, the two of them also exchanged birthday gifts. But just as the two families were enjoying the meal together, the house suddenly began to shake. Lin Zichen's eyes narrowed. His feeling was not right. It didn't feel like an earthquake. Meanwhile, underground in Shanghai City, a large number of giant black rats, controlled by the rat god, were frantically digging tunnels. What is it like for a top-tier high school student to take the college entrance exam? Just now, the rat god cult's conspiracy had not been discovered by humans. Instead, it was reported in the news as a common earthquake. As usual, Lin Zichen finished his breakfast, said goodbye to his parents, and left for school. Shun Qinghan was already waiting at the door. The two chatted as they walked. With the college entrance exam just a month away, Shun Qinghan couldn't help but start to feel nervous. During this time, Lin Zichen had also saved up enough money from his manuscript fees for the meat of a void eel. He successfully absorbed it, completing the Void Eel Atlas. Lin Zichen looked at the system's prompt. The Void Eel Atlas could enhance his perception, which meant it could help prevent sneak attacks. Lin Zichen wanted to go to the supermarket to test this ability, but in real life, most people were ordinary first rank, and there weren't that many bad guys trying to sneak attack him. Just then, Lin Zichen discovered another type of beast meat. However, the price of this beast meat was ridiculously high, at 100,000 yuan per pound. Lin Zichen felt a bit helpless. His current manuscript fee was 100,000 a month. It seemed he would have to wait until after the college entrance exam to find a way to increase his income. Meanwhile, at the Jiangnan Provincial Department of Education, a woman in a stunning outfit sat in the minister's office, leisurely crossing her legs. It turned out she was the principal of Shanghai University and the minister of the Education Bureau, Yuan Dongji. At this moment, she was listening to reports on the education situation in various cities. Yuan Dongji took a sip of tea after listening to this year's admissions report. At this point, a young man asked, "Principal Yuan, what's the situation inside Origin Site 36 now?" Yuan Dongji's tone was faint that tea has basically stabilized. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here overseeing this year's provincial college entrance exam. The young man let out a long sigh of relief. Thank goodness we have you, or the entire Jiangnan province will be finished. Then, the young man took his leave. Yuan Dongji murmured, "It's been many years since I've selected a disciple from the college entrance exam. I wonder if there will be any outstanding individuals this year." The martial arts college entrance exam in this world lasts for a total of 9 days. The morning of the first day is a written test, and the afternoon is a physical fitness assessment. The following 7 days are for the combat assessment. All candidates in the province will be sent into a primeval forest for wilderness survival. The last day is for the compatibility test for gene fusion and mechanical modification. In the blink of an eye, the first day of the college entrance exam arrived. Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan entered the examination hall together. Shun Qinghan tugged on Lin Zichen's sleeve. She said with a panicked expression, "Xiao Chun, I'm so nervous. What if I can't hold my pee during the exam?" Lin Zichen smiled faintly. He pulled Shun Qinghan into his arms and comforted her. "Don't be nervous." In a gentle tone, Lin Zichen told Shun Qinghan, "Your theoretical knowledge is already very solid. Besides, you even brought a diaper. Just do your best on the exam." Shun Qinghan shyly lowered her head, saying she would do her best. When the exam began, Lin Zichen wrote furiously. These questions were a piece of cake for him. In no time, Lin Zichen finished the test paper. He spent the remaining time brainstorming plot ideas for his novel. After the written exam ended, Lin Zichen saw Shun Qinghan walking towards him with her head down. He asked her what was wrong. Shen Qinghan said she had performed very well. Lin Zichen was a bit confused. Then why don't you look so good? Shen Qinghan shyly lowered her head that I couldn't hold it in and wet my pants again. She told Lin Zichen she needed to go to the restroom to change her diaper. For the noon physical fitness test, Lin Zichen performed casually. He easily lifted a 950 kilograms barbell with one hand. This left the other candidates utterly shocked. That guy just ran the 100-meter dash in 5.12 seconds, and his vertical jump was 4.91 meters. He's too strong. That guy might just be the provincial top scorer. At this time, Shen Qinghan also completed her physical fitness test. She came to Lin Zichen's side and happily told him, I just ran the 100-meter dash in 9.32 seconds. My standing vertical jump was 1.62 meters, and I lifted 125 kilograms with one hand. Lin Zichen gratifyingly patted Shen Qinghan's head. Not bad. You've already reached the level of a top female student. Just then, he ran over holding his phone. Xiao Chun, Henin, the result for this morning's written exam are out. He said excitedly, that show-off duo seems to have scored in the 80s. I also got an 80. After hearing Yu, Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan also took out their phones to check their scores. Shen Qinghan's eyes lit up when she saw she had actually scored 82 points. Yu, beside her, praised, Henin, you're amazing. You scored better than me. At this moment, Yu and Shen Qinghan's gazes simultaneously turned to Lin Zichen. Xiao Chun, how are your results? Lin Zichen simply held up his phone. The score was, as always, 100 points. The first day of the exam was over. On the way home, Shen Qinghan said worriedly, the combat assessment starts tomorrow. I don't know what will happen in the forest. I'm a little worried. Lin Zichen held Shen Qinghan's hand. Don't worry. No matter what happens, I'll be by your side to protect you. At the same time, in a dark living room, a masked man said to an exam proctor, I need you to do something for tomorrow's combat assessment. You need to use your status on the exam day to stop and control 10 of the top genius candidates. Then the masked man handed a wooden box to the exam proctor. There are 10 demon seeds in here. The exam proctor took it. He opened it for a look. The masked man told him this item could lend him a hand. The masked man said in a deep voice, after this is done, you will become an official member of the organization. But the exam proctor said he wasn't in a hurry and wanted the organization to give him an exotic fruit now. The masked man waved his hand. Think long term. An exotic fruit can only help you advance to rank 7 ordinary. Once you join the organization, you could very well advance to the advanced biological level. The exam proctor excitedly swallowed his saliva. He looked at the masked man excitedly. That makes sense. It's more cost-effective to join the organization first. Several large buses stopped beside a primeval forest. The college entrance exam site was located here. At this moment, Shen Qinghan was still sound asleep. Lin Zichen, beside her, gave her a nudge, telling her they had arrived at the exam site. Only then did Shen Qinghan open her sleepy eyes. With Lin Zichen by her side, she wasn't nervous at all. Just then, a broadcast announcement sounded. Candidates at entrance number 9, please disembark and gather at the assembly point. The exam site teacher announced the exam rules to the candidates. Many scorecards have been placed throughout the forest. Candidates need to find and collect them. However, the locations of these scorecards are very tricky, and they might even appear on ferocious beasts or mutated beasts. But rest assured, there are safety officers near the mutated beasts. If you encounter danger and call for help, you will be directly eliminated. Ordinary students should act within their capabilities regarding the mutated beasts in the forest. Moreover, there are a total of 100,000 candidates, but only 50,000 points worth of scorecards. Therefore, half of the candidates will not get any points. The combat assessment encourages cooperation and competition. In the exam area, you can cooperate to get scorecards together, or you can snatch the scorecards of others. You will enter the exam site in 1 hour. At this time, a fat student raised his hand. Are there any experts here who can carry me? My dad is a senior executive at the Mecha God Group. There will be a handsome reward afterward. At this, a muscular man pointed to himself. I'll carry you. I'm a top student from Chandra number 1 high school. The exam proctor suddenly tapped the fat student on the head. Teaming up here is not allowed right now. At this moment, Lin Zichen was sitting on a chair eating breakfast. Many female classmates from the same school had gathered around, asking Lin Zichen to carry them. Lin Zichen coldly refused. At this time, a show-off guy walked over. He struck up a conversation, wanting some food. Lin Zichen then handed him the bread and biscuits he couldn't finish. After receiving the food, the show-off guy started to act cool. He had his eye on the beautiful Shen Qinghan next to Lin Zichen and wanted to team up to show off. The show-off guy told Lin Zichen he was Hong Junping, a top student from Shenzhen No. 1 High School. Lin Zichen said disdainfully, "No need." Seeing no opportunity, the show-off guy waved goodbye. Shen Qinghan asked, puzzled, "That man is so strange. There are so many snack stalls here. Why do you have to ask us for food?" Lin Zichen pointed it out directly. "Isn't it because there's a beautiful girl here?" That guy's intentions were not for the wine. Shortly after, Lin Zichen took Shen Qinghan's hand and entered the forest, beginning the 7-day survival exam. To take care of Shen Qinghan beside him, Lin Zichen didn't rush deep into the jungle. Instead, he first let Shen Qinghan adapt to the rhythm. Lin Zichen led Shen Qinghan in the jungle. They began searching for scorecards on the outskirts. The next second, Lin Zichen directly activated his special ability, the Eye of the Sky. A golden light gathered in Lin Zichen's eyes. He quickly discovered the location of a scorecard. Shen Qinghan then lightly jumped onto a tree to get the scorecard. After getting the scorecard, Shen Qinghan happily waved at Lin Zichen. Next, Lin Zichen continued to activate his ability, easily discovering the hidden locations of many scorecards. Shen Qinghan was still responsible for collecting them. She happily threw herself on a Lin Zichen. "Xiao Chun, you're amazing. How did you see such a hidden spot?" Just at this moment, the show-off guy's voice interrupted Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan's conversation. He shook the scorecard in his hand, "I have 28 points now." Then he started to show off again, "Of course. A drop of kindness should be repaid with a gushing spring." As the show-off guy spoke, his eyes were fixed on Shen Qinghan, calculating in his heart that he must get to know this beautiful girl before him today. The show-off guy once again asked to join them, saying he could split the scorecards evenly. The corner of Lin Zichen's mouth twitched. "There's no need to team up. If you want to repay us, just leave all the scorecards in your hand." As soon as these words were spoken, the show-off guy's face immediately darkened. He gritted his teeth and said fiercely, "Classmate, you're walking a narrow path." Then he threw a powerful punch at Lin Zichen. Lin Zichen smiled faintly. "That's right. The path has become narrow." The next moment, with one hand in his pocket, Lin Zichen punched the show-off guy in the abdomen. The show-off guy let out a miserable cry. Lin Zichen picked up his scorecards. He left coolly with Shen Qinghan. Shen Qinghan said with a bit of saintly concern, "Will that guy be okay?" Lin Zichen replied faintly, "I barely used any strength just now. Don't worry, he's fine." In the following time, Lin Zichen continued to take Shen Qinghan around to find scorecards. He even taught Shen Qinghan how to hunt a wild boar. When they were hungry, the two of them picked wild fruits in the jungle. Some candidates tried to rob Lin Zichen and his companion, but the consequences were predictable. These candidates became the ones who were robbed. When Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan got tired, they would lean against each other. What a carefree and happy time. A few days later, Lin Zichen and his companion arrived at the center of the jungle. A sign indicating the presence of mutated beasts made Shen Qinghan a little nervous. They hadn't walked more than a few steps when they saw many bloodstains from battles on the ground. Shen Qinghan looked around. She forcefully tugged on Lin Zichen's ARM.IT seems we're late. There are no mutated beasts left here. The seemingly useless girl's college entrance exam scores actually crushed those of the genius boy. At this moment, in the mutated beast exam area, Shen Qinghan lowered her head in shame. "Zichen, if it weren't for taking care of me, if you had come earlier, you might have been able to kill a mutated beast. At least you could have earned the title of genius." Lin Zichen patted Shen Qinghan's little head. "It's okay. That title doesn't mean much to me." Afterward, Lin Zichen took Shen Qinghan's hand and they walked out of the exam area together. Lin Zichen scanned the surrounding environment. It was full of cameras and safety officers. Even if he had come earlier to kill a mutated beast, he couldn't have devoured it here. The college entrance exam came to its final stage, the gene fusion compatibility test. A large bus uniformly transported the candidates to the Gene Research Institute on an island. The candidates also lined up in an orderly fashion to first undergo the mutated beast gene fusion test. Shen Qinghan looked at the blue potion on the lab bench with some curiosity. Lin Zichen explained, "These are all gene reagents from the flowing cloud jellyfish. The genes of the flowing cloud jellyfish have a high affinity with the human body, making it easy to determine if a chemical reaction occurs with human blood. The testing method is also very simple. It involves drawing the candidate's blood for fusion. We look at the chemical reaction after the blood enters the jellyfish reagent. Then, based on the degree of reaction, we determine the suitability for gene fusion. At this time, Hiyu, who had just had his blood drawn, frowned and said, "I hope I can pass the gene fusion test. I really don't want to go over to the mechanical modification side for testing." Li Chu-shin, beside him, chimed in, "Isn't that the truth? I heard the mechanical modification test involves implanting special alloy materials into the body. The pain is comparable to childbirth." Hiyu and Li Chu-shin began to pray. Next, Shen Qinghan and Lin Zichen also underwent the mutated beast gene fusion compatibility test. The two of them found a place to sit down. They would know the results in an hour. Not long after, they heard news of the exam results from other candidates. Some were ecstatic, others were dejected. As long as the fusion rate reached 6, it was considered a pass. Lin Zichen pondered his own strength. It should be stronger than that boy from Kyoto. He heard that his compatibility rate was as high as 16. By that logic, he should at least be able to reach 20. At this moment, Shen Qinghan forcefully shook Lin Zichen's arm. She had a worried look on her face. "Xiao Chun, I'm so nervous." Lin Zichen comforted her. It's normal to be nervous. However, Lin Zichen also felt a bit of regret in his heart. If Shen Qinghan's compatibility rate wasn't high, she wouldn't be able to attend the same university as him. Suddenly, a loud shout startled Lin Zichen and the others. It turned out to be Li Chu-shin, who had learned that her exam result was 10. She was dancing with joy. Beside her, he looked at his own score and muttered, "How come mine is only 11? I felt like it should be 12 or 13. Lin Zichen looked at Shen Qinghan beside him. Their results are both out. Ours should be out too. As soon as he said this, Shen Qinghan's worried expression deepened. "Xiao Chun, you check first." "I don't dare to look." Lin Zichen nodded in agreement. He checked his own result. The compatibility rate was only 15. This was completely below his expectations. Suddenly, Shen Qinghan threw her arms around Lin Zichen. "Congratulations, Xiao Chun. With this score, you must be the provincial top scorer." However, there was not a trace of happiness on Lin Zichen's face. This score was lower than the genius from Kyoto. It seemed that physical strength did not determine gene fusion compatibility. Afterward, Lin Zichen said he would check Shen Qinghan's score. Li Chu-shin also came over. "Don't worry, Qinghan, I think you can reach 10. When Lin Zichen saw Shen Qinghan's score, he was in disbelief. Li Chu-shin and Shen Qinghan leaned in to look, also with expressions of shock. It turned out that Shen Qinghan's compatibility rate was as high as 21. At the same time, at the Jiangnan Provincial Education Headquarters, the principals from various cities were also checking their candidate scores. Minister Yuan Dongji said in a faint tone, "Let's see the outstanding students from each city's exams." Lin Zichen's score was displayed on the big screen. At this point, people started to discuss that I didn't expect this year's provincial top scorer to come from Shanghai High School. The principals from various cities began to applaud. "Congratulations to Principal Z of Shanghai High School." Just as everyone thought the top scorer was Lin Zichen, Shen Qinghan's score was displayed. The principal's present exclaimed, 21. Is this a value that a human can achieve? Even Principal Z was dumbfounded. This Shen Qinghan is usually very ordinary, Yuan Dongji asked with some curiosity. Principal Z, what kind of student is this Shen Qinghan of yours? Principal Z hurriedly waved his hands. This student is very ordinary. Could there be an issue with the test results? Yuan Dongji sighed helplessly that there's really no helping it. Afterward, Yuan Dongji stood up and walked toward the door. "It seems I need to go to the site to test it myself." Meanwhile, inside the Gene Research Institute, Shen Qinghan said with some worry, "Xiao Chun, could this result be a mistake? How could I possibly reach 21? Lin Zichen pulled Shen Qinghan over. He said in a deep voice, "I feel this result is correct. You yourself have a high affinity with water, and the gene fusion test was done with a jellyfish. You have to believe in yourself." As soon as his voice fell, Shen Qinghan's eyes showed a look of excitement. "Oh, that means I'm very compatible with water attribute mutated beast genes. I'm not a failure, but a genius. In that case, I am worthy of Xiao Chun." A cry of surprise made Lin Zichen and the others look out the window. It turned out to be Yuan Dongji, riding the waves. Yuan Dongji stood on the sea waves, poised and at ease. This made the inexperienced candidates stare wide-eyed at each other. Who is this woman? Could she be a member of a heretical cult? The college entrance exam's top scorer was being forced to take a master. What was going on? Yuan Dongji came riding the waves. As soon as she entered the door, the staff of the experimental base immediately greeted her respectfully. Many people began to whisper that I heard this Yuan Dongji has fused with dragon genes. No wonder she can control the sea waves. Subsequently, Yuan Dongji came before Shen Qinghan. After confirming Shen Qinghan's identity, Yuan Dongji waved her hand, instructing the staff to draw Shen Qinghan's blood 3 more times for the fusion compatibility test. After having her blood drawn, Shen Qinghan sat down next to Lin Zichen. She felt her hand was almost numb. Not long after, a staff member told Shen Qinghan, Principal Yuan requests your presence. Shen Qinghan came to Yuan Dongji's office. Yuan Dongji greeted Shen Qinghan with a smile. The results of the 3 fusion compatibility tests are out. Suddenly, Yuan Dongji leaned in close to Shen Qinghan. All 3 results were 21. Yuan Dongji said with a smile, Qinghan, I want to take you as my disciple. As soon as these words were spoken, Shen Qinghan almost wet her pants. Take me as your disciple? Really? Yuan Dongji directly demonstrated her ability to control water. Of course, it's more real than a pearl. The water in the cup was manipulated by Yuan Dongji in midair. This ability, Qinghan, you will also be able to do it easily in the future. Seeing this, Shen Qinghan was at a loss. She wanted to consider it. After all, her parents and Lin Zichen always helped her make big decisions. The corner of Yuan Dongji's mouth twitched slightly. There's nothing to consider. Being my disciple only has advantages, no disadvantages. Moreover, I am a minister of the Provincial Education Department and also the vice principal of Shanghai University. Yuan Dongji forcefully leaned in close to Shen Qinghan's face. As my disciple, you can directly attend Shanghai University. Were you still considering? Subsequently, Yuan Dongji and Shen Qinghan exchanged contact information. At this moment, Shen Qinghan felt like she was being led by the nose. It seemed she had no choice but to accept this master today. Yuan Dongji said leisurely, I have another disciple under my name. She was initiated 10 years before you, but she is about the same age as you. You can consider her your senior sister. Then she sent a photo of this senior sister to Shen Qinghan. When Shen Qinghan saw the photo, she was too surprised to speak. Wasn't this woman her elementary school classmate, Zi Shui? Shen Qinghan curiously asked Yuan Dongji, what is this senior sister's name? Yuan Dongji raised an eyebrow. Her name is Luo Qinxue. Do you two know each other? Shen Qinghan shook her head, explaining that she had a classmate in elementary school named Zi Shui, who looked very much like her senior sister. Could Zi Shui be Luo Qinxue? Yuan Dongji directly denied it. That should be impossible. Yuan Dongji placed her palm on Shen Qinghan's chest. Your gene compatibility exceeds my understanding. Let me help you check your body to see if there's anything special. At this moment, a warm current flowed through Shen Qinghan's body. Yuan Dongji was suddenly startled. Qinghan, your body is very strange. Shen Qinghan asked in a panic, Master, is there something abnormal with my body? Yuan Dongji frowned and replied, It's strange precisely because it's too normal. Your compatibility is clearly as high as 21, yet your body is that of an ordinary rank 1. Yuan Dongji looked at Shen Qinghan seriously. That Tio protect you. Qinghan, your score will be changed to 16. This is to prevent some people with ulterior motives from harming you. Yuan Dongji glanced at the time. It's getting late. Let's stop here for today. I will contact you if anything comes up. Shen Qinghan waved goodbye and left. After Shen Qinghan left, Yuan Dongji immediately dialed her father's number. Dad, I've already taken the girl with 21 gene fusion compatibility as my disciple. Yuan Dongji's father said in a deep voice, Well done. Investigate this girl's background thoroughly. Nurture her well in the future. The returns we can reap then will be unimaginable. Yuan Dongji's father also instructed the talent of this genius disciple must be kept strictly confidential. Yuan Dongji readily agreed. On the way home, Lin Zichen asked curiously. Qinghan, how did you inexplicably get a master? Shen Qinghan also looked helpless. It all happened too suddenly. She didn't even give me a chance to think. Lin Zichen turned his head. Let's wait and see first. If this master of yours has no ill intentions, then we'll just accept this convenient master. Lin Zichen continued, if you find that this master has a character problem, then when your wings are strong enough, you can just sever the master-disciple relationship. Just as they arrived at the doorstep, Lin Zichen's mother and Shen Qinghan's mother ran over happily that you're finally back. Let's find a restaurant tonight and celebrate properly. In no time, the two families arrived at the restaurant entrance. Henin is the provincial top scorer this time, and she can go to the same university as Xiao Chun in the future. At the dinner table, the two families raised their glasses together in celebration. After dinner, the two families waved goodbye. Just as Lin Zichen returned home, there was a sudden knock on his door. When Zichen's mother opened the door, a happy smile appeared on her face. It was Shen Qinghan. Zichen's mother said enthusiastically, Henin, you're here to sleep with Xiao Chen again? Shen Qinghan's late-night visit to Lin Zichen's home that caused a misunderstanding with Zichen's mother. Shen Qinghan hurriedly explained, Annie, I'm not here to sleep. I just have some important things I want to talk to Xiao Chen about in person. Zichen's mother covered her mouth and smiled. That I've been there, I understand. With her face blushing red, Shen Qinghan ran towards Zichen's room. After arriving in Lin Zichen's room, Shen Qinghan explained in detail what happened that day with her accepting a master. She told Lin Zichen that her master had given her a full body checkup and found that there was nothing special about her body, no different from an ordinary person. Shen Qinghan continued, even the fact that my body can leak water, my master didn't detect it. After hearing this, Lin Zichen frowned. Yuan Dongji, who can control the sea, couldn't even discover the secret of Hanin's body? This means Hanin's body is even more mysterious than imagined. Lin Zichen looked at Shen Qinghan with a serious expression. Only you and I should know about this. Don't tell anyone else. If it leaks, it might cause uncontrollable consequences. Shen Qinghan nodded heavily, indicating she would listen to Zichen's words. Afterward, Shen Qinghan took out her phone. There's one more thing I want to tell you. Xiao Chen. She showed him the photo of her senior sister. Doesn't my senior sister look like our elementary school classmate, Zi Shui? Lin Zichen took the phone and examined it carefully. There's indeed a striking resemblance, but I can't be sure. Lin Zichen pointed to the background of the photo. Where is this, do you know, Henin? Shen Qinghan said she didn't know. So she took the phone back, wanting to ask her master. But the message she got from her master only said it was an origin site. The specific location was not told to Shen Qinghan. Shen Qinghan shook her head helplessly. I could only get the name of the place, nothing else. Lin Zichen sat down. Let's talk about this later. Afterward, the two of them played on their phones on the bed. At this moment, ripples began to form in Shen Qinghan's heart. Then, Shen Qinghan asked, Xiao Chen, do you think men like women who wear cheongsams? As soon as she said this, Lin Zichen was a bit puzzled. Why are you suddenly asking this question? Have you been influenced by your master? Lin Zichen suddenly blushed. A cheongsam. It depends on who wears it. If Hanin wore one, it would probably look very good. As soon as he said this, Shen Qinghan suddenly sat up. Xiao Chen, so you do like it? Then, Shen Qinghan said shyly, then between black stockings and white stockings, which do you prefer? Lin Zichen was a bit baffled by the girl's thoughts. Why are you asking these strange questions? Shen Qinghan seemed to have found her answer. She immediately placed an order for a cheongsam and black stockings on her phone. Suddenly, a knock on the door was heard. Lin Zichen's mother stood at the door holding a bag. And these are the toiletries your mother sent over. She wants you to rest here tonight. Shen Qinghan took the items, her face instantly turning red down to her heels. How could my mom make such a decision on her own? Zichen's mother said meaningfully, you two are both adults now. It's okay to sleep in and wake up late. Then she firmly shut the door. This made Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan look at each other awkwardly. Shen Qinghan decided to go with the flow and wanted to find a diaper in the bag. After changing, she could sleep. But Shen Qinghan unexpectedly found something indescribable in the bag. This completely flustered the inexperienced Shen Qinghan. Then, in a fluster, she grabbed a diaper and rushed in a bathroom, leaving behind a completely bewildered Lin Zichen. What on earth is going to happen tonight? A 100-year-old strongman with just a mobile phone managed to fool a genius university student. Shen Qinghan and Lin Zichen successfully got into the same university. At the same time, Shen Qinghan was also signed by the martial arts gym of her classmate He Yu's family, becoming their brand ambassador. Early in the morning, Lin Zichen took Shen Qinghan out to attend the martial arts gym's promotional event. Just shortly after they left, they were blocked by a group of strong men wearing martial arts uniforms. The bearded man in the lead said in a deep voice, "You must be classmate Lin Zichen." Lin Zichen looked puzzled and asked what they wanted. The bearded man introduced himself. He was Lu Chuanwu, the dean of Shanghai University's Martial Arts Academy. Lu Chuanwu raised his voice. "Today, on behalf of Tianxia Pavilion, I would like to invite you to join." As soon as he said this, Lin Zichen's gaze darkened. Lin Zichen had heard of this so-called Tianxia Pavilion. Tianxia Pavilion was a conservative faction that opposed gene fusion and mechanical modification. They also had a high profile on the internet. However, netizens' comments about them were not too friendly, calling them a bunch of charlatans who misled people. Faced with Lu Chuanwu's invitation, Lin Zichen didn't want to bother. After all, he didn't want to be cyberbullied. Just as Lin Zichen was pushing his bike to leave, Lu Chuanwu grabbed his shoulder. "Classmate, could I take up a little of your time to chat?" Lin Zichen was about to push Lu Chuanwu's hand away when the scene suddenly changed. Lu Chuanwu took out the latest Pineapple 20 phone. He said with a broad smile, "Just chat for a bit, and this phone is yours." Lin Zichen was speechless. "Who the hell needs this thing from you?" The next second, Lin Zichen and Lu Chuanwu were sitting together in a coffee shop, chatting leisurely. Lu Chuanwu spoke eloquently. "Tianxia Pavilion is a social organization that purely develops human potential. It can break the limits of the ordinary human level, evolving into an advanced physique or even an epic level physique." Then, fearing that his bragging was too much for Lin Zichen to believe, Lu Chuanwu immediately took out his phone and showed him a combat video, wanting Lin Zichen to witness it with his own eyes. Lu Chuanwu introduced his own biological level as having reached rank 9 ordinary. This video was a clip of him challenging a high-level gene-fused individual of a higher rank. Lin Zichen saw that the gene-fused challenger was none other than Wu Tiancheng. This guy was the one who single-handedly wiped out the Rat God cult. At the start of the match, Wu Tiancheng directly activated his special ability, transforming into a large eagle and flying high into the sky. Then he forcefully shook his wings, and his feathers shot out like sharp swords. However, Lu Chuanwu neither dodged nor evaded, toughing out this fatal attack with his body. After landing, Wu Tiancheng was shocked. This guy is really tough-skinned. The next moment, Lu Chuanwu charged over with a single leap. A fist the size of a sandbag smashed directly into Wu Tiancheng's face. Wu Tiancheng was sent flying by the punch. Just like that, Lu Chuanwu easily won. Lu Chuanwu frankly stated that cultivating the body tempering method is humanity's future. Lin Zichen was also shaken by this scene. Did I ask this video real or fake? Did Wu Tiancheng take a bribe? Lu Chuanwu took back his phone. He said to the suspicious Lin Zichen, "This video has not been edited in any way. I will challenge more gene-fused individuals in the future to prove my strength. You're welcome to come and watch then." Lin Zichen spread his hands. With such good material, why not post it online? Wouldn't that be a better way to promote your philosophy? Lu Chuanwu let out a long sigh. "I'd like to, but the current powers that be don't allow it." Lu Chuanwu's eyes narrowed. The current powers that be believe that as long as humanity's biological level doesn't improve, there is no future. It's not worth investing in research. Lu Chuanwu slammed the table in anger. Without promotion, no one will invest in research and talent discovery. Then it will be very difficult to make a breakthrough. After all, the prerequisite for qualitative change is a quantitative change. Lu Chuanwu looked at Lin Zichen with a determined gaze. "If we had geniuses like you joining our organization, we wouldn't have to train bitterly for 50 years like I did, still stuck at the rank 9 ordinary biological level. It's very possible to evolve into the advanced biological level." As soon as his voice fell, Lin Zichen had a question. "Point 50 years? You don't look like you're 50 years old. You should at least draft a script before trying to fool a naive university student." Lu Chuanwu's gaze darkened. "You think my appearance doesn't look like someone over 50? To tell you the truth, I'm already 108 years old this year. The reason I can stay so young is all a result of cultivating the body tempering method." The middle-aged uncle before him said he had lived for over 100 years. Lin Zichen took out his phone to check his information. It was indeed as this Lu Chuanwu said. He had lived for over 100 years. Lin Zichen continued to check his other information. This Lu Chuanwu was once the young master of a martial arts family in Jiangnan province. With the advent of the gene fusion era, the Lu family's martial arts gym also declined. Lu Chuanwu was solely focused on his own martial arts cultivation. In the end, it led to his wife and children leaving him. Lin Zichen thought of Han Nin beside him. If it were her, she wouldn't leave me. After all, she was the childhood sweetheart who grew up with him. Suddenly, a piece of information startled Lin Zichen. Lu Chuanwu's ex-wife was actually Yuan Dongji, and Lu Chuanwu's daughter had unfortunately passed away. Lin Zichen looked up at Lu Chuanwu. This old fellow's background is really not simple. Lu Chuanwu was filled with righteous indignation. Young man, look at me. I can still maintain this state at 100 years old. This is enough to prove that pure martial arts has a great future. The more Lu Chuanwu spoke, the more excited he became. What is called the union of heaven and man. Right now, I am heaven and man. Those gene-fused people, they acquire the genes of mutated beasts, but it's very difficult for them to surpass the beasts. One day, this will lead to the extinction of humanity. Then, Lu Chuanwu spoke about mechanical modification. Many materials are extracted from mutated beasts. This will inevitably leave behind hidden dangers. Lu Chuanwu slammed the table hard. Although my Tianxia Pavilion does not oppose these two paths, it is absolutely unacceptable to rely entirely on them. Lu Chuanwu extended his hand towards Lin Zichen. Join us at Tianxia Pavilion. Let's strive together for the future of humanity. What do you say, young man? Lin Zichen remained unmoved by the grand vision Lu Chuanwu painted. He curiously asked Lu Chuanwu, "What exactly do you practice in your so-called body tempering method?" Lu Chuanwu stroked his beard smugly. "This is the blood tempering art, a book from an ancient ruin. As the name suggests, it uses qi and blood to cultivate the body, thereby enhancing one's combat strength. The blood tempering art records that if one cultivates to the highest realm, one can become physically sanctified and tear apart mutated beasts with bare hands. However, this blood tempering art also has requirements. Only pure-blood humans can cultivate it. The blood of gene-fused individuals is impure, so they cannot cultivate it. Mechanically modified people have incomplete bodies, so they cannot cultivate it either." Lu Chuanwu's tone became heavy. "This is why I firmly believe that pure-blood humans are the future." Lu Chuanwu once again invited Lin Zichen to join Tianxia Pavilion and cultivate the blood tempering art together. Lin Zichen waved his hand. "I can't just listen to your side of the story. After all, I know too little about pure-blood humans. I'll think about it and let you know." Lu Chuanwu shot up from his seat excitedly. "You can learn more." Lu Chuanwu continued to pester him. "Classmate Zichen, your physical talent is so good. It would be a real shame not to walk the path of a pure-blood human." Lu Chuanwu leaned in front of Lin Zichen. In our Tianxia Pavilion's view, that person who got 16 in the college entrance exam's gene fusion test is not worth mentioning in front of you. Not even a single hair can compare." Shen Qinghan spat out her water. "This is a direct stab in the back. That hits home, old friend." Lu Chuanwu still didn't know that the Shen Qinghan before him was the provincial top scorer and continued his tirade. "Only the champion of the physical fitness test is the provincial top scorer in my heart." Listening to herself being belittled to worthlessness, Shen Qinghan was so embarrassed she could have dug a 3-bedroom apartment with her toes, thinking, "I've been shot for 5 minutes while just lying on the ground." Lin Zichen couldn't stand listening anymore. He raised his hand and pointed at Lu Chuanwu. "The good-for-nothing you mentioned is this beautiful lady right beside me. She is the provincial top scorer." Lu Chuanwu was instantly speechless. Lin Zichen picked up his pineapple phone and made to leave. Lu Chuanwu waved his hand, trying to stop Lin Zichen. "Reconsider. Just join us for half a year." Lin Zichen remained unmoved, pulling Shen Qing'an away. Lu Chuanwu shouted from behind, "Whatever benefits the Evolution Academy gives you, our Tianxia Pavilion will double them." Seeing that Lin Zichen didn't turn back, Lu Chuanwu immediately upped the ante. "How about triple?" As soon as he said this, Lin Zichen was tempted. After all, that was enough to buy a lot of beast meat. The next second, Lin Zichen used flash and appeared in front of Lu Chuanwu. "You should have just said so earlier. I've actually always held the Tianxia Pavilion organization in high regard." Lin Zichen was also a pragmatic person whose eyes lit up at the sight of money. He immediately expressed his loyalty that "I want to contribute my strength to the cause of Tianxia Pavilion." This move completely baffled Lu Chuanwu. He was crying on the inside. Triple the funds was more than half his life savings. Lin Zichen didn't care about that. He raised a question he had. Oh, you know about a place called the Origin Land? A flicker appeared in Lu Chuanwu's eyes. How do you know about the Origin Land? Lu Chuanwu's gaze darkened. The Origin Land is a place believed to be the origin of life. The mutated beasts that exist today all come from there. Lin Zichen, I see your bone structure is extraordinary. You're a once-in-a-million martial arts prodigy. The fate of world peace rests on you. I'll give you this blood-tempering art secret manual. Lin Zichen became even more curious about the Origin Land. It seemed humans had some understanding of the mutated beasts and could even enter the Origin Land. Lin Zichen looked at Lu Chuanwu. Oh, the beast meat in the malls also comes from the Origin Land? Lu Chuanwu nodded in agreement, and the number of mutated beasts in the Origin Land is staggering. Otherwise, it wouldn't be sold in supermarkets. Lin Zichen continued to press Lu Chuanwu. Oh, you have any video footage of the Origin Land? Lu Chuanwu spread his hands helplessly. Any electronic device will malfunction in the Origin Land. The only way to record anything is to draw it by hand. As soon as he said this, Lin Zichen remembered the photo Hanin's master had sent him. It turned out to be a hand-drawn picture. Just then, he called. He urgently said to Lin Zichen, "When are you guys coming over? The martial arts hall's promotional event is about to start." Lin Zichen replied that they were on their way. Following that, Lin Zichen got up to bid farewell to Lu Chuanwu. I have something to take care of now. We could talk next time we're free. Lu Chuanwu suddenly handed a replica of the blood-tempering art to Lin Zichen. He told Lin Zichen that one needed to be a Tier 4 creature to begin cultivating it. Lu Chuanwu looked at Lin Zichen with expectant eyes. From your college entrance exam data, you're already very close to an ordinary Tier 4. If you work a little harder this summer, you'll be able to cultivate the blood-tempering art as soon as university starts. Lin Zichen put the book in his bag, secretly delighted. I'm already in ordinary Tier 6. I'll try cultivating it when I get home tonight. Meanwhile, inside Tianxia Pavilion's martial arts hall, a young woman was diligently practicing on a punching bag. Lu Chuanwu walked in, happily humming a little tune. The young woman asked in confusion, "Dean, what's made you so happy?" Lu Chuanwu began to boast. "Just now, I used my personal charm to recruit the second-place scorer of Jiangnan Province into our Tianxia Pavilion." Afraid the young woman wouldn't believe him, Lu Chuanwu even showed her the contact information of the second-place scorer, Lin Zichen. The young woman looked astonished. "Dean, be honest, what method did you use to do it?" Lu Chuanwu stroked his beard awkwardly. I promised Lin Zichen triple the benefits. Hearing this, the young woman was about to go crazy. "Dean, you're already deep in debt, and you're still offering triple?" Lu Chuanwu comforted the young woman. "Don't worry. I'm meeting 3 rich ladies tonight. By then, the fund for the triple benefits will be more than enough." Lu Chuanwu suddenly asked the young woman before him, "Yin, back when you cultivated the blood-tempering art, how long did it take you to sense your vital energy and control your blood?" Yin thought for a moment. "That was 10 years ago. I think it took a week to sense vital energy and 2 months to learn blood control." Lu Chuanwu let out a long sigh. "Yin, you truly live up to your title as the second-place scorer of Kyoto back then. Your talent is outstanding. It took me 2 weeks just to sense my vital energy." Yu Yin sighed. "Dean, don't mention being the Kyoto's second-place scorer. So many years have passed, and I still haven't evolved into an advanced creature. I can't imagine how many people have laughed at me." Lu Chuanwu smiled and comforted her. "Yin, don't pay too much attention to what others think. In a few years, after you upgrade to an advanced creature, you can thrash all those who look down on you." Yin shook her head helplessly. I've already attempted body tempering twice, but I haven't opened a single acupoint yet. Dean, this Lin Zichen you mentioned, I wonder if he can break through this limit." Lu Chuanwu composed himself. "Judging from Lin Zichen's physical test data from the college entrance exam, he's only slightly below you. You should be able to sense his vital energy in about 10 days. Yu Yin grew a little excited hearing this. "When the time comes, I'll have to properly teach this genius junior." On Lin Zichen's side, after returning home that night, he eagerly began to study the blood-tempering art. Soon, Lin Zichen opened his eyes. In just 3 seconds, he could feel his vital energy. Lin Zichen continued to flip through the blood-tempering art. The next step was to learn to control his vital energy, and only then could he temper his body. Next, Lin Zichen began to practice. He started by tempering his right arm. The system gave a prompt at this moment. Skin tempering successful. Strength +1. Blood tempering art proficiency +1. Half an hour later, Lin Zichen felt that his right hand was now terrifyingly strong. He decided to try scratching it with a knife. As expected, after one body tempering session, his arm was already impervious to blades. Lin Zichen continued to cultivate body tempering. According to the book, after 5 tempering sessions, the body would become terrifyingly strong. In the blink of an eye, another 3 hours passed. Lin Zichen had finished tempering the skin on both his arms. He had also consumed 1/3 of his vital energy. If he continued at this speed, Lin Zichen could temper his entire body once in a week. At this moment, Shun Qinghan sent a message. She asked if Lin Zichen was asleep. Lin Zichen asked why. Shun Qinghan told him to come to her room, saying there was a surprise. So Lin Zichen got up. He was also curious what the surprise could be this late at night. After Lin Zichen explained his reason for being there, Henin's mother warmly welcomed him in. After closing the door, she even gave Lin Zichen a meaningful instruction. Hurry to Henin's room so you don't keep her waiting. Lin Zichen knocked once and pushed the door open. Suddenly, his eyes widened. It was Shun Qinghan, wrapped in a blanket, sitting on the bed. Lin Zichen asked curiously, "Are you sick?" Shun Qinghan shyly lowered her head. "That I'm not sick. Xiao Chun, come over. I have a surprise for you." These words immediately sent Lin Zichen's imagination running wild. At his age, he was a hot-blooded young man. How could he withstand such temptation? However, Lin Zichen quickly regained his senses. It's probably impossible in her house. She's not going to ask me over to look at a luminous watch, is she? Shun Qinghan murmured. "Xiao Chun, lift the blanket and you'll see what the surprise is." This sentence made the air turn ambiguous. For a young boy and girl in the bloom of youth, experiencing their first crush, their hearts began to pound like a frantic deer. Lin Zichen didn't hesitate at all. He forcefully lifted the blanket. To uncover the truth behind why the girl wet herself when nervous, the boy personally entered the situation. Lin Zichen lifted the blanket. It turned out that Shun Qinghan's so-called secret was the qipao she was wearing. The sight made Lin Zichen's heart race and pound like a frantic deer. Shun Qinghan's face also turned red with shyness. She lowered her head and murmured, "Zichen, do you like it when I dress like this?" Lin Zichen nodded like a pecking chicken. So white. Shun Qinghan twirled a strand of her hair, her voice becoming even more ambiguous. "I also bought black stockings. Do you want to see them too?" Lin Zichen looked at Shun Qinghan with a righteous expression. "Hurry up and put them on so we can see if they fit. If they don't, you can still return them for free within 7 days." As they spoke, Shun Qinghan skillfully put on the black stockings. Watching the whole process made Lin Zichen feel unusually thirsty. After all, it was too hot, and his heart was beating too fast. He could only keep swallowing his saliva, quenching his thirst by gazing at the stockings. At this moment, Shun Qinghan's delicate voice came again. "Zichen, do they look good?" "They look great, they look great." Shun Qinghan, in the first bloom of love, was too shy to express her affection for Lin Zichen. So she found an excuse. "The texture of these stockings is quite nice." Lin Zichen tested the quality of the stockings, nearly rubbing sparks out of them. Just as the two were exploring study methods step by step, a knock on the door interrupted them. Henin's mother shouted from the doorway, "Xiao Chun, your mom dropped off some toiletries for you. I left them at the door. Come get them when you're not busy." This startled Lin Zichen, who immediately got up to get them. Inside the bag were indeed some study supplies. Lin Zichen was speechless. Nothing had even started yet, and the parents were already getting anxious. Shun Qinghan walked over at this point. "It's getting late. Just stay the night, Zichen." Then she told Lin Zichen she needed to change into a diaper before bed and asked him to turn around. Lin Zichen nodded in agreement. After Shun Qinghan changed in her diaper, she said they could turn off the lights and sleep. In bed, the two looked into each other's eyes. Innocent childhood sweethearts. Who wouldn't yearn for such a love? And so, they chatted back and forth, until the two of them sparked the flames of love. Imagine the following scenes yourself. If you can't, read the original manhwa. Suddenly, Shun Qinghan felt a warm current. She immediately called a halt to their mutual exchange with Zichen. Lin Zichen looked confused and asked what happened. Shen Qinghan hurriedly put on her slippers. I need to go to the bathroom first. My diaper is wet. After Shen Qinghan came out, the passionate moments had passed. Lin Zichen said with a straight face, Henin, what did you feel just now? Was there a large fluctuation in your subconscious spiritual power? Shen Qinghan nodded shyly. The fluctuation was very large. It made my heart race, and I couldn't hold my pee. Lin Zichen nodded in satisfaction. Just as I expected, Lin Zichen began to analyze. Henin, I suspect your unknown superpower might be related to spiritual power. To put it simply, you can control your ability with your consciousness. Shen Qinghan only half understood. Then how can I develop enough spiritual power to control the superpower in my body? Lin Zichen grabbed Shen Qinghan's arm. That's simple. Let's continue the research we were just doing. Let's see if the greater the fluctuation, the stronger your spiritual power becomes. Lin Zichen spent 2.5 hours researching the reason why Shen Qinghan couldn't hold her pee. Shen Qinghan frowned slightly. Xiao Chun, my spiritual fluctuation is still very large right now. I accidentally wet my diaper again, just now. Then she hurriedly ran to the bathroom again. Immediately after, she called out to Lin Zichen in a panic from the bathroom. Sorry, Xiao Chun, I came in such a hurry just now. My pants got wet, and I didn't bring a new pair. Can you find a set of pajamas for me and leave it at the door? Lin Zichen opened Henin's wardrobe. All sorts of clothes dazzled Lin Zichen's eyes. After a period of rummaging and searching, he finally found a blue set of pajamas. The night passed without a word. Shen Qinghan slept very soundly. The next morning, Lin Zichen woke up early. He happened to run into Henin's mother, who had just finished making breakfast. Henin's mother warmly invited Zichen to eat with them. During breakfast, Henin's father asked, Why isn't Henin awake yet? Lin Zichen smiled slightly. Let her sleep in a bit. It's summer vacation, after all. After breakfast, Lin Zichen waved goodbye. After Lin Zichen left, Henin's mother covered her mouth and snickered with satisfaction. Our future son-in-law is really something. At this moment, Henin's father walked over. That kid didn't go to sleep until after 2 last night. Henin's mother smiled mischievously. You seem quite concerned. Henin's mother immediately shared the news with Zichen's mother. The children's marriage is settled. After entering his house, Lin Zichen went straight to the bathroom to change and wash the clothes that got dirty yesterday. As soon as he stepped out of the bathroom, Zichen's mother was waiting at the door. Then she gave him a thumbs up. Son, you're really capable. Well done. Hearing this, Lin Zichen was a bit bewildered, question marks filling his head. Meanwhile, Dima of the Evolution Academy arrived at Lu Chuanwu's martial art department. Cursing, you stole Lin Zichen from me. You have to give me an explanation today. Lu Chuanwu was calm and composed, pretending not to understand the other's pestering. Dima yelled at the top of his lungs, You old coot with the surname Lu, poaching from me behind my back. You're shameless. Lu Chuanwu immediately retorted, What poaching? Is it wrong for our martial arts academy to recruit students openly and honorably? The two began to bicker, each insisting they were right. Finally, Lu Chuanwu acted like a rogue in any case, Lin Zichen has already agreed to join us. If you have the ability, recruit him back. Dean Ma's face darkened. If you've got the guts, fight me on the sparring platform. Whoever wins gets Lin Zichen. Lu Chuanwu picked his ear. Don't give me that. You're already an advanced tier 5. You want to bully an old man like me, who's only an ordinary tier 9? You must be daydreaming. In the end, Dima had no other options and left in a huff. He told Lu Chuanwu that without undergoing gene fusion, he would only be a weak, ordinary tier 9 for the rest of his life, an old man weaker than an ant. Let's see what tricks you purebloods can pull. When Yuan Dongji learned of this matter, she told Dean Ma in a calm tone, Don't worry. Shortly after school starts, Lin Zichen will discover that his classmates are all stronger than him after gene fusion. At that point, this Lin Zichen will obediently come looking for you. Dima nodded. Also, this Lu Chuanwu broke the rules. Shouldn't he be punished? Yuan Dongji didn't answer directly. Instead, she told Dinma he could use the same method to poach that former Kyoto College entrance exam second-place scorer. Hearing this, Dima seemed to understand what she meant. You two were a couple before, so whatever you say goes, right? Then he went out and slammed the door shut. Yuan Dongji shook her head helplessly. Dinma is usually quite level-headed. How does he lose all reason whenever he runs into someone with the surname Lu? Yuan Dongji recalled the Lu Chuanwu of the past. His eloquence was excellent back then, and after so many years, it's still just as sharp. Yuan Dongji let out a long sigh. Lu Chuanwu's body could have been as powerful as his mouth. It's a pity he was so obsessed that he insisted on walking the path of the pureblood. Otherwise, the position of principal would be his now. As for Lin Zichen's side, shortly after breakfast, Shen Qinghan asked him to go for a run. However, after a short while, Shen Qinghan was panting, saying she couldn't run anymore. She guessed it was because she didn't sleep well last night. Lin Zichen thoughtfully took out some water and had Shen Qinghan take a drink and rest. Lin Zichen pointed to a bench not far away. And in, lie down on it and rest. I'll help you massage your muscles to relax. Shen Qinghan obediently lay down on the bench. Lin Zichen bent over and began to massage her calves. Shen Qinghan shyly turned her head away. This is hard work for you, Xiao Chun. Lin Zichen's lips curved upwards that you're being too formal. Han in. This is what I should be doing. Shen Qinghan said playfully. So what's our relationship now? Childhood friends? The boy actually set up a flag in public with a girl who still wets her pants at 18. Faced with Shen Qinghan's question, wanting to define their relationship, Lin Zichen expressed himself reservedly that I see you as family. Shen Qinghan pouted her lips. What kind of family? Like a fiancé? After getting Lin Zichen's confirmation, Shen Qinghan immediately sat up. She held out her finger. Zichen, then how about we get married after we graduate from university? Lin Zichen readily agreed. The flag for them to marry after graduation was thus set. That evening, Lin Zichen's family was resting in the living room when there was a sudden knock on the door. As soon as Zichen's father opened the door, Dima introduced himself and greeted him warmly, saying he wanted to talk to Zichen about choosing an academy. Zichen's father was a bit puzzled. Hasn't the academy matter already been decided? But Dima didn't say anything. He first took care of the social niceties, giving Zichen's father a small gift. Zichen's father immediately invited Dima in. As soon as he sat down, Dima began to speak eloquently, persuading Lin Zichen not to waste his talent, saying the path of the pure blood would only lead him astray. Before Lin Zichen could say anything, Dima continued meaningfully, Zichen, take a word of advice from someone who's been there. There's only a future if you join the Evolution Academy. Lin Zichen listened quietly, thinking, can't you offer something more practical? Beside him, Zichen's mother looked confused and asked Dima, hasn't my Zichen already joined the Evolution Academy? At this point, Lin Zichen explained to his parents, a few days ago, I joined Tianxia Pavilion. I enrolled in the martial arts academy to walk the path of the pure blood. As soon as he said this, Zichen's parents were shocked. His mother said worriedly, Xiao Chun, what's going on? Lin Zichen's tone was calm. First, I agree with Tianxia Pavilion's philosophy, and Tianxia Pavilion offered triple the benefits. So I agreed to join Tianxia Pavilion first and try the pure blood path for half a year. If there's no progress by then, I'll return to the Evolution Academy and take the gene fusion path. Hearing this, Zichen's parents finally relaxed. Meanwhile, Dinma, upon learning of Lu Chuanwu's methods, gritted his teeth in anger. Where did that old coot get the funds for triple the benefits? Seeing that Lin Zichen's mind was made up, Dima looked at him earnestly. Young man, let me give you a piece of advice. Blah, blah, blah. Lin Zichen listened attentively on the surface, but thought to himself, who can resist the temptation of money? I'd probably regret it for the rest of my life if I didn't go. Dima let out a long sigh. After saying his billion words, he saw that he still couldn't persuade Lin Zichen, so he stood up to leave. The next morning, Lin Zichen was idly browsing the news when he unexpectedly found that the matter of him joining Tianxia Pavilion had become a headline. Lin Zichen instantly became the target of cyberbullying. Looking at the netizen comments below, they were all negative opinions about Tianxia Pavilion, looking like a discussion guided by an astroturfing army. Lin Zichen grew worried. He was being cyberbullied. If it attracted the attention of heretics, that would be troublesome. After all, he didn't want to expose his true strength yet. Could Dima have done this to get revenge on Tianxia Pavilion? He thought it over and over. Lin Zichen first called to report the information and have it taken down. After all, the news contained his personal information. 2.5 hours later, seeing the news had been deleted, Lin Zichen felt relieved. Just as he put down his phone to rest, the school's group chat suddenly exploded. Lin Zichen saw that his photo had been exposed. He thought this is trouble, just as Lin Zichen was at a loss due to the cyberbullying. Shen Qinghan suddenly burst into his room. The two sat on the bed, looking at the rumors about Lin Zichen online, which were becoming more and more outrageous. Someone said Lin Zichen might be Lu Chuanwu's illegitimate son. Suddenly, Shun Qinghan remembered her master. She felt her master should be able to help. Lin Zichen shook his head. Henin, your master is from the Gene Fusion faction. Why would she help the Pure Blood faction? Shun Qinghan pouted. How will we know if we don't try? Anyway, it would be a waste not to use such a convenient master. A short while later, Shun Qinghan's master sent message. All the negative news had been deleted. Lin Zichen looked at Shun Qinghan in astonishment. How is that possible? Your master is that powerful. She resolved the news scandal in just half an hour. Shun Qinghan held up her phone for Lin Zichen to see. Sure enough, there was no longer any information about Lin Zichen online. Lin Zichen was a little curious that is Yuan Dongji doing this to dote on her disciple. Or is she nostalgic for her ex-husband, Lu Chuanwu? Just as Lin Zichen's mind was wandering, Shun Qinghan suddenly leaned unambiguously towards Lin Zichen. Xiao Chun, how are you going to thank me for my help? Without a second word, Lin Zichen said, then let's have a kiss. The night passed without a word, and the next day arrived in a flash. Lin Zichen sat cross-legged and continued to practice the blood-tempering art. 2 hours later, Lin Zichen let out a long breath. He had now finally raised his creature level to ordinary tier 7, having tempered every inch of his body's skin. He opened the system panel to check his current level status. Lin Zichen was secretly delighted. He already possessed 9 creature attributes, which was equivalent to undergoing 10 gene fusions. His current strength already crushed the Kyoto genius who had only undergone 4 gene fusions. At this moment, Shun Qinghan sent a message. It turned out that next week, Shun Qinghan was going to the hospital to have a biological sample extracted in preparation for future gene fusion. After all, gene fusion causes loss of fertility, so she needed to preserve her egg cells. Shun Qinghan told Lin Zichen that Chu Xin was also going. Lin Zichen agreed to accompany them. In the blink of an eye, it was Monday. Shun Qinghan was on a hospital bed, undergoing the biological sample extraction. Soon, the nurse came over. The examination is complete. You can retrieve the biological sample tomorrow. After leaving, Shun Qinghan and Chu Xin had bitter expressions. What a hassle. We have to come here again tomorrow. But women's moods change faster than flipping through a book. The two girls decided to go shopping together and immediately cheered up. They asked Lin Zichen for his thoughts, whether he wanted to go shopping with them. Lin Zichen shook his head and refused. But the two girls were still dancing with joy, talking about having their world for two. Lin Zichen paid them no mind. He returned home and eagerly continued to cultivate the blood-tempering art. He could already temper his muscles through Lin Zichen's unremitting efforts. The system also responded, skin and muscle strength +1. Blood-tempering art proficiency +1. After cultivating for an entire afternoon, a weakened Lin Zichen lay on his bed. He had now finished tempering his entire right arm. After resting for a while, Lin Zichen tested his arm strength. It had actually increased by 50. It seemed the blood-tempering art was very suitable for his constitution. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Shun Qinghan walked in with a teasing look. Just now, I agreed on your behalf to Chu Xion's suggestion that we all go to the beach together before university starts. Lin Zichen took Shun Qinghan's hand. That if you're going, I'll definitely go with you. Shun Qinghan still looked worried, but it's to the beach. I originally wanted to refuse, but I was afraid of disappointing Chu Xian. Shun Qinghan recalled being able to hear a strange voice in the sea, and immediately felt a chill down her spine. Lin Zichen comforted her. Don't worry, I'm here with you. At worst, we just won't go in the water, right? Meanwhile, at a mysterious altar underground, a shocking conspiracy was beginning to form. A goblin reported the situation to the divine envoy. The tunnel has already been cleared by the mutated giant rats. The divine envoy nodded in satisfaction. Next, we'll set a biological coordinate here. The next second, the divine envoy raised the divine staff in his hand high and fiercely plunged it into the ground. Then he cut a gash on his arm. Blood quickly splattered onto the divine staff. A stream of crimson light penetrated deep into the ground. The divine envoy's tone was calm. The biological coordinate has been set. Next, we just need to set up the same biological coordinate in the origin land. When that time comes, the divine envoy's tone held a hint of excitement. These tunnels leading to every corner of the city will be connected to the origin land. As soon as the girl arrived at the beach, she would hear a strange voice, seemingly calling her into the sea. Lin Zichen's group of 4 arrived at the beach to have fun. Seeing the ocean, he couldn't help but recite a poem. The waves crash against the shore, sound after sound. Bikinis hide Easter eggs. Li Chuxin gave you a hard punch. When did you become so perverted? Then she pulled Shun Qinghan along to change into their swimsuits. He glanced at Lin Zichen beside him. Thought, let's go change into our swim trunks too. He said happily, the beach, the waves, and me, I can't wait. Suddenly, He froze. He heard people discussing Lin Zichen. With such good scores, is there something wrong with his brain? He just had to join a crooked organization like Tianxia Pavilion. He's really ruining his own future. Hearing this, Hiyu's expression immediately changed. He angrily wanted to teach these gossips a lesson. This gave the group of people a scare. Lin Zichen immediately stopped Hiyu, telling him there was no need to stoop to their level. Hiyu asked why. Lin Zichen replied calmly that he didn't care about other people's opinions at all. Hiyu then pressed, then what you care about? The next second, the two suddenly felt their vision brighten. Something fair and dazzling appeared before their eyes. Li Chuxin interjected, of course, the one Zichen cares about most is Henin. He scratched his head in embarrassment that it was my fault for being nosy. Soon, Lin Zichen and the others had also changed into their swim trunks. They asked the two ladies if they needed sunscreen applied. The following scene is not suitable for children. The streamer has already scrolled on his phone until it's smoking. 2.5 minutes later, Shun Qinghan was suddenly startled. She heard a voice coming from the direction of the sea, intermittently saying origin land of the sea. Shun Qinghan looked around in a panic, searching for the exact source of the voice. Lin Zichen immediately asked what had happened. Shun Qinghan had a look of terror. It's that voice again. It's saying something about revival and the origin land of the sea. The voice is very creepy. Lin Zichen nodded. Could the depths of the ocean also be related to the origin land? But he currently knew too little about the origin land to solve the problem at hand. Lin Zichen could only tell Shun Qinghan beside him. During university, you can subtly ask your master about it and see what the deal is with the origin land. During their outing, Lin Zichen didn't slack off on his cultivation at all. He had already finished tempering all the muscles in his body. Now he could start tempering his bones. After 49 hours, Lin Zichen endured the pain of bone tempering and finally finished tempering all the bones in his body. The system gave a prompt at the same time. Completed Ordinary Creature Tier 9. Lin Zichen wanted to strike while the iron was hot and cultivate the next key point of the blood tempering art, which was to open the acupoints in his body. This way, he could evolve to an advanced creature level. However, the method for opening acupoints recorded in the book was very vague. Lin Zichen could only close the book. He decided to figure out on his own. In the blink of an eye, university life began. On the first day of school, Shun Qinghan held Lin Zichen's arm as they toured the campus. Zichen's mother walked over. And there's an ice cream shop up ahead that's pretty good. I'll take you guys to have some. Shun Qinghan scooped up a spoonful of ice cream and said happily, it's strawberry flavored. Zichen, have a taste. And with that, she started showing off their affection. Just at this moment, a coarse voice was heard. Come on, beauty, have another drink. Not far away, a man who looked like a thug was harassing a woman. A student from Evolution Academy was acting like a hooligan in public, but none of the onlookers dared to stop him. At this moment, two bystanders were discussing it. Students from the Evolution Academy are really something. That woman seems to be the aloof goddess from the Fine Arts Academy. Now she's throwing herself at him. Lin Zichen listened to the gossip while eating his ice cream. Shanghai University was divided into an inner and an outer campus. The inner campus was for gene fusion, mechanical modification, and martial arts students. The outer campus was for arts and culture students. Furthermore, the inner campus was not open to the public and was guarded by soldiers. At this point, Zichen's mother stood up with a serious expression. Xiao Chun and Hanin, you two must not learn from this person. You must continue to study hard, understand? Lin Zichen nodded seriously. Xiao Chun's father also stood up. It's getting late. Let the children go in and register. Lin Zichen waved goodbye to his parents and began his university life. As soon as they reached the inner campus gate, Lin Zichen and the others were stopped by soldiers and asked to show their admission notices. Shen Qinghan took hers out first and passed the check. But Lin Zichen fumbled around for a long time. Suddenly, a soldier told Lin Zichen to stop looking, saying he'd seen his photo online. The college entrance exam's second-place scorer who joined Tianxia Pavilion. Everyone in the school knows. In the inner campus area, there were students of gene fusion and mechanical modification everywhere. After successfully completing the new student registration, Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan were assigned to separate dorms. They waved goodbye, agreeing to have dinner together that night. Just after seeing Shun Qinghan off, Lin Zichen was surrounded by a group of senior female students. They all asked to add Lin Zichen's green bubble and offer to carry his luggage. Lin Zichen picked one he found pleasing to the eye from the group and had her lead the way to his dorm. On the way, the senior told Lin Zichen, "The school has a combat power ranking over here. Want to go take a look?" The combat power ranking is divided into the Apex list and the freshman list. The top 500 in the entire school can get on the list. For freshmen, it's the top 100. The senior continued to explain, the top 3 on the Apex list are all fourth-year students from the Evolution Academy or Mechanical Modification. As for the Martial Arts Academy, only 3 people are on the list. The senior told Lin Zichen there was a senior female student before who once reached 6th on the Apex list. She was also a college entrance exam second-place scorer who entered the Martial Arts Academy. This senior's name is Song Yuyan. She's now a mentor at the Martial Arts Academy. It's a pity she walked the path of the pure blood and hit a bottleneck she couldn't break through. A short while later, the senior brought Lin Zichen to the male dormitory. She said faintly, "It's great to be the college entrance exam's second-place scorer. Having a private dorm is really enviable." The senior fanned herself with her hand that it's so hot outside today. "Can I take a shower in your dorm?" Lin Zichen tactfully refused. "There's a bubble tea shop across the street. Let me treat you to a cup. It's better for cooling down." The senior student, seeing she had no chance, could only reluctantly agree. After treating the senior to bubble tea, Lin Zichen returned to his dorm. He then received a message on his phone. It was from Shun Qinghan, who sent a photo of her dorm. It was incredibly luxurious. Lin Zichen casually took a picture of his own single dorm. It felt shabby in an instant. After seeing the dorm photo, Shun Qinghan immediately asked Lin Zichen to move in with her. Lin Zichen didn't hesitate at all. He grabbed his luggage and went over. He thought to himself, the Evolution Academy really is rich. That triple reward Lu Chuanwu promised me can't be a lie, can it? Lin Zichen arrived at Shun Qinghan's luxurious apartment. Thinking about his own single dorm, it was practically a kennel. Lin Zichen sighed deeply. He somewhat regretted joining the Martial Arts Academy. How could it offer triple benefits when it was so poor? Shun Qinghan happily trotted over. "Zichen, it's so good you're here." She showed Lin Zichen around. As Lin Zichen unpacked his luggage, he noticed the place was exceptionally clean. He praised, "Henin, your master is quite attentive." Shun Qinghan thought about the life she could have with Zichen, just the two of them. Wanting to release her pinned-up stress, she ran wildly around the room. After speaking, she ran towards the bathroom. Lin Zichen complained, "Henin, don't just throw your clothes around." Lin Zichen took the opportunity to check the Academy's app to see what was on it. The page was full of resources that could be exchanged for academic credits. So, how could one obtain these credits? It turned out there were 3 ways. First, by climbing the peak rankings or the freshman rankings. Second, by accepting missions from the school. Third, by representing the school in competitions. Lin Zichen pondered. It seemed much easier than earning money himself. Just then, Henin's voice came from the bathroom, asking Lin Zichen to bring her a bathrobe. Lin Zichen pushed the door open to deliver the clothes. Suddenly, he felt a warmth in his nose. To prove whether his cultivation of the blood-tempering art was successful, Lin Zichen actually put his own arm over a fire to roast it. Just a moment ago, Lin Zichen looked at the pool of hot water before him. He felt it was too wasteful for one person to soak alone, so he also took off his clothes and got in. Next, imagine the scene. 2.5 hours later, Lin Zichen, having finished his bath, sat cross-legged on the bed. He began the second tempering of his entire skin. Before long, Lin Zichen's arm was covered in sweat. He also felt that the second tempering was much harder than the first. Afterwards, Lin Zichen told Shun Qinghan to get a needle for a test. Shun Qinghan was a bit confused. "Xiao Chun, did your cultivation go wrong? Are you doing acupuncture to regulate yourself now?" Lin Zichen said in a calm tone, "I've cultivated the blood-tempering art. I want to test my skin strength." The steel needle was forcefully pricked against his skin. The system simultaneously gave a notification. Skin toughness +1. Shen Qinghan stared, dumbfounded. Xiao Chun, if you can do this, doesn't that mean you're already impervious to blades and spears? With a crisp snap, the steel needle actually broke. Seeing this, Shen Qinghan was filled with admiration. She said she wanted to walk the path of a pure-blood human too. Next, Lin Zichen extended his hand towards the fire source to test his arm's heat resistance. Similarly, the system also gave a notification about increased heat resistance. After being roasted by a fierce fire for a minute, it was completely unharmed. Shen Qinghan, at the side, exclaimed, "It's roasting well." She then prepared cumin, cilantro, and chili powder. Unfortunately, it was all for nothing. Just then, Lin Zichen's phone rang. He pulled his hand back from the fire. It was a message from Lu Chuanwu. It started with a few pleasantries. He invited Lin Zichen to visit the headquarters of Tianren Pavilion. Lin Zichen told him his specific location, and Lu Chuanwu immediately arranged for someone to pick him up. Lin Zichen put on his jacket and waved goodbye to his girlfriend. Arriving at the meeting point, he found a shady spot to rest. At this moment, a man walked over. He recognized Lin Zichen at a glance. "That aren't you the second-place scorer from Jiangnan province who joined Tianren Pavilion?" Lin Zichen acknowledged him. "Looks like I've become a celebrity." This man was a die-hard fan. He chattered on, then turned and left. Lin Zichen was left speechless. Suddenly, the rumbling sound of a motorcycle was heard. Song Yian rode a red motorcycle up to Lin Zichen. After confirming Lin Zichen's identity, Song Yuyin also gave a warm self-introduction. Afterwards, the two politely shook hands. Lin Zichen finally saw her in person, this former top scorer of the college entrance exam who had faded into obscurity. Song Yian chatted with Lin Zichen as she drove. Upon learning that Lin Zichen was living with his girlfriend, she was extremely envious. She mentioned that she was over 30 and had never even been with a man. They soon arrived at the headquarters of Tianren Pavilion. The sign on the door made Lin Zichen unable to look directly at it. Pure Human Research Institute. What a name. Even a dog would shake its head at it. Song Yian gave Lin Zichen a bottle of 82 Coke. "Don't be polite. You can walk around and familiarize yourself with the environment." Lin Zichen said in a low voice, "Sister Yin, why is it so empty here? There isn't a single student." Song Yuyin awkwardly touched her nose. "Our funding has been tight, so we can't support too many people. Actually, including me, there are only 5 people in Tianren Pavilion now." As soon as she said this, Lin Zichen froze on the spot. He had seen a crowd of people around Lu Chuanwu before. They were probably just hired to put on a show. Lin Zichen hoped in his heart, "As long as I get the triple benefits, it's fine." Song Yian knocked on the door and called for Lu Chuanwu. When the door opened, Lu Chuanwu looked like he didn't have long to live. It's Xiao Chun. "Kumin." Lin Zichen looked at the surroundings and asked curiously, "Dean, how long have you been in seclusion here?" Lu Chuanwu had a dejected look on his face. "Half a month. I've been researching the aperture opening chapter of the blood tempering art here, but I haven't made any progress at all." Lu Chuanwu turned and patted Lin Zichen's shoulder. "Now that we have a young person like you joining us, the path of pure-blood humans will surely develop rapidly in the future." Lu Chuanwu proudly introduced, "Your sister Yin was the second-place scorer in Liangdu back in her day. You should learn more from her in the future." Lu Chuanwu's expression suddenly turned serious. "It's precisely because of your sister Yan's joining that I, who was stuck on the second body tempering for decades, was able to complete the third body tempering." Then, Lu Chuanwu and Song Yuyin, with the air of seniors, patted Lin Zichen. "Xiao Chun, don't be anxious. Although you can't catch up now, you're still young. Work hard, young man." Lu Chuanwu remembered the blood tempering art he gave Lin Zichen during the summer break. He asked how his cultivation was going. "Have you learned to control your blood?" Lin Zichen said calmly, "I'm already at ordinary tier 4 and have learned blood control." Lu Chuanwu nodded with satisfaction that a promising young man. "Your sister Yin completed skin tempering within 3 months of starting her freshman year. With Sister Yin to guide you now, I believe you'll complete your first skin tempering in the first semester of your freshman year." Lin Zichen replied with a deadpan expression, "No need to trouble you. I already completed the first skin tempering during the summer break." "Nanny?" Lu Chuanwu and Song Yuyin stared at each other, wide-eyed. They couldn't believe what Lin Zichen had just said was true. If they knew that Lin Zichen had already completed the second tempering, their jaws would probably drop to the floor. Lin Zichen just slightly showed off his strength. It made his senior, who had practiced the blood tempering art for 2.5 years, cast an ambiguous glance at him. Song Yin looked at Lin Zichen with shock. In just one summer break, you mastered the technique of blood control and even learned to temper your entire skin. You're not joking, are you? Lin Zichen muttered to himself. Actually, it only took me half an hour to learn. But he remained modest verbally. I studied it for several days before I learned it. Lu Chuanwu waved his hand. Zichen, you're not sleep-talking, are you? You think you've tempered your skin, but you probably haven't at all. Let me see your hand. To avoid unnecessary trouble, Lin Zichen immediately activated his special ability to disguise himself. He then extended his arm for Lu Chuanwu to inspect. The next second, Lu Chuanwu had a look of astonishment. Song Yuyin beside him also couldn't believe it. Lin Zichen had actually completed the first skin tempering. Lu Chuanwu looked at Lin Zichen with shocked eyes. What is your current biological level? Lin Zichen lied, saying he was now ordinary tier 5. It's settled. This is settled. You are a genius, Zichen. You chose the right path by becoming a pure-blood human. Lu Chuanwu hugged Lin Zichen tightly. A rare treasure, 90 knew. From now on, we're counting on you to break the limits of pure-blood humans and break through to the advanced biological level. At this moment, Song Yuyin also felt immense pressure. Indeed, there's always someone better. But the next second, Song Yuyin started to swoon. Having such a talented young man lead the way might be a good thing. Song Yuyin said excitedly, Dean, let's immediately publicize Zichen's potential so that more people will join the path of pure-blood humans. This way we can get more funding. As soon as she said this, Lu Chuanwu's expression immediately became serious. We can't do that. Keep this a secret for now. It could easily bring danger to Zichen. Lu Chuanwu and Song Yuyin looked at Lin Zichen with expectant eyes, as if they had found a priceless treasure. Let's use all our resources on Zichen now to help him quickly break through the biological level bottleneck. Song Yuyin suddenly raised her question. How much funding would that require? If we don't have enough funding, how can we research the path of pure-blood humans? Lu Chuanwu smiled slightly. Don't worry. I will use all the resources at my disposal to help him evolve. As long as Zichen's strength is sufficient, we can find a backer to protect him. Finally, we will promote Zichen on a large scale, thereby expanding the philosophy of pure-blood humans. After hearing this, Song Yuyin immediately started to boast. The dean is so thoughtful. However, Lin Zichen looked at the smug pair before him and thought to himself, if I told them my true strength, that I'm already ordinary tier 9, have completed muscle and bone tempering, and am currently undergoing the second tempering, would they be so happy they'd go crazy? Lu Chuanwu said, righteously, Zichen, from now on, you can come directly to the Research Institute for classes. You don't need to attend the low-level classes at the Martial Arts Academy. Sister Yin can be your assistant. Song Yuyin pouted. Dean, you're not giving me any face at all, making me an assistant to my junior. Lu Chuanwu said with a chuckle, those who practice the pure-blood human path need to be thick-skinned, and that includes their face. Lu Chuanwu told Lin Zichen, tomorrow afternoon, there's a welcoming trial for new students. A rookie king will be chosen. Zichen, with your current strength, that title is more or less yours. The more Lu Chuanwu thought about it, the happier he became. That time. Give those freshmen from the Evolution Academy a good thrashing. After it's done, I'll give you 10 qi and blood pills to replenish yourself. Song Yuyin saw Lu Chuanwu's gloating expression and teased. Dean, this is your real goal, isn't it? Lu Chuanwu also told Lin Zichen that winning Rookie King came with a reward of 10 academic credits. Hearing this, Lin Zichen immediately perked up. This was much better than some damn qi and blood pills. In the blink of an eye, it was time for the freshman assembly. Lin Zichen and Shun Qinghan sat together. This attracted the attention of many people, who began to gossip. How can a fool who joined Tianren Pavilion sit with a goddess and top scorer? At this moment, the talkative man Lin Zichen had met before sat down. He asked Lin Zichen if he still remembered him. Lin Zichen simply replied, I remember. The talkative man started to gossip that what's the relationship between you two sitting together? Lin Zichen directly announced his romantic relationship with Shun Qinghan. The talkative man tactfully walked away. The host's voice was heard. This year, The Martial Arts Academy has 1,986 new students. The Evolution Academy has 459 new students. The Mechanical Modification has 568 new students. Lin Zichen's gaze suddenly fell on a girl with cat ears. This girl must be the only one among the freshmen who has already completed gene fusion. It looks like the gene of a Shadow Knight cat. The cat girl shot a cold, wary glance at Lin Zichen. This surprised Lin Zichen a little. She seemed so cold and aloof. Lin Zichen looked at the talkative man in front of him. What a stark contrast. The host announced on stage, "Next, let's have the freshman representative come up to speak." The talkative man suddenly stood up. The host continued, "Let's welcome student Li Moyu from the genius class with a round of applause." The crowd looked on with some doubt. This guy with yellow hair? How could he be the strongest freshman? I can't see it at all. Li Moyu's lips curled into a smug smile. He thought, this is the contrast. This is how I can successfully show off. Li Moyu got on stage and asked a question. Has everyone heard of Li Yijin? Lin Zichen muttered to himself. Isn't that the genius from Kyoto who was reported on TV? Of course, everyone knows him. Li Moyu continued to set the stage for his show-off that I bet you all don't know that this year's top scorer in the Kyoto College entrance exam is Li Yijin's younger brother. Gene compatibility, 16. Li Moyu announced loudly, I'm not pretending anymore. I'm laying my cards on the table. I am that top scorer from Kyoto. On stage, Li Moyu began to boast about himself, saying how amazing he had been since he was a child. He even released the pressure of his ordinary tier 5 level. This made most of the students in the audience, who were still at ordinary tier 2 or 3, immediately feel a sense of despair. Li Moyu's show-off was a success. He smiled smugly. Everyone, remember my name, Li Moyu. Shun Qinghan whispered, Zichen, is there something wrong with this Li Moyu's head? He's just a small fry in front of you. Lin Zichen said in a low voice, low profile, low profile. The host announced again, let's welcome the student council president, Zhou Xiahong, to the stage to speak. The host respectfully handed the microphone to Zhou Xiahong. Zhou Xiahong first gave a brief self-introduction and then brought up 3 points. First, the school's discipline is managed by the student council, and the power of the student council is beyond your imagination. Second, the student council will select 10 members from among the freshmen. The only condition for joining is strength. Third, Shanghai University believes in survival of the fittest. It's common for upperclassmen to suppress freshmen. Everyone be mentally prepared. After saying this, Zhou Xiahong suddenly fell silent for a moment. A hint of coldness flashed in his eyes. Next, I'll let you all feel the power of an advanced biological level. The next second, a powerful biological pressure swept across the entire venue, making the freshmen present unable to even breathe. The university student farted for 5 seconds, nearly making the students present faint from the smell. Lin Zichen and the others also felt the power of the advanced being. However, due to the distance and the fact that Lin Zichen himself had already reached ordinary tier 9, there was basically no threat. At this time, Yuan Dongji came on stage and announced, next, the freshman trial will begin. The rule is whoever can be the first to stand alone on this stage and hold it for 1 minute will be the winner. And I announced that this year's Rookie King reward is doubled, directly awarding 100 academic credits. The second person to stand alone on the stage for over a minute will be the second place, with a reward of 90 academic credits, and so on for a total of 10 spots. After hearing this, the students from the genius class were already eager to try it out. We'll take all of the top 10 spots. Yuan Dongji then made a proposal that as long as a student not from the genius class can enter the top 10. The remaining students who are not from the genius class will each receive 1 academic credit. This ignited the fighting spirit of the regular class students in the audience. As long as we protect 1 person into the top 10, it's a win. Suddenly, Hiyu's voice was heard. Everyone, listen to me. All eyes turned to him. Hiyu snatched the microphone from the host and announced loudly, my classmate, Lin Zichen, is the second place scorer from Jiangnan province. His strength is the greatest in our regular class. Everyone, help him get into the top 10. The next second, all eyes turned to Lin Zichen again. The crowd seemed to have seen a glimmer of hope. They encouraged each other, vowing to clear a path for Lin Zichen to break into the top 10. Meanwhile, at the other end of the stands, Lu Chuanwu was making sarcastic remarks about President Zhou of the student council, calling him petty. Lu Chuanwu had a scornful look on his face. President Zhou, you were thrashed by Li Yijin at the beginning of the year. Now you're clearly trying to take it out on his younger brother. Dima interjected, speaking of petty, if you Lu Chuanwu claimed to be number one, no one would dare claim to be number two. Lu Chuanwu's verbal skills were indeed formidable. This didn't anger him. Instead, he retorted teasingly, when I'm petty, I only target the person involved. I never drag their family into it. Lu Chuanwu asked playfully, Dinma, I heard your daughter did very well in the college entrance exam. Just so, third in Kyoto, Dinma replied with a beaming smile. President Zhou glanced at Dinma. Have your daughter join our student council. We'll train her as a seated contestant. Dinma agreed. Then I'll have to trouble you to take good care of her. President Zhou looked down at the stage. I'm Moyu and your daughter, Dinma, Ma Shiwei, are both role model for the freshmen. Then let's wait and see which of them will become this year's rookie king. Dinma glared at President Zhou. Can you remove the let's see part? The student council members also began to discuss. Li Moyu and Ma Shiwei are currently evenly matched in strength. One is this year's top scorer from Kyoto. The other underwent a Shadow Knight Cat Gene fusion during the summer. Lu Chuanwu suddenly spoke up. Stop discussing. This year's rookie king will be our Tianren Pavilion's Lin Zichen. This left everyone present speechless. The old geezer is really boasting without thinking. Dinma looked disdainful. That Lin Zichen's physical test data from the college entrance exam wouldn't even rank in the top 10 of the genius class. Where do you get the confidence to say he can become the rookie king? Is it just because he joined Tianren Pavilion? Lu Chuanwu replied smugly, Dinma, if you don't believe it, we can make a bet. How about 100 academic credits? Dinma gritted his teeth. Don't you dare go back on your word then. Next, Lu Chuanwu ran over to Yuan Dongji's side and started placing bets. Dinma didn't believe at all that Lin Zichen could win Rookie King. Even if he bribed Li Moyu, his own daughter was still standing in his way. At this time, the dean of the Mechanical Modification Academy walked over. Seeing Dinma's bitter expression, he came over to stir up trouble. I S it because Lu Chuanwu snatched your Lin Zichen, and now you're regretting it here? Dinma replied disdainfully, he's just a provincial second-place scorer. Our Evolution Academy really isn't lacking someone like him. The dean of mechanical modification smirked. He says he's not angry, but behind the scenes, he poached a fourth-year student from Tianren Pavilion. Isn't that obvious revenge? After a round of betting, Lu Chuanwu felt like he had already won big. He could win a total of 1,900 academic credits. The students below the stage were already eager to go, ready to take down the genius class students together. The next second, a massive brawl began. Lin Zichen watched everything quietly from below the stage. He guessed that the genius class students didn't necessarily have high physical test scores. Most of them got in because of their high gene fusion compatibility. Lin Zichen looked at the group from the genius class who hadn't made a move yet. The top combat power should be those 12 people. Lin Zichen activated his special ability, Danger Perception. He immediately detected that the strongest were Li Moyu and Ma Shiwei. Both were at ordinary tier 5 biological level. The remaining 10 were all ordinary tier 4. At this point, most of the genius class students had been taken down by the regular class students. Immediately after, the regular class students charged towards the 12 genius class students on the stage. Suddenly, a burly man from the genius class jumped down. You regular class students get arrogant after beating a few weaklings? The burly man shouted, I'll just stand here and let you rookies swarm me. How about it? The regular class students swarmed him, not believing that so many of them couldn't handle one person. The burly man executed a leg sweep. A dozen or so regular class students at the front were sent flying. The burly man said arrogantly, you are all just ants. You want to compete with an elephant? I'll crush you in minutes. The regular class students started to get timid. They shouted towards Lin Zichen. This guy is too arrogant. Lin Zichen, hurry up and take him down. Lin Zichen strolled forward leisurely. If that's the case, then I'll step in and avenge you. The burly man leaped in front of Lin Zichen. I've long heard that you were first in the Jiangnan province physical test. Today, I'll see for myself. The burly man introduced himself. My name is Lu Qiji, the top scorer from Yuntian province. My physical test results are 5.6 seconds for the 100-meter dash. I can lift 1,160 kilograms with one hand, and my standing high jump is 5 meters. Lin Zichen, state your physical test data. While the top scorers from various provinces were still competing for the Rookie King title, Lin Zichen already regarded these geniuses as sparring partners. Facing the top scorer from Yuntian province, Lin Zichen couldn't even be bothered to state his own college entrance physical test scores, which he had held back on. He went up and delivered a kick, letting this provincial top scorer feel for himself what power is. The next second, Liu Qiji was sent flying. Seeing this, the regular class students cheered loudly. Lin Zichen is mighty. This scene also shocked the crowd in the stands. They hadn't expected Lin Zichen's strength to be so formidable, instantly defeating his opponent. Next, the provincial top scorer from Dajiang City leaped down. I am Luo Yongjian. My college entrance 100-meter sprint result is. Before he could finish his sentence, a scream was heard. Lin Zichen had fiercely struck with his leg again, instantly taking down another one. The regular class students below shouted, "Crush the genius class. Lin Zichen is the GOAT." Ma Shiwei finally couldn't hold back any longer. She leaped onto the stage. The genius class students behind her immediately regained their morale. They clamored to crush Lin Zichen. At this moment, Lin Zichen was secretly pleased. This is a good opportunity to test the strength of a gene-fused individual. Ma Shiwei wasted no words and dashed in front of Lin Zichen with a single bound. Lin Zichen ma will so fast, but not as fast as me. Lin Zichen easily dodged Ma Shiwei's close-range kick. Are the attributes of Shadow Knight Cat this week? A look of surprise appeared on Ma Shiwei's face. He dodged my attack so easily? Ma Shiwei understood in her heart. She had just successfully fused with the gene. If she failed to hit Lin Zichen just now, her subsequent attacks would likely be powerless. So, relying on the fact that her father was the dean, Ma Shiwei shamelessly said, "Give me 2.5 minutes to fully activate the gene in my body. Then we can have a showdown, okay?" Lin Zichen said calmly, "As you wish." Before long, Ma Shiwei had fully activated her Shadow Knight Cat gene. At the same time, Dima witnessed everything before him. He felt a trace of unease. After all, his daughter had only recently fused, and overusing her power could easily cause a backlash. Meanwhile, the people around Dinma were still flattering him, saying his daughter's aptitude was extraordinary and that she was the third-place scorer in Kyoto. On the stage, Ma Shiwei mocked Lin Zichen for being so naive, actually waiting 2.5 minutes for her to activate the Shadow Knight Cat gene. Ma Shiwei's fur stood on end. "Sorry, Lin Zichen, you'll have to pay the price for your foolishness." In the blink of an eye, Ma Shiwei had already thrown a kick. This kick flew directly towards Lin Zichen's head. Lin Zichen could feel that her power had increased, but at this moment, Ma Shiwei was at most ordinary tier 6. Lin Zichen dodged it with a quick flash. Ma Shiwei was dumbfounded. "I can't even hit him like this." Next, Ma Shiwei used every move she had. Unfortunately, she couldn't even touch a single strand of Lin Zichen's hair. Lin Zichen had his hands in his pockets, not knowing what it felt like to have an opponent. In a short while, Lin Zichen had finished collecting data on the Shadow Knight Cat's attributes. Then, the farce should be over. Lin Zichen landed a heavy punch on Ma Shiwei's face. With a few thuds, Ma Shiwei was sent flying like a dead pig. The regular class students immediately gathered around. "Look, the cold goddess was beaten into a pig's head by our Zichen." Dinma ran over in a panic. Ma Shiwei covered her face and sobbed, "My face. I can't show my face to anyone anymore." Dima hugged his daughter and shouted at Lin Zichen, "Is this how a man treats a girl?" Lin Zichen replied disdainfully, "Since we've all chosen the path of evolution, why distinguish between men and women?" On the stage, only the strong have the right to speak. Hearing Lin Zichen's words, Li Moyu nodded in agreement that on the path of evolution, there is indeed only the strong and the weak. Li Moyu leaped onto the stage to compete with Lin Zichen. The genius class students saw Li Moyu as their only hope. They shouted encouragement for him, wanting him to teach Lin Zichen a harsh lesson. Li Moyu's tone was sarcastic. "I never expected that you, Lin Zichen, could put on a better act than me. Truly a master among masters. First, you appear with the identity of a regular college entrance exam second-place scorer, and then you defeat the provincial top scorers one by one. You've really taken showing off to the next level." As soon as his voice fell, Li Moyu immediately underwent a gene mutation. "You're not the only one who can hide their strength, Lin Zichen." Li Moyu erupted with the pressure of an ordinary tier 7. The student council members on the platform were amazed. This Li Moyu also underwent gene fusion in advance. the dean of mechanical modification, said. He actually fused with the gene of a demoni great ape. This increases his physical strength by several levels. To fuse with a demoni great ape at the ordinary stage. The Li brothers are truly geniuses. At this moment, Lu Chuanwu was petrified. Holy crap, I might even lose my pants. Are my 1,900 academic credits gone, just like that? And in a corner, two sneaky-looking men were whispering that a message has come from the organization. The fat man looked at the message and said, "The demon seed has been placed in the park outside the school. We are to retrieve it and then feed it to Li Moyu." The short-haired man beside him said in a low voice, "Li Moyu is a young master from Kyoto. His background is not simple. Isn't it too risky to make him eat it?" A voice came from the watch phone. "The organization's background far surpasses the Li family's. We can make the Li family turn to dust in minutes." The fat man looked troubled. Jia, should we do it or not? At this moment, Jia was also a lost. Do we have another choice? On the stage, Lin Zichen didn't move an inch and successfully won the title of Rookie King. Just now, Lin Zichen looked at Li Moyu on the stage, who had fused with the demoni great ape. This guy's power and defense have both reached the level of an advanced being. His weakness should be his slow speed. Li Moyu laughed mockingly. "Lin Zichen, that Ma Shiwei from before, although her reputation is on par with mine, our real strengths are worlds apart. If you surrender now, perhaps you can still be my follower." Lin Zichen dashed forward with a single bound. He wanted to test if this guy with maxed out defense could take a beating. Lin Zichen hit his biological level at tier 6. Li Moyu naroli duja spon. Lin Zichen increased his speed to tier 7 and threw another punch. This punch landed squarely on Li Moyu's face. Lin Zichen figured out Li Moyu's true strength. It was roughly at the advanced level of ordinary tier 6. Li Moyu cursed, "I was careless just now and didn't dodge. You actually sneak attacked me." Li Moyu clenched his fists tightly. "Now that I'm focused, I don't believe you can hit me again." The next second, Lin Zichen's fist, the size of a sandbag, was already rushing towards Li Moyu's face. Li Moyu went into full defense. Lin Zichen's fists rained down on his body. The audience on the platform all thought that Lin Zichen couldn't break Li Moyu's defense. But at this moment, Lin Zichen was merely testing Li Moyu's reaction speed. Test complete. Lin Zichen did a backflip to create distance. Next, it's time to test Li Moyu's strength. Li Moyu laughed ferociously. "I asked that all you've got? You're just a little faster, that's all. In the face of my absolute power, your moves are all just fancy tricks." Li Moyu used all his strength to smash at Lin Zichen. "Come and feel what power is." The regular class students below shouted urgently, "Dodge it! Don't you want to live, Lin Zichen?" On the stage, Lin Zichen watched the incoming fist without moving. At this moment, Lu Chuanwu's heart was filled with despair. It's a definite loss this time. The people around him were already starting to ask for their academic credits. But something completely unexpected happened. Li Moyu's punch landed, but Lin Zichen didn't move an inch. A sound of bones shattering was heard. Li Moyu writhed on the ground in pain, screaming, "My hand is ruined." The audience below couldn't believe what had happened. Did Lin Zichen win just like that? Lin Zichen had now completely figured out the abilities of Li Moyu's demoni great ape. Its power was greater than its defense, so much so that its own power could shatter its hand. Lin Zichen immediately called for the medical staff below the stage. "Hurry up and treat him." Suddenly, Yuan Dongji leaped onto the stage, and no need to trouble the medical staff. Yuan Dongji checked the injury. Li Moyu's arm was completely fractured by the recoil of his own power. She then took out a yellow pill and fed it to him. Yuan Dongji wondered to herself, just how hard is this Lin Zichen's face? Lin Zichen noticed Yuan Dongji's strange expression and immediately activated his skill, natural disguise, to hide his true strength. At the same time, Yuan Dongji was probing Lin Zichen's strength. Ordinary tier 6 biological level, but his muscles and bones are bizarrely and exaggeratedly strong. Is that all? When Yuan Dongji returned, the crowd gathered around her, asking what that kid Lin Zichen's real strength was. Yuan Dongji repeated her findings, that he's just an ordinary tier 6 with a relatively strong body. "I didn't find anything unusual." Lin Zichen glanced warily at Yuan Dongji and the others, secretly pleased. "It seems I've successfully hidden my strength." At this time, with the help of the pill, Li Moyu had already made a full recovery. Lin Zichen asked, "Has your arm recovered?" Li Moyu grinned that it's as good as new. Lin Zichen went up and kicked him. "Then don't be an eyesore on the stage." Li Moyu shouted in frustration, "Lin Zichen, one day I will defeat you on this stage." On the side, the regular class and the genius class started a huge argument. Although the genius class had lost, they still wouldn't admit defeat verbally. Lin Zichen waited quietly for a minute. No one dared to come up and challenge him. Just like that, Lin Zichen successfully won the title of Rookie King. The regular class students below cheered in unison. "Lin Zichen is mighty." Lin Zichen leaped off the stage. "Since I've won Rookie King, then next." Lin Zichen pulled Shun Qinghan into his arms in front of everyone. This left Shun Qinghan a bit flustered. The next second, Lin Zichen jumped onto the stage while holding her. Shun Qinghan blushed shyly. Zichen isn't going to confess his love in public, is he? After putting Shun Qinghan down, Lin Zichen immediately jumped in front of the crowd again. He said in a low voice, "Next, the qualifications for 3rd to 10th place." What secret did Lin Zichen reveal that so shocked the 100-year-old man, Lu Chuanwu? Just now, Lin Zichen announced he would monopolize the top 10 spots of the opening trial. The students from the genius class all swarmed towards him. "Lin Zichen, don't go too far." But facing these small fries, Lin Zichen took them down one by one with a single punch. He knocked down a whole group in just a few moves. Suddenly, Ma Shiwei, whose face had been beaten to a pulp by Lin Zichen, rushed towards Shun Qinghan on the stage, attempting a sneak attack from behind. The next second, Lin Zichen sent Ma Shiwei flying. She landed flat on her face. This worried Dean Ma sick. Could that face even be saved? Lin Zichen had easily defeated all the students from the genius class. With this, no one else dared to stand up and object. Soon, the host announced that Shun Qinghan had won 2nd place in the opening trial. Lin Zichen's goal was the academic credits. He wasn't too concerned about the remaining rankings. So, he announced to the regular class students below the stage, "The credits are mine. You can take turns with the rankings." Lin Zichen gave the remaining 3rd place to Li Chuxin. 4th place was given to Hiyu. The rest were first come, first served. By this calculation, Lin Zichen obtained a total of 559 academic credits. On the other side, Dima roared at Yuan Dongji. "This Lin Zichen has broken rules. How can he be the Rookie King and also take all the credits for the top 10? Lu Chuanwu walked over. "The school has no such rule. Lin Zichen earned it with his own strength. Why can't he take the top 10? Dean Ma looked furious. Although the school has no explicit rule, Lin Zichen's behavior is exploiting a loophole. Yuan Dongji suddenly spoke up. Dima has a point. Lin Zichen did indeed exploit a loophole in the rules. We'll patch it up starting next year. For this year, let it be. Otherwise, it would be unfair to Lin Zichen." Hearing Yuan Dongji say this, Dima lost his temper and could only swallow his anger. Meanwhile, in a corner, 2 people who were preparing to give Li Moyu a demon pill suddenly received a message from their superiors. The plan had changed. They were now to drug Lin Zichen and make him a member of the Demon God organization. At this moment, Lin Zichen had become a hero to the regular class, being lifted high by the crowd. Lu Chuanwu ran over with a fond look on his face. "Let your master give you a hug." "Zichen, just how much strength have you been hiding?" Lin Zichen dodged Lu Chuanwu's hug with a quick movement. "Dean Lu, you haven't forgotten your promise, have you?" Lu Chuanwu immediately took out the blood chi pills and gave them to Lin Zichen. He also converted the promised triple benefits into 300 academic credits and gave them to him as well. This time, Lu Chuanwu had effortlessly won 1,900 academic credits thanks to Lin Zichen. He was blooming with joy inside. Lu Chuanwu said in a serious tone, "Zichen, tell me quickly, what level are you at now?" Of course, Lin Zichen couldn't possibly reveal his true strength. So he lied, saying he was now at ordinary rank 6, had completed 1 round of skin tempering, and had also tempered some of his facial muscles. As soon as he finished speaking, Lu Chuanwu was completely stunned that you've actually learned muscle tempering. Lu Chuanwu felt as if he had found a priceless treasure at this rate. "Zichen, you'll be able to complete the pure blood body and evolve to a high-level biological grade before you even graduate from university. Zichen, you have an extraordinary frame. You are destined for greatness." After returning to the dormitory, Lin Zichen took out a blood chi pill, wanting to give it a try. He then swallowed one to see what effect it would have. After a short while, the system gave a notification. Qi in blood plus 108. Lin Zichen calculated in his mind, it only adds this little bit. It's not even as fast as using use-to-use atrophy and running 2 kilometers. So, Lin Zichen decided to give the blood Qi pills to Han In. Just then, Shen Qinghan returned from a run. Lin Zichen gave her a blood Qi pill. Try this and see if it has any effect. Shen Qinghan obediently ate the blood Qi pill. After a short while, she felt her body suddenly grow hot. A warm current flowed through her. Shen Qinghan praised, this blood Qi pill works really well. Lin Zichen instructed Shen Qinghan, this blood Qi pill isn't very effective for me. You can take the rest, 1 per day. The next day, Lin Zichen went to the Pure Human Research Institute early in the morning. At this time, Song Yuyin was practicing yoga. When she saw Lin Zichen arrive, she immediately asked, I heard your biological grade is already ordinary rank 6, and you've even learned muscle tempering. After hearing Lin Zichen's confirmation, Song Yuyin ran over excitedly. Zichen, you're truly a genius among geniuses. The future of Tianren Pavilion depends on you. Lin Zichen turned his head. Don't put me on such a high pedestal. Let's work hard together. Next, Lin Zichen began to search through the materials, looking for the aperture opening chapter that Lu Chuanwu and Song Yuyin hadn't figured out, amidst a large pile of documents. With his celestial human wisdom root ability, it was only a matter of time before Lin Zichen figured out the contents of the aperture opening chapter. At this moment, Song Yuyin spoke from behind him. Zichen, someone from the student union, is outside looking for you. Lin Zichen paid no mind. Song Yuyin immediately said, the student union gives out a monthly academic credit subsidy. Lin Zichen immediately perked up. Why didn't you say so earlier? The student union president, Zhou Xiehong, politely extended his hand to Lin Zichen. Lin Zichen greeted him politely. Zhou Xiehong said seriously, Zichen, we're inviting you to join the student union this time because we want to groom you to be the future president. Zhou Xiehong then went on to introduce the benefits of joining the student union. Not only could you receive academic credits every month, but there were also free meals 3 times a day, and you could participate in school policy decisions. Hearing this, Lin Zichen immediately nodded like a pestle pounding garlic. I want to join. Zhou Xiehong's expression suddenly turned grim. However, there is one condition. You must take the path of gene fusion. Give up your current pure-blood human cultivation, because pure-blood humans have no future. Just look at your Dean Liu and Song Yuyin. They're the best examples. The student union publicly threatened Lin Zichen to abandon the pure-blood human path. Lin Zichen turned and left, decisively giving up on joining the student union. The crowd jeered that Lin Zichen was another brainwashed fool. They didn't know that Lin Zichen had long since devoured the genes of 10,000 beasts, and quietly reached the pinnacle of the transcendent rank. Zhou Xiehong was stunned. He hadn't expected Lin Zichen to be so decisive. The surrounding student union members also looked astonished. Immediately, they all started discussing. This rookie king is really not thinking straight, insisting on some pure-blood human path. He must have been brainwashed, right? He got arrogant after becoming the rookie king. Such a stubborn freshman. He'll regret it later. When he comes to his senses and applies again, it won't be so easy. Zhou Xiehong didn't speak, just shook his head. He soon led the group away from the research institute's entrance. Since Lin Zichen was unwilling to give up the pure-blood human path, there was no need to try any further. He hadn't had high hopes in the first place, just wanted to try persuading him. But Lin Zichen didn't even give him a chance, turning and leaving directly. It seemed the influence of Tianren Pavilion was indeed significant. Back at the research institute, after Song Yin heard Lin Zichen's brief explanation of what happened, she couldn't help but complain in a low voice. Just then, Lu Chuanwu, who had been gone all morning, finally appeared. He had dark circles under his eyes and looked extremely tired. Seeing this, Song Yuyin said with emotion, Dean, you've worked so hard. For the development of the pure-blood human path, you've been running around day and night to secure investments. If you achieve a breakthrough in the future, you'll surely go down in history. Lu Chuanwu's mouth twitched. He gave her a helpless look, thinking, could you not be so blunt? Then, Lu Chuanwu turned to Lin Zichen, patted his shoulder, and said earnestly, Zichen, remember that women can sometimes be an obstacle to progress. You must learn moderation. Lin Zichen just smiled and didn't respond. Lu Chuanwu then mentioned the school's settlement policy for the families of outstanding students. He suggested that Lin Zichen bring his parents to live at the school for their safety. Lin Zichen nodded that I'll go home this weekend and discuss it with my parents. Lu Chuanwu then took Lin Zichen's phone and helped him activate the permission to accept school missions. With your current strength, you don't have to wait until next semester. You can start taking missions now to earn academic credits early. Lin Zichen took his phone and browsed the mission page. Song Yuyin offered, I can take you with me on my next mission to familiarize you with the process. Lin Zichen smiled. Then I'll have to trouble you, Sister Yin. After Lu Chuanwu left, Lin Zichen began to examine the missions carefully. The missions were divided into 3 categories: school posted, student posted, and off-campus posted. The school posted ones were mostly miscellaneous tasks with few credits. The student posted missions were often social in nature. Lin Zichen focused on the off-campus missions. The credit rewards were higher, and the variety was richer. In the end, he accepted the mission to capture Catwoman. The target was an ordinary rank 6, active in Shanghai City's red light district. When Song Yin found out, she was a little worried that you're taking such a difficult mission for your first time. Do you need my help? No need, Sister Yin. I can handle it myself. Then be very careful. Lin Zichen noticed that a total of 28 people had accepted this mission. Among them, another freshman was actually Ma Shiwei. Lin Zichen checked the time and saw it was time for a meal, so he waved goodbye to Song Yuyin. On the way back, Lin Zichen sensed he was being followed. Through his danger perception ability, Lin Zichen discovered that the person following him was an ordinary rank 7. Suddenly, a short-haired man from behind rushed forward in a single bound and called out to Lin Zichen. It turned out this short-haired man had a secret crush on Ma Shiwei. He had personally witnessed her face being beaten to a pulp by Lin Zichen and felt indignant, wanting to demand an explanation from him. Lin Zichen was completely speechless in the face of this love-struck fool. At this moment, seeing Lin Zichen's disdainful expression, the short-haired man grew even angrier and wanted to challenge Lin Zichen to a duel right now. Lin Zichen didn't pay the short-haired man any mind at all. He couldn't even be bothered to act against such a love-struck fool. Seeing this, the short-haired man was instantly triggered, bristling with anger, and reached out to grab Lin Zichen. With a single punch, without even turning his head, Lin Zichen taught the short-haired man a lesson. The short-haired man was also beaten to a pulp. Now he and Ma Shiwei could be a matching pair. Lin Zichen returned to the dormitory. Shun Qinghan had already prepared lunch and told Lin Zichen to hurry up, wash his hands, and eat. Also, Zichen, the living dead meat you asked me to buy is in the fridge. Lin Zichen eagerly went to the fridge to check first. He had hand in by 10 caddies first. Buying 100 caddies would probably attract attention. Lin Zichen took out the 10 caddies of living dead meat and began to devour it in front of Shun Qinghan. You have devoured a large amount of the life essence of the living dead. The system prompted, living dead. Atlas unlocked progress. 10. After the devouring was complete, the meat rapidly decayed. Lin Zichen threw it into a garbage bag. Shun Qinghan asked curiously, Xiao Chun, were you absorbing the essence of that meat just now? Lin Zichen said lightly, this is my special ability. I can absorb the essence from the flesh of exotic beasts through contact and gain some of their corresponding traits. Shun Qinghan's eyes widened in shock. Then she looked a little disappointed. Oh, you have an ability like this. No wonder you didn't choose gene fusion. Lin Zichen changed the subject. Dean Liu said earlier that the school will allow both of us to arrange for our parents to come here. They can even arrange jobs for them. As soon as he said this, Shun Qinghan happily agreed. The two chatted as they ate. Shun Qinghan mentioned there was a pinnacle ranking match in the gymnasium in the afternoon and invited Lin Zichen to watch it with her. Lin Zichen agreed. After lunch, the two went to the gymnasium in the afternoon to watch the duel. The opponents were the 8th ranked evolution student and the 9th ranked mechanical student from the pinnacle ranking. Shun Qinghan pointed to the second floor. Look, that mechanical genius girl everyone's talking about online is here to watch too. Lin Zichen analyzed, it's just a tactic by the Mecha God group to expand its influence. At the same time, the gene fusionist and the mechanically modified person were eager to start. Following the host's command, the mechanical students soared into the air, starting the match with suppressive fire from the air.